Well, let me tell you something, brother. Snort, snort, snort. Code drip, snort, snort. I got the drip. Go.
So I will say this. Thank you all. Take a look. So far today, not once did I ask for any contributions whatsoever. All right. All I did was speak from the heart, honestly, about everything that's been going on recently. And we are at what? Like $90 of support? I don't even know. I haven't been tracking. Yeah. We're already two-thirds to the goal.
Start.
And I haven't asked for anything.
Whoa.
All right. So I can just leave it at that. And we can play Pirate Yakuza. All right. And enjoy it for the next two and a half hours. And just leave it at that.
Hello?
Or we can get our first sub of the day because no one on Kick has become a sub whatsoever. I don't know what's going on over on Kick recently.
Thank you, Bill Brasky, for the 12 months.
Let's get a super chat. How about some gifted memberships, of which we got none today?
Oh, my
Let's hit
lord.
the goddamn goal because we want to get to 60. You want to see me stuff my bloated face with Girl Scout.
All right, so the reason I'm starting early, there's a lot of additional context I want to put into this. Plus, Truth Seekers is streaming. Lots of intro, though. But I'm hoping we can get through the context that we need before we get to see PPP's response. But in case you don't know, for whatever reason, let's just watch it. Let's watch it and you'll get the context, and then I'll explain
Let's get it going right now.
as he begs.
Let's get some support.
Let's get some support.
What is happening? Let's do it. What are we waiting for? What are we dragging our feet for? Let's hit the goal right now. Then we can just play Pirate Yakuza and not have to worry about hitting any goals at all. Let's get our final contributions in. Hit that.
Oh my God. Okay. Let's get to the point, please. I'm done with this. Fuck. We're already skipping.
No, to be honest, I actually don't know what's happened over on Kick like this last week. Just take a look. You know, typically we're more than halfway through the week, and usually we get a bunch of subs and stuff. And it's been a slow week on Kick, so I don't know what happened over there at all. The thing is with Kick, it's kind of like fluctuating, hit or miss. Like sometimes people will come by and be really supportive, and other times it'll be really slow. And this week, yeah, I mean, it's really been affecting stuff.
Oh my God,
So,
get to the
I'm
point.
hoping that we will get some more on Kick, but there's been entire days with nothing on Kick. There's been days with one sub.
So yeah,
on
this
Kick.
is the stream after he didn't beg. He did one stream where he didn't beg, and then he showed back up and did a double length
You will take 40 bucks
podcast and begged this hard.
right now if I properly address Ashton berating my
Like as a punishment for not paying him when he didn't beg, he decided to show up and then beg harder.
wife again. All right, you ready? Ashton is fucked up for ever bringing up my wife. He should never have her name.
Okay, wait. Here it is.
Wife again. All right, you ready? Ashton is fucked up for ever bringing up my wife. He should never have her name in his mouth. And I've spoken with him about it. And if he continues to bring her up in his content, whether it's his show or mine, Smark Guys, I will no longer work with him.
No.
We had it out. I talked to him about it. It's fucked up that he would ever bring her up. It's one thing if he brings me up and he wants to razz on me because he's helped me out tremendously.
Okay. So keep this in mind because this beginning part that I talked over is pretty good. We got to hear the context yet again. It's very good.
You will tip me 40 bucks right now if I properly address Ashton berating my wife again. All right,
You will tip me 40 bucks. Speaking
Missed
of
you,
tipping.
handsome.
Big ups, Agent 47. Hey, I love your games, dude. Thank you for the 199. Appreciate it. Hey, Lackey Bracky. But yeah, this part. What the hell?
ready?
I will tip you 40 bucks if you address Ashton talking about your wife.
Ashton is fucked.
It takes a $40 incentive for him to even address it, like Lackey says. He defended Derich harder than his own wife, and that's something I've said before too.
We've had it out.
That's
I talked to him
insane.
about it. It's fucked up that he would ever bring her up. It's one thing.
Thanks
It's
for the
fucked
streams,
up.
dude. Appreciate the commentary.
Oh,
You
thank
make
you.
DSP streams tolerable. Big ups.
Thank you, Raven Lux, for the 5, and Majin Bulin for the membership. But thank you. We have a lot to go through, but this is actually good because PPP apparently doesn't show up until like 45 minutes from now. So we got some time.
If he brings me up and
But
he wants to razz
thank you.
on
Appreciate
me
it.
because
Raven
he's helped me
Lux,
out tremendously.
so much.
All right? My wife has nothing to do with him or his content.
Oh, no.
And I swear to God, if he fucking brings her up again in a negative way in his content, I will cut ties with that man.
So that's what he has to say. It takes a $40 incentive tip, which I assume he thinks is a
There you go.
troll. Like he's going to say, you're not even going to tip me, right?
I don't
I
care
know
about your $40 tip because I know you weren't going to send it anyway. I know
There you go.
But it's
You're
about
full
time
of
that
shit.
I said that because it needed to be said and everyone's been talking about it. Okay.
That's a key word right there. Everyone's been talking about it. So he's only addressing something that has to do with his wife? because everyone's talking about it. How the fuck is everyone talking about it the reason why you defend your wife? Like, he doesn't give a shit. And that's like, speaking of not giving a shit, we're going to go through these Ashton hot tweets.
Okay.
But yeah, he needs an incentive, but then says he doesn't care about the incentive, the $40, the fake $40.
They're not going to pay up. They were a troll. No one's going to pay $40.
What the fuck?
Needed to be said.
And then that's what
By
he
the way,
focuses
Worcester
on.
Says, I love the content, Phil. Thank you, Worcester. I appreciate that.
Oh my lord. That's what it costs him. That's what his wife's worth to
Yes,
him.
I've spoken with Ashton since Monday's Kino Casino. 100%. I've spoken with him about it, and I told him this is not acceptable. It's not right. It's messed up that he does that. And he knows how I feel. So.
Okay. I feel like I can't let him say that without you seeing it. You may not have seen it. I don't know. You probably did, but let's see.
Person
It's in this part. He says it when he unboxes a card.
Cena. I don't know if it's
ahead
called
of
the
this.
greatest of all time. It is. It's nothing special.
All
It's
right.
a modern SmackDown superstar.
Here it is.
It's
What the fuck?
Piper Niven, but it's in black and white. Why is it in black and white?
What?
It's actually like, it's weird. It's like a, I don't know if it's a special card or not. See that? It's like black and white Piper Niven.
It's a big
Are
lady.
they all like chromium?
This
Like,
one,
Is that how all of them are?
this one is just like silver. See, it doesn't really have that effect. This one does have like a chromium effect to it. So maybe this is a rarer card. I don't know.
Oh
Piper-
god, it's cat.
Whoa.
How dare you? But the bummer is it's Piper Niven.
That's the response. In the moment when the dude says, hey, look, it's a big lady. Whoa, it's Cat. He doesn't say anything. Doesn't say shit. How dare you? Anyways, let's look at this fucking card. That's what he's referring to when he says
It's one
Monday's
thing
Smart
for them
Guys.
to bring me up, make fun of me. They've done a lot for me. Go ahead and make fun of me. Say I'm a loser, whatever you want to do. I don't really give a fuck. I've got thick skin. But you don't bring my wife and family and other people into it to have no fucking involvement in any of this shit. Period. Okay? That's when you've gone over the line. Okay? For the base
How dare
response
you.
to disrespecting your wife, respect king. Yeah, you know. Listen. I get it. All right, I really do.
That was a quick edit, so just for context, $10 from a guy says, for the based response to disrespecting your wife.
I understand.
And he's like, yeah, man, I get it.
I get the shtick. I get the game. I do. But you get to a point where it's like, I have enough tolerance for stuff. I do. I'm very patient. As you see, I can put up
What?
with shit, especially to someone or people who've been very good to me.
I can put up
Let's
with
be
shit.
honest. Can we be honest? Kino Casino has been incredibly good to me, right? They helped me out. They gave me a shot. They had me on their show multiple times. You know, I'm doing actually a well show right now. The show that we're doing right now, Smark Guys, is doing well. So I'm happy for all of that. But there has to be a point where you draw
We're
the
going
line.
to the live streams
There's
piracy.
no reason for him to be bringing up
Don't
my
worry
wife
about it.
ever.
We'll get there.
Bring me up. Make fun of me. Tear me a new asshole, right? What are you bringing up my family for? It has nothing to do with anything, right?
My family.
There you go.
Man, isn't it funny how he chooses to defend
Okay.
her after the fact and only because everyone's talking about it and only because he got an incentive to talk about it that he knew was fake? Anyways, in response to this, Triple P, I like to call him, said, shit, I had it. No. Anyways, here it is. Right here. Fat is not an insult. It's a descriptive term describing biological reality and was often used on the playground as kids. Not offensive. Some people need to harden up and not be such sissies about things they choose to share online. So a lot of DSP language there. Also, I want to make it clear, Phil is not a victim and never has been. He makes himself the victim and plays the victim desperately, but his decisions are his own. Thank you, Jamie. Yeah, he's not going to snake me. We're going to get to that clip. But yep, so PPP's been responding to it on Twitter. And then today, DSP went full on into this because of these tweets. And then this is the best part. I just want to point out the following. DSP actually didn't give a single fuck about me joking about his wife. He allowed me to do it to his face over and over. He never said a word. Only when detractors made fun of him for it did he care. It's all he cares about. It was not Phil's natural instinct or reaction to defend his wife. He needed to be told by the people who hate him the most that it's what he was supposed to do. I would respect his ultimatum if it was sincere and it actually bothered him. but all Phil cares about is ego and money. He'll say I'm the bad guy and the villain, and this is just an innocent little victim. He's just an innocent little victim who didn't do anything. But as I said, he's no victim. He didn't want to hear me tell him the truth anymore. I was too real last week, and this ultimatum was his way out. Save his ego. I just want to point out, if this turns out to be some sort of fake, like, drama thing, I don't know why it would be. But I kind of had that suspicion, along with some other people I saw. But it would be pretty funny either way, because then Triple P got hit DSP to, like, fake get angry about his wife and to go out of his way to, like, fake protect her on her, just for it to be fake, which will be funny either way. So trolls win again. Finally, this isn't about his wife. It's about respect. Phil showed zero respect for me, Andy, or Steve, or anyone else who tried to help him yesterday. He threw it all in my face with his third path, lazy bullshit, and refusal to ever try or put in any effort. It's a waste of resources. So that's Triple P was tweeting this stuff as DSP was starting up his stream. And then that's what we'll cover now. And then we'll get to the live response from Truth Seekers. Dun, 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 dun.
But yeah, it is what it is, my friends. Today, we have to address drama, all right? And, it sucks. I don't like having to deal with real-life drama like this. I don't. Every once in a while, it's cool to just, kind of strike back at those who've messed with you. But in this case, this one is a long time coming. This is something that obviously started way last year, and we kind of have to talk all about that and how we got to this point, all right? But let's just up front take it head on, explain to you what's happened, and the fact that my content is about to change. I want you guys to know, and then we're going to kind of go through the history of how we got here, okay? Officially, as of today,
Oh boy,
all right,
I didn't know
I
he
am
did
going
this.
to be doing Smark Guys solo. starting tonight on
No.
the
So that's the stream he's doing today.
stream. We're going to see how the show goes. As long as the show still gets some attendance and support, I want to continue it through WrestleMania. And then we'll see what we want to do. WrestleMania is only about a month away, so it would be a few more episodes or whatever, and that's it. And then we'll go from there.
How much did the
All
last
right.
show make?
Now, you might say, what the hell? What are you talking about? Smart
Let's
Guys is a
see.
co-op commentary show about pro wrestling with you and PPP from Kino Casino. It's been going good for like over 2 months. You're at 8 episodes. I think tonight was episode 9. Why would the show's format change all of a sudden right in the middle of everything? All right. Well, I'm going to give you the answer, but the answer won't make sense until you kind of go through the history. All right. But I'll just say this up front because I want to make this clear. Absolutely nothing that I'm about to tell you on this show is private information. Okay. I am not the kind of guy that's going to go and be like, oh, well,
Right.
all this stuff was going on behind the scenes, private, and you guys don't know about it. So let me just spill all that shit right now and be a complete fucking dick and violate trust and stuff like that. I'm not going to do that. All right? I'm not.
I like
I'm just
him
gonna
having
tell
to
you,
point that out.
basically,
Specifically because he has done that in the past. With his ex-best
perspective
friends.
on this whole ride
No.
since last summer of what's been going on
He's changed, guys. He's learned.
and how we got to where we got today. Okay? So basically, why am I doing Smart Guys solo?
Oh, right. I forgot an additional piece of context which triggered this. Thank you to Duty. Kino Casino was streaming. They were listening to Freebird.
Post
Very-
has gifted us
Very Kino Casino business. And then
March 9th. Phil will never see it. Donate the subs to Phil. Ginger. Vitus. 18 answering the call.
I'm sorry. I apologize already.
Woo! We are only 582 away from the
I should have
goal.
got a timestamp.
Some bitch is fat.
There you go.
She's fat. Water Weird has gifted a sub. Manchurian candidate for a sub.
Called his wife fat again. Again, the same day he gave him the ultimatum.
All right? Well, it's very
So that also triggered this, I assume.
simple. Okay? PPP on his show, Kino Casino, has increasingly started up
Thank you,
with
Jordan
rhetoric
Fadeaway.
that's
8
pretty
months.
toxic, negative, and insulting towards myself and my family. Now, there's a difference between myself and my family. I want you to understand that. Okay? So Kino Casino essentially has done a lot for me. Back when I appeared on their show first in August, which I actually spearheaded by contacting them behind the scenes, which shocked them. They had no idea that I would ever do that. And then got on their show, had that initial interview, which was very entertaining, made lots more content with them and all of that, right? The whole idea was that something very different would come from it than all the other content
Oh boy.
that has been made, over the years about me. And that it would actually like turn into something very different and interesting. All right. And I think it did, at least for a while. Okay. Now, since those guys did so much for me, I let them know, listen, I'm not going to have any bad feelings towards you if you guys use me in your content. If you have whole segments on me, ripping me a new asshole, saying my content sucks, saying I suck, I really don't care. I mean, everyone else does it anyway.
You guys can bully me. That's
okay. With you guys, you might as well benefit from it too. Go for it, right? I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm going to be a dick now just because we did some content together. Now,
sorry that you're offended, but I don't care.
Yeah, Iviga, thank you for the 2. Another funny thing that he's talking about here that has kind of to do with that, Iviga. They talked shit about his wife before he ever decided to go on their show. So it was a thing that they already did, and he was aware of it.
you can't
Or at least people were telling him about it.
make fun of me, okay?
But he just, the cope with that is that they are just repeating detractor memes, and that's the joke.
I mean, that's the whole premise of their entire show. And so you might wonder, oh, why did Phil allow them once in a while to do that? Isn't that kind of like weird?
So the point with that is that he went into this already knowing that they were already doing that, making fun of his wife. Or at least they mentioned her. And stated a factual observation. Which he was okay with at the time, but not anymore?
that you would let them, insult you and make fun of you on their show, but then you're still doing content with PPP and you're talking about future content and stuff.
And they
like
already
that,
hashed
right?
this out like 2 weeks ago, apparently. Hashed it out.
It was all well and good. But if you haven't noticed recently,
sure, Agent
definitely the rhetoric
47.
has kicked up. And in particular, where I started to get wind that this was happening and it really was upsetting me, was PPP starts bringing up my wife. Now, for those who don't know, my wife, Kat, has showed up in my content less than 10 times. All right. When she first moved in with me in 2018, all right, I think she was in like 3 streams where we did like Q&A and stuff, and that was it. And then she did 1 stream with me that was like a Halloween stream. And everyone made fun of her. I say everyone, it's the detractors, of course, made fun of her for her looks. And
everyone.
All right. So for many, many years, she never appeared in my content. Okay. And then last year, early on, after years of kind of sitting on the sidelines and wanting to be part of the content, but I'm like, man, these fucking idiots are just going to say something. Finally was like, you know what? Who cares? Let's just do it anyway. And we were trying to plan like what kind of content she could be in last year.
One thing I'm going to mention about that, when she showed up again 5 years later, which was last year, she showed up on stream raw, cold turkey, as he would say. He just fucking held her up for the camera, if he could hold her. But she specifically was saying and went out of her way to give the same speech that DSP gives, where she said, at a certain point, like, you don't have to care what the trolls say about you. They're just fucking idiots. They don't know what they're fucking talking about. Some bullshit like that. She gave the DSP speech, the spiel, where how trolls are idiots and you shouldn't care about what they say because they're just idiots online. It's like he brainwashed her. That was the script that he was feeding her for probably months or a year leading up to that moment. And then she just repeated it when she got on stream. And everybody who watched that stream knew that it was fucking weird. And she was just repeating a script, that the same DSP script. And she obviously didn't mean any of it. And then look at what happened. She's gone because people made fun of her yet again. It's almost like everything she was saying was a lie.
What could it be?
And
could it be
his
Q&A
manipulation tactic worked, I guess.
And so we kind of did a combo. We actually had a couple of streams where she was here for Q&A, and then 1 or 2 streams where we did this co-op of the Dondoko Island part of Like a Dragon, Infinite Well. To be frank, the gameplay didn't really work. All right, it kind of like the game was boring. So after a couple of streams, we just cut it off. And then after that,
see, look at this dude. Like, even in the speech that he's giving, where he says his wife basically left the internet again because she was made fun of, he still blames the game for why she left. Like, before he gets into the story.
The Dondoko Island part of
like, how can you blame the game?
Infinite Well. To be frank, the gameplay didn't really work.
To be frank.
All right, it kind of like the game was boring. So after a couple of streams, we just cut it off. And then after that,
whatever,
I'm going to tell you something that I've kind of alluded to, but haven't really talked much about. Kat started to experience some health problems. And because of that, her health took a turn for the worse.
Oh, my Lord.
It wouldn't have made sense for her to start coming on stream with the levels of stress and stuff that she was going through. Okay?
That's insane.
So that's why she just disappeared.
Why would he even tell anybody this? Because of her health. I want to point out a few days before this, maybe a week before this, he was saying trolls are the reason she doesn't show up again. I don't have a clip, but I could have sworn I seen it on stream, maybe 2 streams ago. He was saying it was Troll's fault why she doesn't show up. She doesn't want to show up to just be harassed.
My content. It wasn't that.
And then today, when he's dropping, I guess, truth bombs all over the place, he decides to then say her health is bad.
There's no content or anything we want to
Like,
do.
what?
In fact, I had
Why would
bought
you even
Beyond
say
Two
that?
Souls to actually play with her and do a cold co-op playthrough of. All right.
I don't know, dude. Like, even if you asked her if you can say it, why would you? Why would you ever say that to the internet?
Because of the circumstance going on.
Yeah, man.
We
I mean,
just
I guess for
can't
pity,
do it.
right? I know the real answer. I know the answer. It's money. But, like, dude, I don't know.
All right.
Come on.
Now,
At a
over the
certain
course of the
point,
year, the good news is stuff got better. All right. It improved.
it improved.
And as you know,
That's
I
why
didn't
she never
talk about
came
it all
back.
year. That's private shit. You know, no one really needs to know about that.
Oh, no one
But-
needs to know. No one needs to know except you need to know that she has health issues. But you don't need to know. You don't need to know, but you need to know.
That's why she disappeared from
money.
my content and hasn't come back, because we're in a situation where we're already so stressed out about all kinds of stuff going on. And that is one of the many things going on in my private life right now. It's not everything, to be clear, and I'll talk about that in a second. But it's just one of many
So
things. All right,
stupid,
and
dude.
stupid camera, stop doing AI
This
bullshit.
dude sucks. What a piece of
so-
shit, man.
Basically, after that, we got questioned nonstop. Why is Kat not in your content? Where did she disappear to? And people speculate, oh, you got divorced. She's not there with you anymore. And all this bullshit and nonsense, right? It's all the same detractor crap that they all say. It's all bullshit.
I like
okay?
how he brings that up too, because he specifically went out of his way. Again, he's retconning this story a little bit, at least a little bit. He was saying that they were gonna do something in May of 2024 or July or June or whatever. He kept bringing up new dates every time the date got closer. He kept hyping her up that she was gonna show back up on stream. And then he never really acknowledged it. And it took months of people asking him before he finally said, it's not gonna happen. And I don't even know if that's what he said. He probably said some bullshit like, oh, we'll see. It wasn't
So,
just
Finally,
out
you
of the
know,
blue.
fast forward to this year and today and all this stuff going on. And
He
all of a
hyped it
sudden,
up.
after weeks of PPP escalating this rhetoric on his show, this toxic stuff about me, which again, I don't give a shit. I really don't. I've got thick skin. I don't care what you say about me. Say
Sure.
it. Get your rise. Get people to toss you money for it. I just don't care. I don't.
Oops, I just opened
But when you
Steam
start
like
bringing
a
up my
fool.
family members for literally no reason, besides, oh, maybe this will also get something out of the audience. Maybe this will get a rise out of Phil. Because if you want to know the truth, I think that's what this is all about. I think that PPP wants to get a rise out of me. He wants to have me here freak out and start, going
Sure.
full path number 2.
All
the return
right.
of the king of hate.
That's a
the
crazy
angry man
cope.
who-
That's a fucking insane cope, dude. Are you joking? He's talking shit about my wife, who I love and is my soulmate, just to get a rise out of me. Like, he's kind of fucking with me a little bit. Like, he's on my side.
He just wants to rage against everything and burn everything down around him. And
Who
burn
are
everything
you?
around him, because all I care about is myself and, go crazy. And I totally feel like that's what it is.
Oh my
All right.
God.
But basically, when you start bringing up my wife for absolutely no reason, again, there's no reason. It's not like Kat is part of my content. She's not. Right? She was in like 3-4 streams last year. She stopped being part of the content. She's not affecting anything. So it's that simple. All right.
It's
just
funny
that
how
simple.
she's not part of his content unless he needs to use her as a shield or as an excuse or as a reason to beg for money. Why is that the case? How is she not a part of anything unless you need to beg for stuff?
There's
I
no
don't know,
reason to ever
sir.
bring her up at all.
I don't
But
know,
he keeps
sir.
doing it. Now, of course, you guys wouldn't know this, but I've spoken with him about this many times. Okay? Many times. This isn't the first time, second time. And every time I say, this has to stop, he apologizes. He says, I got too worked up. I got into my rhetoric again. I'm sorry. Okay,
Hey,
fine.
wait a minute.
And
Doesn't
then
that
he
sound
comes back,
familiar?
And then he does it again. And it's like, wait, what are you doing?
What?
We had the conversation.
Who does that
already.
sound like? That sounds like Dark Swadil.
You understood it was wrong. You apologized for it. So if you did that, why are you doing it again?
How many times has DSP apologized for begging or apologized for yelling at his audience or apologizing for singling someone out?
Okay. So
alright.
this week, it's this simple. He won't
okay.
stop. He's been doing it nonstop, like 2 shows in a row. And he basically feels
Zero.
like he just
No,
has
he's
free
done
reign
it
to say or do
before.
whatever he wants because, I
Guys,
guess
I
it's
get
speech or
so
whatever it is.
heated.
I really don't give a shit.
I have shit going on behind this. He did this the other day. It could have been yesterday. He was saying, the reason I'm telling you I'm depressed, but I'm not really telling you what it is, I'm just letting you know I'm depressed, is because if I yell at my chat, if I freak out on someone or explode, I just want you to know that, it's because of stuff going on behind the scenes.
Okay? But
What?
I'm not going to let a man just publicly bring my family into his content because he feels like whatever, whether it's he thinks it's funny, he thinks it's free speech, he thinks this will get a rise out of me, you know. So here's the thing, I can't.
So this is great too, because this is a week after the dude made fun of your wife the last time to your face. He did it the week before that too. He did it before you even got on his show, and the only reason he's doing this is because he saw these tweets before he started. And the one where it was not Phil's natural instinct or reaction to defend his wife. He needed to be told by the people who hate him most that it's what he's supposed to do. So he's like overcompensating now and going so hard about like, you can never talk about my wife. Like, dude, you obviously don't give a shit because you didn't give a shit when he did it to your face twice.
Whether it's he thinks it's funny, he thinks it's free speech,
Come on, man.
He thinks this will get a rise out of me. You know?
And again, if this is some fake promotion shit, which it kind of might be, maybe not. But if it is, it's still funny that DSP goes this hard defending his wife when it's fake. So even if it is a fake drama thing, it's pretty funny that Triple P somehow gaslit DSP into like joining him on this weird thing where he'll fake defend his wife.
So here's the thing, I can't stop him from doing it. I can't stop him from making that level of content.
Bitch made.
But what I can do is refuse to make content with him because I'm not going to stand for that kind of behavior.
Mean?
All right. If he was married and he had a wife, regardless of how she looked, how she acted, whatever, I would not insult his wife. Period.
Okay.
There's just no reason for it. You know, even if I have a million problems with him, I wouldn't insult his wife.
What is this supposed to do? You see what he's focused on? You see what he's focused on when defending his own wife? He's focused on making himself look better than PPP. Is this really you defending your wife by just making yourself out to be a better person than Triple P? That doesn't really seem like you're defending her, dude. It kind of just makes it seem like you're trying to look better than him.
When we went as hard as
we did this
on Review Tech USA, I said I really don't want to talk about his family and his wife and that stuff going on. I'd rather just, you go at the individual. You go at their misdeeds and the things that they're doing wrong publicly. You don't try to go behind the scenes at the low blow jugular shit. I'm not that kind of guy. All right. So it was the same thing there. So it's that simple. Buddy. And that's why I can't do it anymore. I'm not going to be doing a show with this guy who is going to be constantly bringing up my wife in a toxic, negative manner and insulting her in his content. All right. So tonight on my late stream, excuse me, at 6:45 p.m. Pacific time, Pacific Daylight Time, over on the DSP Reacts channel and on the My Cake channel, I will be solo streaming Smark Guys.
All right, Smark Guys is solo.
I will
support, give me money.
In format like this.
All right.
And we're at the hottest time of wrestling right now. Like, there's actually a lot to talk about.
Okay, brother.
And no one shows up, and no one engages, and no one supports, and no one likes it, then I'll just cancel it. I mean, I don't want to. I really don't. I want to do the show, but I'm not going to continue to do a show no one wants.
This is pretty much his entire business, too. Everything he does, you need to show up and give him money or he won't do it. But I guess he needs to point it out to make it extra, bring extra awareness to it.
You know, there's no point. So let's see what happens.
Let's see. Hint,
now,
hint.
What I'd like to do,
is there's
a million questions here about all of this. All right, there is.
Okay.
Let's just briefly talk about what's happened and the change in attitude towards me and all of that since August of last year. Because all I can really do is speculate. But at the same time, I do want to clarify a whole lot of stuff to everyone. All right. First of all, right now, PPP is sitting on his Twitter very hurriedly and scaredly tweeting. I don't know why. It's like the guy's terrified about what I'm going to say or something.
So somehow this is hurriedly and scaredly tweeting. Giving his own opinion on DSP is hurriedly and scaredly tweeting, which he will be addressing apparently on this show. So we'll get to it when we get to it. I guess we'll see what happens. I'm not live. He's still not there, so we got time.
I don't get it. It's like he still doesn't get it of who I am today versus who I used to be. I don't know. But he's just going crazy on there, saying a million things. Oh,
he's assuming Triple P is afraid of something DSP can leak on him or leak the conversation.
About the all toxic stuff. I don't care.
I don't care.
I'm not.
This is him not caring.
We're talking about it in my chat. I'm never going to read it. I don't care. All right. I don't know what his problem is, but
as if he already did.
Yes, I did watch Raw Arcane. I'm ready for tonight's show. So
okay, dude.
Here's what happened. Here's the history, and here's why I feel it's gone this way.
Pretty much DS parody.
Okay. I'm going to tell you as matter-of-factly as I can from the knowledge that I have, but I'm not going to reveal any private stuff or anything like that. I'm not. I'm going to be fair here. I'm not going to be some kind of a snake in a dick. But here's what I think has happened, okay?
What?
Originally, back in August, and then into that early September,
Oh,
all right? I think that when I reached out to Kino Casino and then they responded and we did that initial content, which if you remember, it was me appearing on their show for the first interview and hangout session, watching and kind of looking at the toxic lolcow content together. And then it was us doing the interview with Josh Moon, the owner of Kiwi Farms. And then it was the co-op gameplay
Why are we recapping?
chained together, right?
Why are we recapping?
I feel like we struck a hot iron or whatever the hell you want to say, whatever you call it. I don't know the saying, but like that was something that had never been done before.
Iron.
Everyone else had always treated me like dirt and never even given me a chance to speak. And they did the opposite. And because
That's
of that,
insane.
it actually exploded.
That's actually
Everyone was
crazy
talking
for
about
him
it.
to
Everyone
say.
was excited about it, like, holy shit.
No one gave him a chance to speak. Dude, a year before that, he did an interview with people who let him speak for 5 hours.
DSP is actually interesting and
What?
entertaining.
They didn't let
the
you
opportunity
speak.
to do these kind of interactions instead of just completely just fucking
all right.
deriding him, which is all people had done for like a decade, right? Then they went on vacation for a month. And I'm not going to fault them for that or anything like that at all, okay? They went on vacation for a month. It's already been pre-planned and all of that. And I do feel like that's...
The language he uses sometimes. I need to hear this again.
And I'm not going to fault them for that or anything like that at all.
They went on vacation, and I'm not going to fault them for that or anything. What? Oh, thank you, Phil. Thank you, Sir Phil. Thank you for not faulting them for going on vacation.
Okay? They went on vacation for a month, which had already been pre-planned.
Who the fuck are you,
and all of
dude?
that. And I do feel like that sadly kind of stifled that momentum that we
Hey,
initially
King, be cool.
had.
What's up?
Because when you're sitting around for a month and you're like, gee, what content will come next? And there's none. Now, I did my best during that month to maintain. If you remember, that was the month where I interviewed Keemstar on the Level 1 podcast
That was
right
not
here.
an interview.
And that went really well. Again, that kind of exploded, right? It went crazy how popular it went.
Did it?
And people loved it and said, more, Phil, more. Give us more of this kind of content. So then I had Stuttering Craig on the show. And the guy literally exposed himself the most I think anyone has ever exposed himself. Completely
we still
went
think
mask off,
this?
freaking out, saying crazy stuff. I want to donate the money I made off your detractors. Wait, I want to give it to you. Wait, what? No, fuck you, Phil. Like, wait, what? So that was a wild interview.
Yeah, that's
it really
totally
was.
what
Crazy.
happened.
Never expected it to go that way. That was good content, right?
So the reason why he likes the Keemstar quote-unquote interview so much is because Keemstar just sat there and kind of just told him what he wanted to hear and talked about himself and didn't really insult him. He basically just doesn't want anyone pushing back against anything he has to say. That's why he likes the Keemstar interview so much. Because then also, key thing, Keemstar kind of fucked off and never like talked to him again.
Then I had the interview. Well, then
That's
I
what he
reacted
wants.
to my documentary by June the King.
Come
And then
in,
I had the interview.
apologize, and leave.
Admittedly, I don't think the interview with June the King went the way anyone wanted. It was pretty darn boring.
Big
Because
ups,
we all
King Be
thought that
Cruel.
maybe he'd have stuff to say about, researching me and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
Japan
right?
Hater, we
And
will.
it just ended up being kind of a blah conversation until we actually started talking about other creators, for example, Wings of Redemption. Then finally, there's a little bit of redeeming qualities in that interview and stuff like that, right?
What?
But then after that, when the casino came back, we kind of tried to resume and pick up where we left off, but this is where things fell apart. And I honestly don't think it's anyone's fault who was involved. Allow me to explain.
Blue block,
All right. For many, 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 many years,
Baby blue.
every single person on the internet wanted to use me as their easy,
Free.
low-hanging fruit, their easy payday, their target where, hey, if I have a day where I just make fun of Darkside Phil, I'll make profit because
That's
he's
a
the
bad
meme
quote,
that
bro.
everyone likes to make fun of, right?
This is
And this
really
just
bad.
persisted for the longest damn time. Well, all of a sudden, now that I was actually getting positive attention, people were listening to what I had to say instead of just deriding me and
What?
writing me off.
Oh, great.
Now was the opportunity to clap back. Take a look at the interview with Josh Moon. It went
So he
really
liked
well.
drama.
I said my side, he said his side. We didn't really come to an agreement or a middle road, but it was still fascinating content.
Hey, there's another interview, quote unquote, that they spoke. He didn't really get major pushback. And then the guy fucked off and never talked to him again. That's his favorite interview.
Right? Fascinating. It was really, really good.
Never
So
talk
the whole
about me
idea
ever
was,
again.
Let's keep making that fascinating content because Kino Casino is a great middle ground for that kind of content. You could have me on versus these other people who've always been toxic or accusatory towards me, and let's hash it out. Let's actually see what your real problem is with me, and let's figure it out together, right? And
If he talks about this,
that was the
fucking
whole
cat,
point.
dude.
okay, like that's how it was going to go. And of course, occasionally there was going to be other content where maybe I would do some gameplay with those guys. I would show up on their show and there'd be another interview where we talk about other things, right? And then systematically what happened was very simple, all right? Every single person who we reached out to,
Boy, speaking of systematically, thank you, King Be Cruel, for the 5 gifted memberships.
and contacted
Enjoy.
and
5
said,
of
hey,
you.
listen, now
Thank you so much.
is the time.
Now's the
Because
time.
over the years, you've been so critical of Phil. So let's do this. Let's do this show. Let's have Kino Casino be the neutral place to do this. You know, internet blood sport, right? Let's do it. Let's hash it out. And it could end up like the Josh Moon interview. It could end up like the Stuttering Craig interview. It could be like, who knows what's going to happen, but it's going to be
This
exciting
sucks.
content.
Why are we recapping all of this, man?
And all we heard was no, 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 no. Okay? Why did we hear no? Well, all I can do is speculate. But my speculation is pretty
What the
simple.
fuck, dude? In his own story, he contradicts himself. In his own fucking story, he said he was white hot popular, and the internet changed their opinion on him. And then now he's saying when they tried to contact people to talk to him, everyone said no. But I thought everyone loved you.
These people who
You
over
just
the
said
years have
that.
always wanted to come at me.
Oh
have always
boy.
wanted to come at me
Of
because
course.
I was the easy
We're
win.
coping now.
I was the easy target.
The
Everyone else was
roundabout
already doing
coping.
it. You already know there's an installed, established group of people who are going to throw you money if you bring me up in a negative or toxic manner. They're brainwashed to do it. It's literally a cult on the internet, right? So since now this was going to be different, well, guess what? I don't want to do it anymore. No. When it's going to be fair, there's going to be an actual interview where Phil can talk and I can talk, and it's not completely one-sided. Fuck that. I
That's
want nothing to
insane.
do with
This
that.
is what
because
makes
that's
him
not
a
what I was
lol
ever
cow.
interested in.
This is what makes him a lol cow, dude. There's so many different things, but this is one of them. He just doesn't understand that he's a joke. Nobody takes you seriously enough to even want to talk to you. Why would they want to platform you on their channel or be associated with you in any way?
I just wanted the easy win. I just wanted to go back and beat the dead horse the 100th time.
Like, it's fun
get some
to
more money.
laugh at you.
I never
No
really
shit,
cared about
dude.
crapping on Phil. I cared about the easy
You're a
target.
fucking lol
And now
cow,
that target's
man.
not easy anymore, I'm just not going to do it.
Oh,
All right?
okay.
So I'm not
Yeah.
talking, oh,
I'm
this happened
afraid.
once, this happened twice. This happened like a ton of times where we were trying to get people lined up. We were going to do this work together. Just fail, fail, fail.
Right. But the internet loved him.
And there's nothing we can really do
At
about
the
that.
same time
right?
that this was
So
happening.
in that regard, okay, I can't fault Kino Casino at all. I don't think that it's their fault that stuff that it happened like that. I feel like
Yeah,
if
Bill
people had
Brasky, that's a
bought
great
in,
point.
There might have been some times when I came out.
So he was okay. Again, Kino Casino had already made fun of his wife at this point. They already did. So he was okay with it. He's okay with making fun of wives, or his wife specifically, if he's able to profit off of it and to use you to make money. As long as you don't like say gout in front of him and make fun of him to his face, he's okay with it. He's okay with you insulting his wife. But now he's a big macho man, and he says that crosses the line, even though they already did it back then when he's talking about all these successes.
Looking better. Other times, the other person came out looking better,
okay.
and I would have been fine with that. Like, seriously, that would have been good to me, and it would have been good content, and man, it would have been variety stuff. I still would have been able to do my stuff on my channel, but still
Trayvon.
brought drama into it time to time. I would have been able to be in their stuff. It just didn't work out like that for whatever reason. Was it because the month vacation? I don't know. But, you know, that's life. That's what happens. Sometimes shit doesn't work out, right? So we did still try. If you do take a look, I tried to do more stuff with them in October. It didn't really click. Tried to do the whole Gunt Busters event where we were going to go after Ethan and Ralph. We all dressed up like the Ghostbusters. It didn't really work because at the time, no one really cared about Ethan and Ralph, but a lot of stuff was going on with Review Tech. So when I came on the show, we ended up talking more about Review Tech than Ralph, and then it kind of got derailed and it was confusing. And then for Halloween, we did the co-op of zombies, which I thought worked. But the thing is, that's more for my audience. You know what I'm saying? Like the zombies co-op is more for a DSP gaming audience.
This
It's
is
not for a
insane,
casino
man.
audience. The casino wants the drama. Where was the drama in that? There was none, right? And then the last thing that I really did with them was the election special, which honestly I thought was fun, but I was already doing my own content and I couldn't just drop everything to be on their show. And I did jump on for a little while and I enjoyed what I did when I was doing it, but I just couldn't be there all night. Okay? And that's really where the actual cooperative content kind of ended.
So
You know,
no surprise, it's another thing, and people were saying, I know I was definitely saying this at the time. This is like white hot popular, or at least in regards to DSP, and then eventually it's gonna die down. And then the views will go down, the money will go down, and that's how it's gonna go. It's the same thing with everything he does. People realize he's just kind of boring with no takes, or really trash takes, and just sits there and nods his head.
we talked, hey, maybe
He's
I'll
like
come
a
on the show again,
vacuum
maybe
of
we'll do something else
personality.
together, yada, yada, yada. We talked about it.
Nothing
Nothing really happened,
there.
all right? And then finally, where we actually did come to an agreement that we thought something that would work was the Smark Guys coming back, the wrestling commentary. What Jasper's doing down there is distracting me. I really feel like that was the best idea because I love pro wrestling. PPP likes pro wrestling. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of that together was like the perfect combo, and it was going to work. And to be honest, I think it does work. Okay? I do. I think that
Does it?
the show is great. All right? Now, That's kind of the content history that we have, right? I don't think that it's anyone's particular fault, all right? But then what ended up happening is this year, basically, okay, I really have to be fair here. I pretty much talk with PPP
Why would you have to
directly.
be
That's it.
fair?
I've had some conversations.
Like, that's insane that he's still saying he has to be fair. He doesn't want to fully burn the bridge, even though he's saying it's crossing the line, making fun of his wife. Dude, how, like, are you really defending your wife? It's crossing a line to make fun of her, but you're still kind of treating PPP with kid gloves and you're afraid to say anything or burn any bridge permanently. Because of what? Money? I guess. What a real man.
Andy,
what a
about
great
stuff
man.
behind the scenes, but not
Loves
very
his
many.
wife,
It's mostly me
protecting
always
her
talking
honor.
to PPP. We're the ones who are planning, brainstorming, having the discussions about stuff, content, and stuff like that. Andy, I don't know to what extent he is involved in the planning of the show. All right, but for the most part,
Thank you for the
He
bloop.
will bring it up with his 3-path set, but he says he makes things harder for his family just so he can back. He doesn't care for cut.
That's a great point, Ramen Brahmin. We haven't got to the 3-path thing, but thank you so much for the 5. Yeah, he doesn't actually care because there's so many things like opportunities and
talking
different
with
things he
PPP.
could be doing.
So I just want this to
to
come out
support
fairly.
his
I don't wanna go,
family.
the casino. Not really.
But of
It's
course
really
he doesn't
PPP
wanna
who
do
I
it.
talk to when it comes to this stuff. All right,
Which
Andy,
is great.
it's fun.
Obviously.
A couple times we talked.
And by the
We're like,
way,
we should do some
Chad
gameplay
agrees
together,
with
and we should
me.
do some stuff like that because we're gamers. It just never happens. Like I've expressed interest in that. I said, sure, let's do some co-op gameplay. I think my viewers would like that. Your viewers would like that. It doesn't happen. Okay, I don't know why. It just never came together. I was still to this day. I think it would be awesome if we did some co-op gameplay. Okay, but it just never happened. Right?
Just a reminder, he called Andy Worski his gaming soulmate. So it's like his gaming cat, I guess.
So
it's so
this year,
unfortunate they never did
discussions
anything
began
together.
about more content for me to be involved.
Obviously.
In, crossover content with the casino and stuff like that. But sadly, all those ideas that we had last year are pretty dead. There's no one who wants to come on the show and do a interview/internet blood sport with me. Instead, it's got to be, other stuff. And we definitely tossed around a lot of different ideas. Okay, we did. But most of them, sadly, have to do with pure drama. And if you were on the show yesterday or you watched my podcast yesterday, I told you that I feel there's 3 routes I can take forward as a content creator. Road number 1 is be a complete shill sellout. Take every sponsorship opportunity, kiss every game's butt, say everything is good, give you referral links, ads out the ass, be a complete shill. And I would definitely make bank doing that. Road number 2 is to be a complete drama queen asshole.
Here they are.
Regain the King of Hate title, attack everyone on the internet, cause tons and tons of crap for everyone, but in the same time create such a whirlpool of a vortex of drama that undoubtedly everyone would be talking about it. I'd be at odds with everyone. It would be absolutely crazy, lose control, but everyone would be talking about it.
What a guy.
Attention.
I like the way he frames these 2 paths that he obviously doesn't want to do that will probably benefit him longer term. But he doesn't want to do them. So he talks about them negatively before he even mentions the
out
third
the
one.
ass. It would really.
Let me
would've been
guess.
slow.
The third one
And there's
is
option number
let me
3,
do nothing.
which is the option that I've really been trying hard to work. And
There we
maintain,
go. Let me do
is to just be
nothing.
me.
Yeah.
To not be fake
Be me equals do nothing.
either way, but instead to just be me and maintain the course that I have.
Big
but the only way I'm going to
surprise.
actually be successful at doing that is
You
essentially
lazy
to have to ask for
fuck.
contributions every single stream, because that's the only way that I'm going to hit goals and be successful.
Let
because
me
I'm not
beg.
getting sponsored.
Dude, that's insane. This reminds me of him literally going bankrupt because he couldn't stop playing a mobile game. This is him choosing to actually factually be a beggar on the internet instead of doing things that could help his business be more successful. Let me just keep begging. I prefer a begging.
And I'm not getting the drama money.
A begging channel.
Okay. So I'll tell you right now, PPP absolutely thinks the best course of action is the drama route. No shit. Why wouldn't he? What's his whole show
Yeah,
about?
he is too stupid,
right?
right?
Drama. His entire show, the entirety of it, it's just covering people in a dramatic way. And I get it. And I have no issue with that. Now, listen, I don't have to agree with that content, and I don't have to like that content, but I certainly can respect that hustle.
Now
I
he
certainly
can
can
respect
respect
it.
that life, okay? But it doesn't mean I have to live it.
It's pretty funny that when he's friends with 2 people who do that hustle, now he respects it. Could you imagine? This dude, how long has he been talking shit about doing drama? He still does. He still talks shit about drama and people who consume it and people who do it.
Thank you.
Now he respects it.
August the duck told no lies.
Yeah, for real. Thank you, Sugon D's nuts for the $1.99.
And basically, PPP
I
this
still
year
didn't see the video.
wanted to get me heavily involved in all kinds of drama and stuff, all right? But that's as far as I'm going to say. I'm not going to tell you anything.
Thank you.
Because that's private shit. All right? But
private shit.
basically, I kind of turned it down, left, right, up, down, in every direction. Not to say that I wasn't willing to play ball or try stuff, but I was convinced. I keep turning this camera on and off. It's annoying me. I was convinced that, sadly, if I did go as far and do these things that these guys, or I say these guys, it was basically just, PPP, the stuff that they had these plans for, I was going to have to throw away 17 years of work that I had, put into the blood, the sweat, the tears that I had put into my work to get where I am today. Because as I said yesterday, if I go all the way into the drama, 100%, okay, I can't go back. You understand that, right? Like if I 100% become a drama creator,
This is so
someone who's
stupid,
all about
man.
this dramatic content, going at everyone's throat.
I don't even know what that means, 100% into drama, because you can argue that he already did that when he was talking about it almost every day. He was doing daily duty, flush the duty, and then talk about review tech and all this other shit that he was doing.
There's no way
I don't
that
know what the
could
fuck you're
continue
talking
to also
about.
be the chill gamer.
Fully into drama. I don't even know
Right?
what that means.
I couldn't do it. It would
I
end,
don't know.
and I would have to 100%
He's such a good
change
person.
the format and the content. It wouldn't work together. And quite frankly, to be transparent with everyone here, during the fall, when I was during this kind of fluctuating period of doing drama with Kino Casino and still doing my gaming content, many of my viewers, longtime viewers from over the years reached out to me and said, Phil, we just
The
don't like
voices in his
where
head.
we see you going. We understand why you're doing it. Look, you're getting extra views. You're getting extra
They
popularity.
said all
People are
this?
coming over from the casino.
They said all
And
this.
they're, contributing to your content. They're making you have
Phil,
the
I
biggest
love
rise
you.
you've had in over a decade. So we understand it. It's a means to an end. But we hope that you just don't lose yourself in all
Who the
of
fuck
this,
told him this?
okay? And now I'm going to be honest with everyone. This is something that I've told no one, actually. I've had private conversations with Kat, my wife, about it.
Oh my
And,
God. Blame Cat. Blame Cat.
Again, when you're...
What's
when
he
you're
doing?
going-
Why is he doing this? Why? Why would he say I've had conversations with Cat? Who am I going to blame? If I'm a viewer who wanted you to do drama, I'm just supposed to blame your wife? The wife that's not part of your content? You're letting your wife make decisions for the channel that she's not a part of. Please explain that, sir. How does that make any sense? Why are you talking about business decisions with your wife who's not a part of it and who doesn't make content?
going
It doesn't do
through stuff
anything.
in life.
That's
way more dire and serious and fucked up stuff, okay?
Sir?
And then you're going to go to the internet and you're going to do drama content? It's kind of like, what?
Huh?
Like,
What?
don't you have enough going on in your real life that you're dealing with, that you're juggling? That you don't need to be also manufacturing this fucking drama on the internet just to make a paycheck? You know what I mean? And we had these discussions like, get it, I'm making more money, but we're already completely stressed out about all of this
Yeah,
shit
fellow
that's going on
tractor.
in our real life. Why do we also need to have this drama shit on the internet? It's like drama in real life, drama on the internet, drama
This is
everywhere
so
I turn.
dumb.
You got to have a break from it. At some
This is
point,
like a jobless person saying,
And so we talked about it.
I'm already
and
so
said, it's just not the right
stressed
choice.
out.
Just like years ago when there was
Why
a
would I get a
possibility that I'd be
job?
working with Keemstar and
I'd be
maybe
more
I would be part of
stressed.
Lolcow Live and all of that. Had the same conversations. Like, no, this is not the right choice because if we go the drama route,
Thanks,
I'll be
Kat.
stuck there forever. I won't ever be able to return. That's like once you jump off the cliff, you can't turn around in midair and climb back up.
Yeah, I don't know,
And it
man.
would-
He keeps speaking out of both sides of his mouth because he keeps telling people, I can't do gaming all the time. I'm not going to be 50 or 60 playing games. But dude, you're stuck playing games right now. Is that not what's happening? I guess you're okay with being stuck playing games, but you don't want to be stuck doing drama?
He's
Yoo-hoo.
an empty man. No light or soul in his eyes.
Yeah, for real. He's a weasel. He's a snake, just saying shit. He just says things to get through the sentence. Thank you, Ravenlux, for the 2.
Would be a cliff I would be jumping off of. I totally feel it. All right. So I'm sorry. That's just what happened. We made a decision. I can't just be doing this over the top level of drama constantly. It's not going to work. Every once in a while, it's all right to do some kind of content like
Wacky
that for
bracky.
variety and if it's refreshing or if you know what I'm saying. But you can't just do that constantly. Right. You know what? Someone actually just brought up my own line that I forgot about. Once you put on the clown makeup, you can't ever take it off again.
Okay.
So if I jump fully into this drama content and this is who I am and I become the villain of the
Dan Dark.
internet and I'm just, sure, I'd get popularity. Sure, you'd have places like Kino Casino and Lolcow Live and everyone talking
That's
about
insane.
me covering me.
Lol cow
then
behavior.
That's it. It's like you're giving up. I've given up at making any kind of
Oh, Triple P is on the stream. So I hope that's enough context. We'll check this out a little bit. Hopefully we get some juicy details. We will come back to it though. This is Truth Seekers with a live interview with Triple P's response to this crazy rant DSP just did.
Begging, boring, bum pig. That is dark side, Phil. Now, folks, when it comes to calling cat fat cat, I was under the impression amongst fat people, amongst fellow people of calories, that fat was our word.
Yeah.
I thought I had a right to use that word. And it's not just a right that I was given by birth. I earned that right to call people fat every fucking day when I stuff my blowhole with 4,000, 5,000.
Yeah, Bill Brasky.
6,000,
it's a little sus, but
sometimes 7,000 calories, if not more a day. I work at it.
Just remember, if this all turns out to be some fake wrestling promo, again, somehow DSP got convinced to fake defend his wife and pretend to be upset about it.
Calling somebody fat can be taken so seriously.
We're still on this.
Yeah.
Oh, you called somebody fat. How about you call me fat back, you pussy bitch?
I know. Why didn't he respond? You know, like.
Well, this is the thing. It gets to a certain point where you just have this pathetic fucking worm, this spineless jellyfish loser fucking.
Pete, we're on YouTube, dude. Watch those
Jesus Christ, he's loud.
Rolls on his belly like a swine in the dirt and the muck, lets me kick fucking sand in his face.
All right, I give up. You can curse all you want.
On
We'll
the
lose it.
fucking beach there, bitch. Like, this guy, let me call him a liar, a grifter, a scam artist,
a scumbag,
man, a whore, a prostitute. Like, he let me go out. Like, it's okay. At what point are you going to start fighting back? At what point are you going to be a man? At what point are we going to have a back and forth that fucking entertains people? You know what I mean?
You know, and he doesn't understand the busting balls. It's like me busting balls. Remember when I was busting balls on Warski, I was saying that his gaming streams were boring. I was just busting his balls. I have genuine affection for Warski. I wasn't being serious. I was busting his balls. Like, he's not a man. He's like a gay man. He doesn't understand men busting balls. Well, you were just busting his balls.
Back and forth, whatever. Yeah. But ultimately, I'm just testing him to see where he's at as a man, to see where the resistance is at. Where does it stop? It never stopped. I could have come into his house and fucked his wife. And I could have ate the food from his fucking fridge while fucking his wife and slapping his cat son around.
Yeah.
Fucker, as long as he was getting paid money.
Jesus Christ, audio difference.
He doesn't give a shit about anything other than money and his ego. And the only reason he started getting upset about any of this shit was because he felt like it was giving the detractors a W. This is what it is. It's his like sick fucking mental fixation on the detractors. He must constantly be.
He didn't care about you. He didn't care about anything you said until the detractors started going after him. Like, why aren't you defending your wife?
Yeah, they had to offer him $40.
A man should.
The thing that comes down to it is it
was $40
to defend his wife. Now, they're saying my mic is really, really low. Is there any way
I can fix it?
Crank it up?
Yeah, I'll crank it up. 1 second.
Oh boy.
Okay. Test.
All right, we got it.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Is it good?
It should be. Yeah.
All right, reveal the details, dude. Come on.
This fucking shit multiple
the
times.
Discord.
On my stream, on his stream, saying all sorts of shit about his wife, about everything. And he never said a fucking thing. Most people's first instinct.
Yeah.
You go after your wife, they say, fuck you, bitch. Let's fucking square up and fight. Fuck you. You can't say that shit. And they fucking check you.
Yeah, I would.
No,
If you
he has no instinct whatsoever to defend his wife or care for his wife. The only reason he now suddenly has found this conscience for his wife is because the people that hate him the most told him he should, not because he actually gives a fuck about his wife. If he actually cared about and honored and cherished his wife, I would have honored his ultimatum. But I know it comes from a place of disingenuous fucking bullshit.
You're right.
I know he doesn't actually care about his wife, because if he did, his wife wouldn't be in the condition she fucking is in.
Oof.
Let's be real. Phil
kind of wrecked her.
Let's talk about this, right?
Oh boy.
Because it's kind of distasteful.
Maybe this isn't fake.
To talk about people's wives, right? Like, it's not really like polite or nice.
I agree.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Dark Side Phil is no fucking babe in the woods. When Dark Side Phil put Cat on stream, this wasn't 2012 Phil, 2013 Phil, 2014, 2015, 2016 Phil. This was like 2023, 2024 Dark Side Phil.
Yeah, recent.
He knew what sort of audience he had. He knew right well that when the detractors saw his wife, what they would say, how they would mock her, how they would shit on her, how they would cripple her self-esteem and confidence with what they said. And he did it anyway. He exposed his wife to all of that anyway, knowing what would happen.
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah.
Plum,
I think that's a fucking scumbag move, to tell you the truth.
You threw her to the wolves, dude.
It really seemed like it was like, look, I have a woman. You know, it seemed like he was bragging. Like, the only reason he put her there is so he could prove he had a woman.
How he introduced it, it's beyond even that. How he introduced it was to say, we have an announcement, and it's not that she's pregnant. Poking fun at his own wife.
So weird seeing like semi-outsiders saying shit that people have been saying for fucking years.
Self-respect. Why?
Or a year
so
at least.
He could more easily control her. So she would be put in her place easier, so that she would have no options. This is a man who orders DoorDash 7 days a week.
7 days a week? Really?
Every day, this motherfucker is door dashing.
Yeah, so that's what his viewers are paying for him to live an Who does he think he is? The Kardashians? They order food every day, but like they're millionaires, you know, like they can afford it.
And I'll tell you this, it's not just the DoorDash. I've seen what's in his refrigerator. He has something called the snack pizza.
Snack pizza?
It's
sounds
an
good.
entire
I forgot that he showed this.
Pizza that's apparently a snack.
That's a snack?
I'm 400 fucking pounds. I don't even call a pizza a fucking snack, for God's sake.
Oh, God, you're right.
It's fucking ridiculous. What are you talking about, man?
I still can't believe he did that.
Right, is about how he has to protect.
Like that fridge thing. I'm pausing so we get a little skip juice here. That fridge thing seemed really like, DSP, how do you not see he's fucking with you? Like, it's obvious he just wants to see the shit in your house.
I have to protect my wife.
He's doing the detractor thing, dude. Come on.
I have to protect my family. I have to protect my family. Ooh, what's going to happen? It's hurting my family. It's hurting their feelings. What does he do today to protect his fat wife from being called fat by a fat man? He decides to reveal her medical info.
Yeah, I was shocked.
Today.
Yeah, I was shocked. Why would you do that?
Is that what's keeping your wife safe? Is that what's keeping your family safe? Or is that what you're doing, using your wife as a human shield?
There you go.
As a sympathy shield.
Yeah.
The truth comes out.
Yes, to get pity donations, to get pity support, to make himself the victim.
Oh no.
Phil has a hard time. His wife is sick. Well, she's 300 goddamn pounds. Of course she's fucking sick.
Christ. Yeah.
You think I'm fucking healthy, for fuck's sake?
I think there's an important piece of context here. This is good. This is an old clip.
As obsessed loser
from like September.
And they can't handle it. They've had this ultimate coping for the last several months that don't worry, the casino guys are going to snake Phil. It's coming. Really? It's coming still? Do you still think it's coming? Do you think the ultimate snaking is still coming? I've got a show with Ashton that's making good money every week. That's successful. I've got other things lined up. My setup is massively improved.
No, Burnell.
No. We
No.
live in the fucking real world and be objective about shit. It's not a healthy or mature or adult lifestyle the way that Phil's living or Kat's living or even I'm living, for God's fucking sakes. And I know that because I fucking live that shit because I'm a big fat fuck. It's not easy being a big fat fuck, but I have a right to call her a big fat fuck because I am one. And I know
it's like the N-word. That's what I thought. It's like the N-word.
That's it.
Like the
Air travel,
N-word.
2 seats, PPP, for fuck's sake.
Shout
2
outs to
seats, Cat
N-word.
also. So to me, it's just a bit fucking rich. And I'll say this. When it came face to face, man to man, this pussy, dickless worm didn't say a motherfucking
Yeah, he didn't
word.
say it to your face. He had a
And
chance
when
last week.
And when it came today,
my God.
I said, come on then, bring me on. He could still bring me on in 48 minutes and
it's
have
too
a
late.
chat about this.
It's too late.
But
Yeah,
he's a
it's not gonna
ballless
happen.
bitch, because he knows he can't stand like a fucking man.
I
You
already
can't
see it
have
now.
a con-
DSP is gonna come so depressed and play the victim and tell you to ignore the drama.
confrontation. He can't have an
Unless it
argument
happens. I don't know.
because
We'll
he
see.
knows he'll get blown out like the worthless bitch pussy that he fucking is. And that's just the bottom line because PPP said so.
Of course he's
To quote
watching.
The Smark Guys. And it's Hollywood PPP now. Look at this show. It's what? 8 times bigger in terms of viewership than Smark Guys was. You know,
Yeah.
donations are
10
flying
times.
in.
Yeah.
You guys are being incredibly generous. Steve doesn't have to get on his knees. Please, guys. I'm gonna
Yeah,
have
I
to
need
eat lunch-
grocery
I'm gonna
money.
have to
Yeah.
eat lunch meat sandwiches like a peasant.
Oh boy, this bridge
I'm
seems
I'm
burnt
eating
to
Girl
me.
Scout cookies for free. It's not a goal. I'm just eating them. Yeah.
$1,500 to eat fucking Girl Scout cookies?
I'm eating them for free. Yeah.
How about Phil do a reward people would be interested in? And this is part of the problem with Phil, is he's just a boring fucking bum. He's not willing to ever give
Oh,
back to
no.
the audience. He takes and takes and takes and takes and takes. It's not just the audience. It's his family. It's his parents that he takes and takes and takes.
You know, money from them, and he promised to get a job.
Wife that he takes and takes and takes.
I wonder if
He treats her like a
DSP.
maid.
I wonder if DSP would have spoke to him on the level 1 stream earlier. If this would have even happened.
He doesn't treat her
Probably
like a
not.
wife. He treats her like a live-in maid.
He's just a
The
trophy
soul
to
maid.
show off his mature adult lifestyle.
Yo,
which
Pete,
is
you're not married, but like, listen, I'm married. If I ever went on stream and complained about a meal my wife made, she would murder me. But that's, you know, like, he complained that she made meals that were inedible, so he had to order food or
Just
something.
lie. He's
just
so
eat it.
comfortable.
Yeah.
He's comfortable
Yeah.
lying
Jesus
about everything
Christ.
else. He's comfortable about lying about WWE champions and spending tens of thousands of dollars a month while his wife goes without a fucking honeymoon, while his wife goes without a fucking day of vacation, while his wife works part-time at fucking Best Buy, but he talks about how he loves his fucking wife. Give me a
Yeah,
fucking break.
you're right.
And you know what? I care more about Phil's life than he fucking does.
You're
And
trying
that
to help
shit
him, yeah.
hates. He doesn't have any passion. He doesn't have any soul in his fucking body. He's a hollowed out husk of a fucking man.
Oh
that
my
walked all
lord.
Over him. A 400-pound lesbian fucking tranny looking bum walked all over internet legend Darkside Phil, pissed in his mouth. He swallowed and said, "Thank you, sir. May I have a
Another.
May
Yeah.
I have another?"
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
It's
this
a
audio's
disgrace.
out of control.
He's a fucking joke. Unbelievable.
It is. It's let me ask you too. Like,
Jesus.
it like?
I don't, guys. I don't think this is fake anymore. I don't know about you.
to work with him, because I know I heard some stuff. Like, for those unaware, like, everything was a negotiation and an endless, like, you know, if it was me, P, and you said, let's try this on the show, and you were doing a show, I'd say sure, because what you're doing works. Why would you say no to a guy who's successful at content creation and not agree to do things? You're trying to get him to do better. You're trying to help him.
Well, this is the thing. I'm just trying to make a show.
Hey, look,
that's not
it's the
fucking
thing that
boring.
everyone
That's
predicted.
not fucking garbage.
6 months ago.
Like every fucking show this guy's done. or
I don't even
ever
have
has
anything to
done
say.
Throughout his entire fucking career, it's been nothing but the lowest effort
Low
slog.
effort.
I
Yeah.
used to think, Oh, there must have been a golden age of Phil.
No, go back. They were all shitty. They were all
Jesus
shitty.
Christ.
There must have been a time where he really did try and he had passion and he was grateful for his support and he didn't take it for granted.
No, he always sucked. He sucked from the first show. Yeah.
Not from the very first show that he did.
Just lucky to be early. He wasn't good. He was early.
That's it. He was early and he gained a big
Oh
advantage.
boy, this is great. Rebsy, you're going to have a fucking field day with this shit.
And this man has made...
Go back to all the times DSP was like loving this dude and Warski and how close of friends they were and how awesome everything was.
Of dollars.
Holy shit, dude.
Where does it all go if he's made millions?
Well, we know where it went. It goes to Jin, it goes to DoorDash, goes to WWE Champions, and it goes to shitty red, green, and blue lights in the background. And this is where it's just really pathetic. Is what
you know what would be crazy? Dude, you know what would be insane? If DSP changes his background because of this.
Year of the Snake.
Year of the Snake indeed. Snake emoji indeed, VLX. Thank you for the 2. Could you imagine if DSP gets rid of his little LCD screen? And the RGBs?
Green and blue lights.
Because he only fucking got those because of the Kino Casino. He shows up with everything gone.
Him an audience of thousands.
A huge opportunity.
Thousands of live viewers and tens of thousands of replay viewers. Massive, massive promotional push behind him. I got him an interview with Josh Moon. We did the Review Tech USA stuff. This guy had tens of thousands of dollars flooding in when he was at his lowest financial.
You helped him when he was ready to fucking die.
Estimates are about $40,000 to $50,000.
That's what he made from your relationship. Wow. Yeah, and I was telling my audience, like, I appreciate so much what you and Andy did for me. Like, it's life changing when a big show like these guys comes and says, "We're going to put you in front of our audience. Bring us good stuff. Bring us good content." It was life-changing for me. Completely life-changing. He didn't appreciate it. I was getting pissed.
But here's what I want to say. The guy could have got a dishwasher for his wife.
Yeah.
The guy could have fixed his toilet, which doesn't work. The guy could have fixed his shower.
Could have went to the zoo.
Bucket or something?
Molded and fucking filthy. Well,
Could have went on a honeymoon.
But instead,
he loves his wife.
Renovating his home,
his soulmate,
his largest asset, where he lives, where he sleeps, where he eats, where he shits, where he showers, and where he shaves. This fucking idiot threw all of the money on upgrades to a setup that were completely unnecessary. Flashy gimmicks that he didn't fucking need, that didn't lead to any more viewership.
I don't even think he spent that much money. Those lights aren't that expensive, and neither are the cameras he bought or anything that he bought.
We know it all went to Hogan pulls on WWE Champions.
He wasted it. He wasted the money.
Went to Amazon.
2 PCs,
and
PS5 Pro.
Instead of going to things that actually could have tangibly improved his life or
and
his wife's life.
Yeah.
Which is apparently what this is all about. But we know that it's not actually about that. We know what it's really about, which is that last week on Smark Guys.
That was the trigger.
I dared to actually be his friend.
That's what I said. Yeah.
I dared to speak out and actually tell him hard truths that he needed to hear about how he's streaming, how his life is, how it's unsustainable, how he needs to make changes. He needs to do something else. Because what he's doing is not working. He is living at the mercy of 2 or 3 mental ill, weirdo fucking whales that float his boat, that force him to bend the knee and submit to them. They tell him what to do. He's not the captain of his own fate. He's not the master of his soul.
He acts like he is. Yeah.
He claims that on level 1, he's his own boss and he runs the show, and it's not Keemstar telling him what to do, or it's not PPP telling him what to do, but it's worse. It's worse. It's these weird, nameless fucking psychopaths that dangle his ability to live above his head and force him to beg on his hands and knees like a fucking animal. And he's so fucking run down and ragged and pathetic that he doesn't even realize that the first principle of this stuff is to entertain.
The one thing I would say to all that is, how did you not see that coming? It's DSP. Like, dude, that's what he is. That's the guy. He's the guy. That was your first mistake, like Lackey Bracky said, thinking that you could improve him or speak real truths to him, because he's never wrong. Only he knows the truth. Obviously.
He just thinks,
I guess you tried.
I'm going to show up with my fucking tin cup.
That must have been the worst fucking experience ever.
And the show is going to be a fucking business meeting.
Thank you, Greedo the Green.
Fucking show. Every fucking show, it's a business meeting. Guys, I didn't get enough support. We got to hit the targets. The guy sounds like a retail middle manager. He sounds like
a telemarketer or like an infomercial guy. Yeah.
assistant manager.
Pick up the phone right now. Operators are standing by.
It's like his
3
intern
more
job.
revenue
Yeah.
generating units this week so that we can hit the goal towards Q2. It's like
It's
this
very
is-
off-putting
well,
what he
it's
does.
not
Yeah.
like how any other live stream operates on the face of the fucking earth. Normally,
He asked for support once or twice. Yeah.
That's not even
4 or
about
5 times.
like support. It's just pathetic because the entire show revolves around the support. There's nothing else going on other than enriching him with money. There is no content.
You're
the
right.
fact-
He has
The
nothing.
thing is, this is a guy who
The
talks and he has
non-tent.
nothing to say. Nothing to say. There's no points that he ever makes where you go, oh, that was a good take. Oh, didn't hear that one before.
Yeah, I never told you.
Alien,
I never
that's
told you.
informational.
I never told you, but remember, I came on Kino and I didn't know that you had started a show with him, and then so I started shitting on him, and you guys did too. But I never told you. But like when I found out that you started a show with him, I was like, God damn! I was like a month late. Like I could have got that opportunity instead of this loser, and I was honestly jealous. I was like, this prick is talentless. Like he doesn't deserve the opportunities that you gave him, and then he squandered all that promotion, tens of thousands of viewers on him. He could have done something great. He wasn't ready to be great. He never will be.
Let me tell you the worst part about working with Phil.
Yeah.
And it's not that he's
kinda
like
cathartic, I guess.
charisma vacuum, boring, terrible on-air personality. Because I could carry that bitch. You know,
Yeah.
when we did Smark Guys, they looked it up. The stats, I would talk 75% of the show.
Yeah.
He would talk 25% of the show or less.
He was a bad Ed McMahon.
Let me sit here and nod along.
Yeah, the
and nod
nodding.
along.
Oh,
And
boy.
then he would just repeat.
I'm
the
just gonna let him
exact
cook,
same
I guess.
takes that I would say.
This is shit we've
or
been
slightly
saying for
rephrased
months,
what
dude.
I would say 'cause
This is
he
insane.
sucks and he's talentless. He has no creativity. He has no original opinions of his own. That's bad.
Gotta pause for the
enough.
dono though.
This insane dude. Absolute destruction.
Yeah, Durant, I was saying, I don't think this is fake anymore.
But the real problem with Phil.
What's the real
is
problem,
behind
sir?
The scenes.
Oh
It's
shit,
on
here we
his
go.
Adherence to the schedule, the most sacred schedule, having to negotiate every single appearance, every single thing, running everything by him. Normally with a streamer like today, you DM me, hey, can you come on? Absolutely.
Yeah,
be
we
there.
didn't game plan or
It-
like plan anything. We don't need to.
3 or 4 days of schmoozing back and forth in DMs. You know, oh, how is this going to work out? Talking about every single aspect
Oh,
of the live
boy.
stream. How's it going to play out? But it's beyond.
It's like
even
planning a
that.
school
that's
project with the
draining,
lazy
that's
kid.
Exhausting. You have to treat him like a king.
He's
like
very needy. Yeah.
Prince of Siam. It's
Super
the-
needy.
It's every day at 4 a.m. This guy gets drunk as fuck on gin.
Ooh, wow, really?
I don't know if he's next to his wife in bed while
Show
she's
the DMs.
sleeping after her hard day of working fucking retail and then cooking for him and cleaning for him and picking up after him. I don't know if he's in bed next to her or where he is, but he's drunk as a fucking skunk off gin, doing WWE champions polls, messaging me all sorts of sad shit about about his life.
Wait, what?
How this isn't going right. That's not
No
going
way.
right.
Show it.
Feel bad for me.
Show
You
it.
do for
You
me,
bitch.
Me.
He's a
me,
taker.
me.
He's a
What?
taker.
He's a
Yeah.
taker.
He doesn't
Well,
reciprocate.
Can you book these guests for me? Can you do this for me? Can you do that for me? And then when it comes time for him to do his part, when it comes time for me to go, hey, man, this is a huge opportunity. How about you do this lie detector test with Steve? It's
Yeah,
gonna
I would have done it.
massive amounts of
We would have
money.
broken the internet with
Yes,
that.
well, it's a huge spectacle. It's
Yeah.
viral. People wanted to see that. Not everybody wanted to see it, but enough people wanted to see it where it would be compelling and captivating to see. Would Phil pass the lie detector test?
Yeah, and by the way, Pete, let me just interrupt you. Pete, when he found out that I had a polygraph, he said, let me arrange this. And P was going to pay for the plane tickets, the hotel, everything.
All
And I
inclusive.
agreed. Like I said,
Dude,
"Oh,
that's
damn,
insane.
I'll get there.
All he
I
had
don't
to do
wanna
was
take
show
an
up.
8-hour flight to
All he had to do was
Washington
show
State, but
up.
I'll do it because
Holy
P asked
fuck,
me to.
dude.
I said, absolutely. Me and P were completely down with the plan. We were ready to do it. Phil fucked the pooch. He fucked the whole thing up. He fucked the whole thing up. We could have all made some money. It would have been great.
It would have been huge
Oh, boy.
content. And there
He's
were
so
a bunch
loud.
of things that we could have done with Phil versus Steve, crossovers, collaborations. I talked about potentially doing paranormal investigations with him, UFO type.
He would have to go
shows,
outside.
all sorts of things.
Yeah, that was your mistake.
Guy. I've pitched him debate shows.
He said no to everything, didn't he?
I've everything.
What exhausting dealing with this guy.
And it's like, okay, come up with a new idea.
Yeah, you should have known.
New idea. I pitch it to him. He has objection.
You can't actually help this dude.
It's always for him a reason to say no. But you know what? I come from sales and I'm persistent as fuck. And most people would give up. And everybody else has given up on Phil and working with Phil. But I'm like, fuck it. I'm soldiering on no matter how
I guess it's over now, isn't it?
No matter how exhausting this is. I'm like, you know what? There's something here. And by the way, a lot of it is sunk cost fallacy because I went through a lot of shit with the detractors.
Isn't that fucking awesome?
Perhaps rightfully so because propping up this fucking pig was a total
That's insane, dude. People were calling this months ago. There was quotes of them saying, yeah, dude, I really want to talk to Dark Side Phil because wouldn't it be funny if we just like hyped him up and made him seem cool? DSP fucking fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker. Of course he did. Now look at what happened. Oh my lord. I don't have much to add, man. I should just let him cook.
Well, the detractors were right about it then.
But
yeah.
I had my
Holy
donators doxxed. I had like my editor, like his kids were threatened in DMs.
Jesus Christ.
Like all sorts of crazy shit that I went through just to have this relationship with Phil. And I just kept giving and giving and giving.
Oh man, the pre-stream is going to be nuts, dude.
It was my time, my creativity, my effort.
I feel like he's just going to ignore it though.
My show ideas, and he just take, and he just take, and he just take. Then when we bring him on my show, he's low energy. He seems like he might be drunk or strung out. He never has anything to say.
Well, remember, he's a former alcoholic. Like
a former alcoholic that's taking shot after shot after shot after shot after shot.
I'm going to try to control his audio.
On stream. Yeah. I saw some of those clips.
It's some nasty fucking
shit. Yeah. And he was just, yeah. And listen, I have my own struggles with alcohol, and I can tell you, having observed him, I think that he did several of those Smark shows very hungover because he's super low energy. Like he's got a headache and beat up looking. Like for all you know, he was drinking until 8 o'clock in the morning, and then he gets up to do the show with you, and you have to carry him. That's not fair. He talked 10% of the time, 20% of the time. You carried the whole show, and then he cut you out like a snake. He thinks he's going to do fine and keep the money. Keep all the money now.
Listen, this is where I'm at with it. I just want to
DSP is the snake.
I didn't come to Phil and ask him to do content.
This is a great point, by the way.
Phil came to me.
Phil approached the drama
content with him, and Phil asked me to do drama content with him about Review Tech USA. And Phil will tell you, I'm not about drama. I'm not about stuff.
Those are his highest viewed streams.
Show the DMs.
I'm not about feuding with people.
Show the DMs.
Let me tell you something. When Phil got the casino bump and the casino boost, Dark Side Phil tried desperately to do drama. He tried to do.
It sucks. He can't do it. He can't do it because he sucks.
With Cog, with Ethan Ralph, with like the whole Rogues Gallery he tried to battle with, did DSP. And he sucked, and he struck out every fucking time. It gained no traction.
He squandered the opportunity you gave him.
Holy fuck, so they had to sit there and just nod when DSP was doing his whole fucking final chip felting of Rich of Review Tech USA. God, that's so good. You gotta go back and watch that.
Total fucking choke artist. He talks about, I would never.
He really thought he was cooking.
I'm a good and moral person.
DSP thought he was hot shit,
and
man.
You know what, P? I kind of thought like, and I'll tell you this honestly, when you gave me the opportunity, I had been grinding like in the shadows for 3 or 4 years, and I developed pretty good, persona to do shows. Like I was ready for the opportunity you gave me, but I still worried.
Good audio.
Like, holy shit. This is such a huge opportunity. I can't fuck this up. And so I put my foot on the gas as soon as you gave me that opportunity. And you'll notice, like, I improved my show, my graphics, the music. Like, I leveled up everything because you gave me that opportunity, and I didn't want to waste it or squander it. He squandered it. He fucked the pooch on the whole thing.
Well, so here's where I'm going with this. Now, again, people are saying that your audio's too high, my audio's too low.
Let me see to adjust it.
Let's try and fix this before I continue on with this train of thought.
I got you cranked as high as I can get you. You might have to, can you raise your level on your computer? Like go to sound settings and raise it, and I'll lower mine. I'll lower my mic.
Is that any better? Test,
Yeah.
test,
Oh, that's
test.
way
1,
better.
2, 3, 1, 2,
That's much
3.
louder.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, that's
Skip
better.
juice.
Okay.
Let's get
So
leak the
this-
DMs, dude.
this
Leak the
is the point
DMs. That's
wanna
all I
make
care
to
about.
people.
Come on.
Every single thing that Darkside Phil for years that he had been telling his audience
Stop
that
swaying.
he wasn't about. He wasn't about drama anymore. He wasn't about begging anymore. He was a family man. He wasn't
Yeah, he's got a
about
cat.
doing clout. He didn't do politics or any sort of political grift. Every single thing that Phil sold himself on during the course of the Kino Casino arc, he sold his soul to me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is
sold
shit
out
that I've been
every
saying
single
for
principle
months.
that he ever claimed
It's
to
almost
stand
like it
for,
was intentional.
starting with drama and then moving.
It was
into
the long
politics,
con,
political grip,
like I
trying to
said,
chase my audience
at the
and chase
time.
my donors, and he fucking failed. And bit by bit by bit, we took Darkside Phil's
I
soul
feel
away to
vindicated.
the point where even his
got shit on for
precious
this take.
family, even his wife, cat, even his parents, even his cat weren't off limits for me. I could say whatever the fuck I wanted, and Phil would lay down like a pig in the fucking mud.
Yeah,
and
because he was
take
making
it
money
like a
from you.
little fucking
As long as he
bitch.
was making money, he was okay
That's
with
the
anything you said. Yeah.
only thing he cares about is money. And he gave it all up. And he doesn't have a fucking leg to stand on. Much like how the final boss, The Rock, took John Cena's soul last week, I took Phil's soul throughout this entire arc. And he's left with nothing. He associated with racism. He shilled for Donald Trump. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He
yeah.
said deplorable, toxic thing about women, calling Lex a
Slut and an
doing
ethos.
bi
Yeah.
erasure, and he was jealous and bitter of losing his money to her. All of the things he talks about, how he's not toxic. He is 100%
Yeah.
toxic.
Only positive content,
The
P.
thing is, this guy wants.
Worst one is probably
to be
showing
a
his
bully.
underwear.
This guy wants to be a drama streamer. He wants to be able to deliver the promo like I do. That's why he looks up to me as a father figure. That's why he looks
Oh my
up to
God.
me as an idol.
Well, yeah,
Because
you're very talented. You have
because
all the
I'm-
talent he wishes he had.
I'm capable of doing the things that Phil wishes he could do. He
Exactly.
looks at me and he goes, "Oh, there's a guy who can fight my battles for me, and I can hide behind his
Holy
skirt,
fuck, dude.
and I can do drama with the safety net, and there'll be no consequences." Well, Phil, the consequences are coming now, Phil. The
Oh, shit.
consequences are on their way, Phil.
Leak the DMs.
Everything that you've sowed for the last 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, however long it's been of the casino arc, you are now going to sow. All of the old viewers that you alienated by trying to pander to my audience, which you could never have because you're not talented enough, intelligent enough, charismatic enough to entertain an audience as intelligent.
Dude, he's crying
as the one
downstairs.
that I have and Steve has. Phil, our audience is going to leave.
They're all
Most
going to
of
leave
them
him.
have already left.
Banish him, P. Banish him from the Kinoverse. Banish him from the Kinoverse.
Already banished. He banished himself by being a fucking bitch. He banished himself by being unable to play with the big boys. He couldn't play a big boy game. It hurt his fucking feelings to do the things that were necessary to attract attention and entertain people in this sphere. The thing is, Phil takes this stuff way too seriously. Way too seriously.
The ego.
Himself way too fucking seriously. He has the thinnest skin of anybody I've ever worked with. He's a total fucking diva. He can't handle being the nail. He wants to be the hammer, but he doesn't have the fucking balls to be either the hammer or the nail.
Or the talent. Yeah, he just doesn't have it.
What's fucked up about Phil is he's just a castrated bitch. Phil is so afraid of being critiqued, of being controversial, of drawing negative attention,
Yeah, where's the
that
lie?
he makes himself a completely neutered, milquetoast, boring, horrible presenter. At least when he was the king of hate and he was saying crass and crude and villainous heel things, at least there was something interesting to that. And I pleaded with him to go to the sort of character that's like that doesn't give a fuck what they have to say, doesn't care what people think of them. Because I said to
Yeah,
Phil,
you try to help them.
Phil, everybody hates you anyway. Nobody likes you. There's a handful of special needs people. A lot
Morons.
Of them,
yeah, he's got a few morons that like him.
A lot of them are
yeah.
legitimately on like disability. A lot of them are legitimately in wheelchairs. People who would be entertained by Blue's Clues or fucking Dora the Explorer. It's the same sort of bland, milquetoast, no edges, sanitized garbage that Phil peddles. It's just full on slop. And it's slop that he delivers every single day. There's no effort
it's
that
slop.
goes into
It's I could say it. I'm a content creator. He makes slop. His stuff is so. It's just you use the term like low energy, low effort. That's what I get when I look at Phil's content. I go like he's not even trying to make something good.
DSP is currently in his kick
just
chat.
Just so you're aware, I sent him an invitation to this show. And then I said, or invite us on Smark Guys or at least PPP. So, he's gonna be a big man and like talk shit, but he doesn't want to confront you to your face like a man. So I'm giving him an opportunity to come right here and
DSP hiding in his kick chat right now.
Or he can bring you to the Smart Guys and say this shit to your face.
We know right well he never will because he's a pussy. He doesn't want confrontation. And this is, so we go back to the interview that you were supposed to do with Phil. If we told Phil that in any way this interview would be hostile or confrontational or aggressive, he would have never agreed to do it. Because he's a pussy.
And keep an eye on his kick chat.
And he runs from confrontation. He runs from criticism because the lies that he tells are like the lies of a child. Any adult that's worth their salt,
see right through it.
that has any sort of critical thinking skills, knows that he's lying and can effortlessly dismantle his lies in real time. And unless he's just talking to himself, it becomes readily apparent that he's just a fucking clown. That he's just a fucking joke, that the emperor has no fucking clothes. Every single time he exits that hug box that he lives in 24/7, 365, it's the hug box. It's a fantasy land where it's basically like North Korea, where any sort of dissent is banned. And Phil cries about Raw Phil. He cries about the restreamers. He cries and he cries about the stream snipers. But Phil, had you not turned your own chat into a North Korea hug box, there would still be 1,000 people there today watching. If you had allowed them to make fun of you in chat, to send in troll super chats that you reacted to, that were milked for reactions instead of shutting everything down like a big little bitch, you would be doing far better today. Phil wants to make himself out to be the victim. Over and over and over again, he cries and he cries. The detractors did this to me. Tevin did this to me. Duty did this to me. Steve did this to me. But guess what, Phil? Every single thing that you have done that has happened to you has been the consequence of your own actions.
Hey, that's what he tried to tell him last week.
Where you are at now is a direct result of what you have done in the past, what you are currently doing, and what you are going to do in the future. You have control over your own behavior, Phil, and you have to accept responsibility and accountability.
Are we still trying to help him?
Consequences. But what the detractors and what me
he already's not listening,
and anybody who's critical of him allow him to do is scapegoat everything to a boogeyman. It's never his fault. It's always somebody else's fault. If it wasn't for the dastardly, dirty trolls, he would be a millionaire.
Hey,
he would be so successful.
Absolutely.
He made millions. He squandered it living a millionaire's lifestyle, on other people's money. That's the big
The
issue.
thing is, Phil needs people like me.
Where's his chat post?
You
Oh,
know,
here it is.
he needs people
He
like
can't
me
survive. Yeah,
that
he
he
can't
can
survive
point
himself.
the finger to, and he can say, that's the bad guy. He can point at Duty. He can point at Tevin and say, that's the bad guy. That's the one responsible for all my problems. But Phil, does that make you good? No, Phil. You're just weak.
Yeah,
You're a
he's too
fucking
weak to rise
cockroach.
above. He's
You're
too
a
weak to rise above
cockroach that
the
makes
criticism.
yourself into a fucking victim. Instead of being a man and rising up and actually victimizing and winning and bending reality to your will, you choose to lay down in the fetal position and die on an island alone like a little bitch, crying about all of your fucking problems. Well, nobody gives a fuck about your problems. Do you know what a baby does? It fucking cries because it has no other recourse, Phil.
Holy
it needs somebody
fuck,
to
dude.
change its diaper for it. But you're a 42-year-old man, and you should have developed better
Acts like a
coping
child, yeah.
skills than fucking crying. But this is a guy who honestly is mentally not well. He is arrested development.
no.
I'm not sure he ever advanced past juvenile mindset of like 14, 15 years old.
I was going to say 12.
You know what I mean? Like he
Yeah.
thinks that women's
It's like a
periods are
detractor
icky.
stream from
This is
7 months
supposedly
ago.
a mature married man that when he sees a tampon ad, he's like, "Ooh, gross." Strange stuff. Strange stuff from a
Yeah.
supposed mature
Married man, yeah.
adult man there. I mean, it's just the reality. This is a guy who cries in his mid-30s or late 30s about how his parents didn't buy him a Wolverine toy
I know.
when
yeah.
he was a boy.
It's tragic. It's tragic.
Tragedy. I didn't get the
I didn't get the
Wolverine
toy.
No,
toy.
you see, you buffoon.
Parents should have bought
It was a lesson for the parents who were watching his content, dude.
He's so entitled.
You're wrong.
He thinks that the whole world owes him a living. And what's crazy is it's the weird Skinner box that he's plugged himself into has validated that worldview.
Dude, he must be crying.
That worldview has never been challenged because people literally do hand him a living on a silver platter.
You're right, but I think that's going to change now. Don't you think that his income is going to take a huge hit from doing this? Because the Kino people are never going to donate to him again.
It is a slow, ever sinking ship.
Death by 1,000 cuts.
There always seems to come another whale.
Dude, what if this like pushes him over the edge?
Another whale to save Phil.
You better start crying tonight.
He seems to get bailed out.
I've always secretly wondered that.
One day,
like, how is he not by now?
It might be soon. It might be a long ways away.
In Minecraft.
But one day there won't be any more whales because your show will be so boring, so toxic, so lame, hosted by a 56-year-old
Catherine's getting
man
beat tonight.
pretending to be a pro gamer. That no one
Hey,
will care.
he got-
and the thing
He
that's
got fourth place or something once.
oh my god, the God's honest truth is that Phil needs the detractors. He needs the detractors to stay relevant. He needs the detractors because he needs someone to blame so that he can be the victim, so that he can escape accountability for his own actions. And what we saw today was the same thing. Oh, PPP victimized me. PPP did me wrong.
He started streaming.
And it's just fucking sad.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Phil is a liar. He lies all the time. All the time. And the lies never, ever, ever, ever end. And it just starts to get exhausting. It just starts to get exhausting.
Yeah, we talked. He's very needy. He's just so needy. You got to hold him by his hand and do everything for him. And like, you know, like if you had come to me with an idea for a show, given your success with everything else you've done, I would have just said, yeah, like, let's try it. Let's do it. Like the fact that you have to twist his arm to get him to do anything. And then he said no to every idea or concept that you brought to him. He said no to the lie detector thing. That would have been huge. You know,
and the thing is, the guy doesn't stick to anything. He has no perseverance. He expects immediate, instant gratification
and money.
And money.
Dude, what is the fallout going to be from this?
Be a massive financial success.
We're going to have like 70 new banned words.
But that's not how
2,000 more banned accounts on Kick. Will he even stream on Kick after this? Will he move back to Twitch? Holy fuck.
You can't just rely on
Is he going to run to Twitch instead of Kick?
Forever But
No, we got to get off the
because he
website.
feels like he has to pander and bow down to those 2 or 3 people, and he can never experiment. He can never do anything new, and he's scared, and he's neurotic, and he's autistic. He's stuck in his schedule. He's stuck in his ways, and there's just no way to free him from it. He's a hermit who lives in his house 24/7, 365.
Yeah, he goes out once a week.
He goes out once a week, and it takes him 4 hours to do the groceries, but he's a totally functional, normal human being. Right.
Yeah, I don't understand how it takes 4 hours. I shop like a man.
It takes him an hour to do.
I run through that place like a maniac.
I never fucking wrote down a list in life. I don't know. He has to chop the vegetables when he gets home and this and that. But he's a sad hermit because he's scared of confrontation. He would never, ever stand up for his wife in public. If somebody slapped his wife's ass at the bar, he would do fucking nothing. He would probably watch as his wife gets fucked in the alleyway by a black bull.
Oh,
that's why he doesn't go outside.
He's afraid his wife's going to get banged by a black dude? What?
He got down on his fucking knees at the Street Fighter tournament and begged this guy not to whoop his fucking ass, and tears came from his eyes, and he said he was a fucking alcoholic. And then we wonder why he won't bring me on to confront him tonight. It's because he's scared. It's because he's spineless. It's because he's a cockroach. He's a fucking worm. And he's afraid of anybody that is any sort of a man, that has any sort of a masculine presence. He doesn't know how to behave in a friend group or a setting because this guy has never had any friends. Let's be real. It was always super awkward when we brought him on with me and Andy because he's never been a part of a male friend group, and he views anybody who is his friend as a means to an end. It's not somebody that he genuinely cares about. To him, people are tools. John Rambo was
his wife is a beard.
Howard was a tool to him.
You use everybody, yeah.
I was a tool to him as well. He didn't genuinely care about me or anything. By the way, this guy, I was so desperate to get him out.
Missed everything,
you know. And I'll just be open and honest about this. And a lot of people will judge me for what I'm about to say. But I offered to pay this guy's flight and his wife's flight to Florida for the Super Bowl so that we could hang out in Florida. We were all going to fly down.
He said no to that?
Pay for the pets.
Oh my God.
Offered to pay for his wife's
He said no to a free honeymoon?
So they could have the honeymoon they
Oh my God.
See, that's
he turned it down because he had to take care of his cat.
He couldn't leave the cat with a stranger.
Oh my Lord.
Experience for him. And
I'm just putting this out there, just letting you know, my kids really want to go to Disneyland, you know. I'm just saying.
and if we went into the DMs, I have receipts of all of that. I pleaded with him. Every excuse that he ever made, every objection.
Yeah, and you just wanted to get him out of the house and do something nice for him as a friend. Like, here, I'll pay for your honeymoon that you never gave your wife.
Because
you're a good guy, Pete.
I want him to get out of the
Holy
house.
fuck, man.
Get out of that house. And it's not like I'm a guy who
he loves his wife. Soulmate.
And I'm, like I'm a pale, fat.
Turn down a free fucking Super Bowl honeymoon.
More than he does.
That's pretty sad.
And I have friends, I have family that I'm around, that I interact with.
Yeah, you got to socialize as a human.
He has no family out there. He's stranded on the West Coast. He's told me he has no friends. He's been out there for almost a decade.
Well, no wonder he has no friends. Look what you tried to be a friend to him, and look what he did. Look what he did. He took and took and took. And I get the impression that he was feeling like he didn't want to do another one of those Grill Phil segments like you gave him last week. But that was for those that don't know too. Like,
oh great,
that was not P being like nasty. When you
it really wasn't.
A true friend.
I think I went over this.
You don't want to hear. Because you need to hear it. You try to be a true friend to him and help him and say the things that a real friend would say. A real friend will check you when you need to be checked.
This is what it comes down to for Phil, is that...
Is this live? Yeah, this is live.
I don't think he has received
we
real
are live, dude.
From somebody that he actually can respect and trust. Because he's like, well, these are detractors, these are trolls. How do I know what criticism is real, what I need to actually improve? I understand that. And so I gave him the advice.
Free
that I
Florida
think would
vacation
actually turn his
reel?
life around.
New kick name?
Go out more with his wife. Take more time off from shows. Ultimately, the guy is
I'm
doing,
calling it now. He's
8
gonna leave
hours of
kick. He's
streaming
going to Twitch
6
or something.
days a week. Never goes out with his wife. Never does anything fun. He's a total shut-in, total hermit, no friends, and it's just no way to live. And he lives
Dude,
in
that could be
fear.
like 300
He
new
lives in
subs.
fear of the world. And you know,
he's got all those cameras around his house. That's paranoid, delusional. The police called him a 220. Like he's a mental case.
He's got a run off
he
kick,
is a
dude.
mental case.
Escape this fan
And
base.
now, generally, he's kind of almost a harmless mental case. And this is why it's like I kind of wanted to help the guy, because I feel like generally, he's not the most evil, malignant scumbag on earth, at least at first impression. But
he can come off as a little bit likable.
Well,
And
I
a
don't know.
little
I
bit
don't
don't know
know
about that. I don't
know
think
if
so,
he's
dude.
likable or charismatic. I'm saying he's not like a revenge
Comes
pornographer
across
like
like-
Ralph. He's
oh,
not like
sure.
a wife beater that we know of. He's not like a
X and Hammer.
he's
yeah.
not like a pedophile.
Well-
We know of.
rapist.
Well,
This is a very low bar I'm setting.
I don't know, dude. How old is
I don't
Panda?
understand why everybody hates this guy so much. Yes, he bags. Yes, the bagging is annoying.
Come on,
it's
man.
exhausting. It's
He's
ridiculous.
a piece of shit.
But there's a lot of people with goals nowadays. There's a lot of people e-bagging.
All right.
There's no real way to explain why Phil is such a deplorable and detestable person.
Manipulating
You must
literal
actually
people with
experience it
handicap
firsthand.
fucking
And I
mental problems.
experienced it firsthand.
He's not
When
that
you
bad.
watch his show every day and you keep up with the vortex and the
See you later,
people that are
Derek.
in it and the way that he interacts with it, only truly then can you actually know why he's such a deplorable piece of shit that deserves to die. Only then can you really know. Because why do people want this guy to die? I don't get it. Well, in the last couple weeks, it finally really was driven home to me as to why motherfuckers hate this guy. Because he just never, ever will change his ways. He's ungrateful for everything he gets. He's negative. He's pessimistic. He's draining. He's soulless. He doesn't care. All he cares about is getting a paycheck and protecting his fragile narcissistic ego. And that's it. And he doesn't care about friends. He doesn't care about family. He doesn't care about having ambitions or goals outside of money. And the money that he does have, he doesn't use it to travel the world. He doesn't use it to go to cool things. He doesn't use it to collect cool antiques.
He doesn't even take a free trip.
anything
He
that would
buys
be
wrestling cards and plays a wrestling
not
game.
even, not even real wrestling cards. That's recent. He started buying the real wrestling cards. He buys digital JPEGs of sweaty,
Sweaty men. That's pretty gay. I think that's pretty gay.
That's what Phil does, and that's what gives him joy in life.
You reminded me of this.
Hollow existence.
You
Oh,
reminded
my
me
Lord.
of this.
Oh, we got clips
this
now.
Is how he treats his audience. Sometimes.
This is a Rebsy
And
video?
I didn't want to play this before because of all the f-bombs in it, but we've already gone way past the f-bomb limit on YouTube. So
Fuck, idiot. Dumb fucking me.
Is this
Take
the
your
beer
meme and
cat
show it up
video?
your fucking ass. Factually fucking based. Fucking facts. Daily fucking basis. Shut the fuck up. I'm not taking your shit. Or who the fuck it is. There's people in the chat right now. Oh, he's doing a meme. Oh, this is crazy.
I'm sorry.
Shut the fuck
Oh,
up
that's
and
right.
eat it.
you want me to pause it? Yeah.
Well, I mean, is this not toxicity? Is this?
No, this is positive
he talks about
content.
This
T.
is positive, mature content. Why can't he just be honest? Why can't he just be honest that he's a piece of shit?
Just embrace your shittiness.
That's
Yes.
what I've told him to do. Because
Fucking
obviously
based.
he's never going to become a good person or a positive person or a role model or anybody to admire.
Yeah.
But he could be a really annoying, horrible, awful piece of shit that everybody hates. And then when he gets
be the heel.
comeuppance,
Embrace the
everybody
heel.
celebrates. Well,
Yeah.
he told
Where
me
is
that
he?
can't
He stopped
become a
typing in his
heel
chat.
because of his wife's health issues. And I
What does
pleaded
that
with
have to do with it?
because
Wait, what?
listen,
Hold on. What did he say?
he told me that he can't become a heel because of his wife's health issues.
What?
And I
What does
pleaded
that
with
have to do with it?
because listen, I'm not going to get into everything with Phil. Phil can
He's gonna have a heart
decide how
attack?
far he wants this shit to go. I don't know. Should I just go full bore and just
Yes.
Yeah,
and just
snake.
throw
What are
in
we
all
even
his
holding
wife's
fucking
medical
back for, dude?
conditions?
Fuck him. Fuck him.
It's already over.
Fuck him right back.
He's not going to talk to you anymore. Come on.
You know, he's concerned that his wife is going to die and she's becoming more religious. And so Phil feels like he needs to be more religious and so he can't be a heel. And I just feel like
come on.
I feel like that's fucking nonsense because he actually is just an evil, horrible piece of shit all the time anyway. And he's not religious.
DSP's becoming religious? He found Jesus?
It's a total excuse because he doesn't want to actually have to deal with people dunking on him. And so he hides.
His wife's going to die?
And conflict. And I don't know, man. I just don't have any respect for Phil. I just don't. The only thing that I have any respect for him for is that he does show up 6 days a week, 10 hours a day.
Begging
fucking tin cup. Like that.
Holy fuck.
And I've just been trying to
New lore?
He lays these
The horse is
videos
going to
on
pass
me.
away,
He
and
lays
she
all
found
these
Jesus
secrets
again.
on me, and then it's like, well, how can you fucking, snake this guy? How can you turn
She's
on
praying
this guy
to
who
not
has all
die.
these problems in his life?
He's
So I
probably
realized-
he seems very manipulative. Like
Well,
he's trying to
it's
manipulate you
full
into
on-
not being real with him.
Yeah, it's full on manipulation. It's pignosis to try and stop me from bursting his echo chamber and making him confront
But
like
was
the
he
cognitive
killing his
dissonance
wife?
in his life. And so it's
By
just this
feeding
sad
her?
coping mechanism where he tells me stuff. I don't know if it's true or if it's not because he lies so often.
Oh.
Even when he swears up and down, and I remember him swearing to me up and down that what's his name? The Game Box guy.
TJ Gamebox.
TJ
Yeah.
Gamebox, who does the calculations. No. His calculations are wrong because at my high whale level, they offer me these special deals and these special points. So it's not actually the $1,500 this week he said it was. It was only like $200. And then I go to Gamebox and I say, is this the case? And he explains to me in great detail with receipts, no, he lied. And he swore up and down to me, no, I'm really... I said, really, Phil? You're telling
Even
me
spending
the truth?
$200 a week on a children's wrestling game is ridiculous. $200 a week? And I just want to mention...
kind of made sense. So,
Pete, I want to mention, like, I listened to you about doing the Dark Side Phil interviewing content. We have 2,500 or almost 3,000 live viewers across all the platforms. Almost 3,000 live viewers right now. He's got 114 for his solo Smark Guys. 114 people. So maybe he should have been listening to you, like I listened to you. 3,000 live viewers. He won't listen.
Listen, and I'm not saying I'm some grand guru or some
but you know what you're doing. You know what you're doing.
Guy. Like, I don't know. Like, I just feel like if you put some sort of preparation into the shows that you do, and you do shows when you actually have something to say, when you actually
Dead wife
about
arc
something or real critiques, then that's a show. But Phil believes a show is eating pizza. Like, it's not really
You
a
forgot
show.
getting paid to eat it on top of getting paid to eat it.
Cookies or playing the
Leaving
same
that
Call
part
of
out.
Duty or Street Fighter game poorly over and over and over again with barely any commentary other than crying, And I just don't know if that's really content other than for people who don't like him or people who are genuinely disabled and mentally slow.
Yeah, and he's up to 150 live viewers, but he's playing that. He started at 950 playing the 20 minutes of music or whatever. He still hasn't come on screen, but still.
And this is another thing with him is that he doesn't value the audience's time. Darkside Phil will do his tech support and setting up his stream on stream for hours.
He worked on his camera for a while today because it wasn't working.
He'll
get up and unplug my camera and plug it back in. Wait a minute. Yeah.
It's like you have just no respect for anybody's time. And he has no respect for anybody's boundary. He's constantly snorting.
Dude, I don't even know what to say.
Clearing his throat.
That's why they call him.
I can't get over the fact that DSP told
when
What?
he would come on Kino Casino, he
Oh,
would do
yeah.
that.
that
Yes.
magically.
I'm still shocked he said
Here we go. He started.
DSP thinks his wife is gonna die.
Live, and as you
Oh
can see,
shit, we're doing Streamception?
I seem to have some space to move for once. It's like
He's gonna call him
revelation,
fat.
Like,
All right.
I've been
Oh,
freed, and I
oh,
can actually
he's
like take a
freed.
breath and stretch. It's kind of weird. It's almost like something's
What a
changed around here. I'm not sure exactly what it could be,
Oh,
but
there we go.
Go in,
here
Phil.
we are
Be a
on
man.
the road to WrestleMania
Directly address
tonight
it.
for the
Come
first
on.
time
He's
ever
not gonna address
on this
anything.
show.
He's gonna ignore it.
Oh,
I will be
boy.
covering both Monday Night Raw as usual.
Wolf.
Seems pretty
But
low.
Oh
end.
great, he's doing the
Friday
thing.
Night
did.
SmackDown.
Ignore the drama. By the way, this is in his chat.
He's been broke.
And as you can see,
Enjoy the wrestling show. Try not to mention or discuss the drama going on too much.
just tonight in
For the
format
worst
So we're gonna ignore it.
feature of the
change
show.
ever.
Because, ladies and gentlemen, you may notice that my former co-host ain't here, nor will he be ever again. Because today I took the shovel and I shoveled the shit.
Oh,
Okay?
did you, Phil?
You might say, I wonder what happened.
Oh.
I
All
bet.
right, allow me to explain in a nutshell, because I kind of gave a full explanation on my podcast
I was
this
going to
morning.
retread the
But
same
basically,
shit again. Here
This
we go.
guy
You're
was
talking
backstabbing me
circles.
for a while,
you
Backstabbed him
treating me like
Brr.
dirt,
by
and
telling
then
him
he
the
started
truth that
actually
he
bringing
needed
up
to
my
hear.
family members, i.e. my
Not
wife,
his
and some of the
family.
content.
He brings
I
up
asked him
every
nicely
day,
about to
by
do
the
it.
way,
He
like
said
10
he
or
would.
15
He
times.
apologized for it, and then he continued to do it, and that's the end
Why
of it for
didn't
me.
you say anything
Like,
to me,
if
Phil?
you're going
Why
to,
didn't
like,
you say
you know,
anything to my
talk
face
crap
and stand
about
up for
me
your right?
in content, that's one thing.
You're a pussy.
If you're going to talk crap about my
You won't
family
even
members
confront
that
me
literally have
directly about
nothing
it.
to do with any of the content I'm making on the internet, because you
By the
think
way,
it
these
makes
were
you
like
look
one or
big, or
two
like a risque
asides,
guy,
like-
or you get a
Yeah, one or two times I've heard you,
You know,
do it.
like
yeah.
like asides on my show. It's not like I did what I did at the top of this show and exposed like his dirty kidnapping scheme for what it is, where he like controls her with evil mind control.
Dude, he's
tactics,
killing her.
isolating.
I
her
still
from her
can't get
family
over it.
like he did to Panda.
DSP said his
fattening her
wife's
up
gonna
to lower
die.
her
He
self-esteem.
thinks she's gonna
These are
die.
dirty, evil tactics.
He's
that
gonna
I
have to
never
fucking
said
roll her
anything.
out of there
Fucking
on his
I could've.
own.
Well, you're saying it now.
He'll call his
Somebody
parents
else
to help
has to
her
say.
to help him move
more
her.
power to you. I
Oh
can't
my
stop you,
god.
but I sure as hell don't have to have your ass in my content. And as you can see today, the air
It's going
is
bad.
clear. Ooh, it used to be like this in here. but
I
now
know
it's
there
like
used to be
someone
entertainment.
actually
There
opened the
used
window.
to be turning
And
up
now,
the heat.
tonight, for the first
He has a
time on
whole
the show,
Now it's
185
gonna be
people.
some
We
boring,
can
lame
focus on
shit.
pro wrestling. If you didn't
Yeah,
notice,
like
over
that's
the
what
course of the
people want.
last
What he didn't
2 months
understand,
that I've been doing
and
this,
that's what's crazy is this shit wasn't even snake shit. Because I would directly say on my show, and he must have seen it. People must have clipped it and sent it to him because I know they did. I said, "This is a show that's not about wrestling. It's a show about fucking with Phil.
Yeah,
You know,
what a
We're
moron.
Phil."
What a moron.
Oh, my God.
And again, I hate to keep pushing this point, but we have 3,000 live viewers and he has 185. So who wins here? P, you won. Like, nobody cares what he has to say. Right?
Yeah,
I mean, like,
there's
This
nobody
is
that
now a
actually
Truth
does
Seekers
care about Phil's
restream.
opinions
This
on
is
wrestling.
raw
As
Truth
As
Seekers.
we'll see here, he probably doesn't have very many.
Raw
He doesn't really
Steve.
have opinions about anything. He doesn't. This is the thing that drives me
yeah, he
crazy
would just
about
let him
mirror
cook.
yours when I heard him.
Here's
Yeah.
why I chose to do the wrestling show with Phil. Aside from that, it was a Trojan horse to fuck with him and humiliate him and shit like that.
Oh, no.
I chose it because it was something that I thought he would actually be passionate about. Because it seems to me he's not actually passionate about anything. The only time I've ever seen him be passionate is when he's playing WWE Champions on live stream. Then he knew everything about the game. He was excited to play. He was smiling. He was happy. He was in his element. And so he was a lifelong fan of wrestling. I figure, okay, this is something
this is something that he really likes. He'll be excited.
to
Yeah.
talk about, and it could be a good show. But he never really got that excited about it. He never really grew into his own. He did a little bit better after the first couple weeks, but he was still shit. And so it's like, you're not passionate about
I am
anything.
Chitko.
And I don't know how somebody like sleepwalks like a zombie through life like this, where they have no real passions, they have no real interests. Every minute, every hour of his day is accounted for and can be tracked on a spreadsheet. And he tells us everything that he does within a week. And it's very pathetic, and it's a very sad existence that he has. And he's
absolutely.
miserable, and he's depressed. And it's why he's an alcoholic, and he's neurotic, and he's crazy like he is because of the lifestyle that he leads.
Yeah. Do you want to hear some more of this, or?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, well, I'll hear some more.
Smark Guys, and revived this series, which originally was my pro wrestling commentary.
He's gonna have
series
to
over a
watch
decade
Cat,
ago.
dude. What if someone sends
This
this to
show
Cat?
has constant.
Yeah,
Someone will find her
PSN
PSN.
towards the side of drama.
Someone will find her PSN and
PPP
send her the
wanted
link to
turn
this.
Not only into a wrestling show, but also
Into something
high-end
entertaining.
Yeah, God forbid.
Something
I don't
high
know.
end.
Money-making
shit,
show?
dude.
Money
So
making
half
shit.
the show.
What?
was-
He doesn't
What
want to
is
make
he
money.
like, he doesn't want to have a money-making show. But he's gonna cry about how poor he is. God, heaven forbid PPP wanted to create a successful business venture that people might want to donate
Want
to.
to donate
watch,
to? Yeah.
instead of some boring fucking show talking about John Cena's jockstrap for 3 hours and fucking how women's wrestling sucks, you know, that only appeals to a slight niche of people. I might have wanted to expand it a little bit broader and reach out to the largest demographic of people that watch Phil, the detractors, and see if there might be interest and buzz around Phil, which might cause a new whale to come in. And I explained this business model to Phil of how this makes more sense because there's more buzz, there's more excitement, there's more interest around the people who are already invested in you. And so therefore other people might be attracted by that, and you might have some success. Like, this isn't crazy rocket science.
Oh, we'll see what else he says.
Let's get his kick chat up.
3 paths. Let's talk about the 3 paths. Did you see this shit?
Yeah, he's got
This is DSP's kick
two
chat.
would be successful, and one is stay on your current failure course. Which one do you think he chooses?
Here's what I was gonna I was genuinely going to apologize to him and not say anything bad about his wife until I heard him talk about these 3 paths. And they're just nonsense.
Hey, we heard this before.
The first path is to become a shill and accept all of these sponsorships.
The 3-pronged plan. We're back in 2015.
You couldn't get a fucking sponsorship if your life depended on it. He tries to pretend it's because he's this moral person, this upstanding little guy that would never take a corporate sponsorship because he doesn't.
Yeah, it's better to just beg every 2 minutes,
it's better to
right?
beg your audience on your fucking hands and knees constantly than do that. So it's just delusional that he could even go that path because of the detractors and the toxicity and all the shit that he created for himself. Phil, there is a reason why things are the way they are, bud. Some of it's unfair, but a lot of it is warranted. Then it's like, okay, the second path would be to become the king of hate again. And I'm going to leave bodies in my path and people broken and show I'm the big dog on the yard. And it's like, Phil, these are delusions of grandeur. This is narcissism. This is you.
Yeah.
Listen, I could have been successful if I wanted to, but I choose not to be. Phil, you couldn't do drama like that ever.
He doesn't have the talent.
Every single person that you went up against, you're not able to roast anybody. Your insults are lame. They're juvenile from the 3rd fucking grade. None of it hits home. You know, we don't believe your promos because you don't believe in yourself because you're a pathetic worm of
DSP's
a person.
opening
And so
wrestling cards right now, by the way.
Viable. It's not realistic either, Phil. So then Phil's like, well, my only path then is to just beg and do the same shit I've done for years. I'm going to beg and cry, and I'm going to have to do the same thing forever. And it's like, you know, Phil, there was another path, which was to, you know, do content with me. And trust my
listen
vision.
to P. Yeah, listen to P, and you'll make money.
And, you know, like, broaden your horizons and try doing
so
stuff
sweaty.
with Steve, try doing stuff with me, with Andy, with all sorts of other creators that I wanted to bring in. But no. You're just stubborn and you're a fucking idiot. And
he is a moron for not listening to you.
Straight up.
Yeah.
And so when I heard this bullshit about the 3 paths and like this going back to his old ways and not wanting to
take the loser road. Take the loser road.
Said, fuck this shit. I can't pretend for this guy anymore. I can't fucking I can't lie to myself that I think this is a good guy or a guy that might change. You know, I come from sales, and in sales, the motto we had at the company, anything that you can conceive and believe, you can achieve. If you can put together the plan on how to conceive and how to do it, and you can believe in it and work that plan, then you can achieve anything. And there's a lot of things
good attitude
that I was able to do with Dark Side Phil that nobody thought would be possible, but I had belief that it could be done. But eventually, recently, my belief went away. So I could conceive how it was possible, but I could no longer believe that it was so, and so it could no longer be achieved, and so I am cutting my losses, and I'm going to get a return on my investment by now fucking with Phil until I feel like I get my fucking money and time back, which I never really will. But
yeah, exactly. Well, you're always welcome here, and the super chats are still flying in furiously. I guarantee you're going to make more money tonight than you would have made on Smark Guys. That I could tell already.
Well, I mean, I'm probably just going to let you keep it all, to be honest.
Oh, that's very nice of you, but I said I was going to give half of it to you.
Well, we'll say we're doing half just to felt Phil, right?
Well, that's very kind of you. He's already bought me a 4-wheel drive truck. Maybe he could buy me a motorcycle too. You know, I could use a motorcycle. Yeah.
Let's get some support for Steve. Steve's a fucking king. He's a legend. And the thing is, I would never say anything bad about Steve's wife. Do you want to know why? Because I actually like and respect Steve.
Well, it helps that she's thin and hot, too.
Well, exactly. Steve's wife's a hottie. So
blonde hair, blue-eyed, thin and hot. Yes.
Let's go.
I was going to check in with the Kick chat, too. Just that's going crazy as well. So thank you to all of those people over there. We've got a whole bunch of holy shit, man. There's a whole bunch of gifted subs.
Let's keep it coming, guys.
Let's empty your wallets.
Really bury Dark Side Phil tonight.
Oh, and he's for sure gonna pocket watch, so he'll be talking about how we made thousands of dollars.
This stream is insane.
Are
they almost done? I think they're almost done.
That really causes a tear to form in the pig split that he might call eyes. Every dollar donated is another tear.
Yes.
Chin-soaked tear from the eyes of Dark Side Phil. I honestly, with him and Kat, I believe they sleep in separate beds, kind of like Batman.
No.
They're like roommates at bed.
Could you imagine though? Like, I hate to talk about his wife, but dude, she has to fuck him on purpose.
No, it never happens.
Does she? No. Hey, Luis.
She's not putting out.
Fucking Felton. The last chip has been taken.
But that he told me, but I won't.
Wait, what? Hold up.
And there's some nasty stuff I can point out about that.
What?
But that he told me, but I won't.
What the fuck did he tell you?
You won't get into it.
I'm a real
not fucking
guy.
him.
But you know what? This is the thing. I am demanding that Phil apologize to me.
Yeah.
I want Phil to apologize to me for wasting my fucking time, wasting my fans' time, wasting my fans'
What the hell
can
could he possibly say?
Fucking nonsense.
What could he say?
X has never been better.
Yeah, blame your ISP. Thank you for the 2.
That's what I would
It could get better if he
apologize
tells us weird sexual shit that DSP has been saying
big boys table,
about his wife who's dying.
Play in the sandbox like a man.
Play in the sandbox like a fucking man and do some good content instead of this fucking slop. Maybe do something that you can actually be proud of that actually took some effort instead of this fucking lazy trash that you deliver.
Slop. He's a slop maker. You want to hear some more of this, what he has to say?
Yeah, here we go.
All right, let's get into it.
It's over the top level of begging and all of this. And it gets
what?
to the point where it's like, is it part of the show? Sure. But I do feel like he got out of control and got too
begging is the show. Is it part of the show? Begging is the show.
Phil doesn't understand is I just took Phil to its natural conclusion, which is to do the loudest, most obnoxious, degrading, and debasing begging possible. And you know what? It was highly effective. His audience has been trained to respond to being abused, insulted, and told that they're pay pigs and they're swine and they're trash.
I mean, they were basically already going through that, to be fair. DSP was already treating them that way.
Loved the bags.
For years.
He loved the over-the-top bagging. This is such a revisionist history. Phil never thought there was anything so good as the bagging that I did. It was
no, you were very effective.
Yeah.
You were very effective. But, you know, honestly, I watched a lot of that stuff, P. When you did it, it's funny. When he does it, it's like pathetic and degrading and manipulative.
It's just kind of sad. You know what I mean? Like, because he
I would
actually
say it's pretty
really
shitty both
it.
ways,
He
but
really, really does. He needs that money. So, you know, and it's just like, bro, like you have
he loved when he begged for him. It was his
like,
beg
sales,
shield.
They call it like the loser's
If
smell.
he does it, that makes
The
it okay
customer
for me.
can tell if you haven't sold in a while.
If you're desperate for the sale,
desperate. He's kind of like Gil from The Simpsons, where it's just like this desperate, pathetic schlub, and everybody can tell that he's a desperate, pathetic schlub, so nobody fucking gives him anything. It's kind of like winners win and losers lose. You see, Phil, I win and you lose.
It's the same thing with women, right? It's the same thing with women. When like I have so many single guy friends and they ask me for advice. I'm like, well, you got the smell of desperation on you. You got to be like, you got to be so confident that you're happy. Like, you got to be so confident that you're happy, and they can sense that. But if you're like desperate, like, oh, I need a girlfriend, you're not going to hook up because they can smell it.
Never going to happen.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing Nick Jammies is saying in chat. I wonder if he'll continue talking like PPP all the time and saying felt it. It made me cringe, guys. This guy took on all of my mannerisms, all of my catchphrases.
There you go.
He bastardized all of it.
He stole your layout too.
Taken on a few, and I've said felt it a few times.
I would love
the lingo.
My dream is the background goes away. The LCD screen, whatever this is, the lights, the little toys.
Listen. It's the saying, bad artists copy.
It's like PTSD.
Good artists steal.
And they make it their own. Phil only knew how to copy me. It was like a cargo cult. He didn't actually understand why the behavior was effective. He only knew how to mimic said behavior to get mana from the gods, and it never worked. It was pathetic and sad.
It is pathetic and sad. Yeah, let's see what else he has to say, this loser moron.
Oh. And then this new segment called Grill Phil, where PPP
but it was
took
there
it upon
every
himself
show.
to have actual.
Yeah, that's what people showed up to see, you moron. They didn't show up to hear wrestling talk.
And there's like a few guys who were there for wrestling.
Yeah,
I feel bad for them. Listen, from time to time, I will do a wrestling vlog. I might be putting them out on a regular basis on the road to WrestleMania. What I genuinely felt like, though, and I always kind of feel like this. I feel like I'm best as a solo performer, especially with wrestling, because like other people's wrestling opinions are fucking dog shit and trash.
Yours are pretty good.
And mine are the best. And so like having to like skirt around and have chemistry with Phil's retard takes, it constrains me. I'm not able to actually do as good of a job with it as I would do on my own.
Yeah, and if you notice, he barely, if ever, disagreed with you on a take on a match or whatever. He basically just mirrored.
Yeah, what a day.
He's like, yeah,
powdered toast,
I thought the same thing. It was a really good setup or whatever. He had no original thought of his own. He just pathetic
segments where it was just about trying to delve into my private life, trying to talk about what my detractors are talking about me this week.
That's what people wanted to see.
There are no real fans. There are only detractors. And the people that are real fans, most of them are pretending.
I don't even know what to say.
So like the audience that we did have, Phil, I was trying to do the best I could.
They're doing the restream for me.
Appeasing your narcissistic ego and actually delivering entertainment to the few people that do watch this, which are the detractors.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is now raw, Steve.
Which is all nonsense. Anyway, and on top of that, on his own show.
And by the way, he always brings up his own private life. There's no detail of this guy's private life that doesn't
have a private life. Yeah, he doesn't have a private life.
I mean, there are some things that he told me behind the scenes about his private life, like, you know, that who knows if they're true or if they're not, because the guy's a total fucking liar.
And he's manipulating you.
You know, there are some things that would be surprising for people to know. about his
What's
life.
the point
that
of
he
doing
didn't
this
tell
if you're
me.
not going to say
But
anything?
you know, Phil hasn't quite yet aggrieved me.
Why
to
would
the
you not
point. I'm
say
still
them?
hoping that Phil will apologize and see the error of
Yeah,
his
so you're not
ways.
gonna go scorched earth yet.
Not
Yeah.
yet, but he's like,
What?
on a
As if he's going to talk
path.
to you.
You know,
Oh,
he was
boy.
talking about how he was the big dog yesterday. Well, I'll show him whose yard it is.
All right.
there,
It's a
Phil.
threat.
Oh no.
This guy's
Saying
fucking
things like,
blackmailing me?
oh, the only reason I do Smart Guys is because
there's
I like
nothing to
grilling Phil. Like,
reveal,
that's the point of the
idiot.
show, but Phil's too
Yeah.
dumb to know it.
Yeah.
And behind the scenes,
Yeah,
you would
too
have a
dumb.
conversation
He
and be
was
like,
too dumb.
that's
He was
Okay,
totally too
Like,
dumb.
he only finally figured it out like last week. Really?
You said it out loud
Really?
3 times.
Where I burned all the capital though is feeding Phil to Steve. And obviously Steve was meant to destroy Phil. Because Phil doesn't understand. Phil takes and takes and takes and he never gives. And the one thing I wanted him to do and to give was to give a spotlight to Steve. Because Steve
Yeah,
really
thank you for
has
that.
Steve's not a grifter. He's a genuine entertainer. He's a genuine researcher and
Thank
a
you.
presenter. And he's a family man. He
All right,
actually
I'm over
has
this.
kids. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm
he's
over
actually
this.
been successful in life. He's been a magician. He's been a puppeteer. He's done a lot of really incredible things, and he deserves support. And I really
Thank you, I
like him,
appreciate
and
it.
I wanted to help him, and I wanted
Yeah,
Phil
ditto, man,
to
ditto.
do what they call in wrestling the job for Steve and put Steve over and make Steve a star. And Phil wouldn't fucking do it. And even after it
You
happened,
had to twist his arm for
and-
weeks
and
and
I
months.
explained to Phil after what happened, and that it was basically the Montreal screw job. Where, but you know
Now we're
what?
spilling the tea.
I didn't
Yeah.
screw Phil. Phil screwed Phil. Because Phil is a self-fucking mark who's delusional and egotistical and won't do anything to help anybody else and would never have agreed to a hostile interview that would have boosted Steve's profile, so he needed to get fucking screwed. He
Yeah,
screwed himself. Phil screwed Phil. And that's the bottom line on that. That's exactly what happened.
A
And I don't
self-felting,
regret
if
that at
you
all,
will.
because it's boosted Steve's profile. He's getting good money coming in. He can now,
Alright.
Thank you for
do
that.
better for his
Really,
family.
truly.
I mean, I guess I don't want to watch
You know,
Smark
luxuries
Guys.
like four-wheel drive
So what
truck.
the fuck else am I
stuff
going
like
to
Like
do?
that.
for 5
And
years,
but-
man.
But even explaining it to Phil, he was so bitter, and he's like, "No, I would have done it if you had just told me."
No, he
But
wouldn't have.
his
I had to lie to him to get him in the chair.
His boo-boo face and his crying about it and his sulking and his seething about it showed to me that he never ever would have agreed to do anything for anybody other than himself. And it's just the way it is with him. He's just a piece of shit. All right, let's play a little bit more of this.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's just a
me
little bit.
saying that. I love pro wrestling, and I'm really happy.
Dude,
to do this
I'm
show
just
because
watching
no
a
one else will do
detractor
pro
stream.
wrestling show with me. So
From
Well, I wonder why.
August,
His wrestling
September.
sucks.
all
Yeah.
right,
That's
I
all
have
this
flown
is.
solo most of my career.
I
I
wonder
did
why.
Vindication.
Guys, as a co-op
This is the
commentary
thing.
show back
It's
in the day,
cathartic.
I have gotten
He
a
is-
lot.
He is estranged from every friend that he's ever had. At a
That
certain
says something,
po-
yeah.
At a certain point, it can't be them. The common
gotta be him, yeah.
denominator is you, Phil. It's everybody. It can't be everybody else's fault, Phil.
He's opening
Yeah.
more cards,
At
by the
some
way.
point, you have to say who's the real asshole here. All these other people are him. Yeah.
Better at piloting a ship myself over the last decade. As you know, I do almost all of my content solo. I am well equipped to do this show tonight, covering all the
Yeah,
wrestling
I
commentary
bet.
that we
Yeah,
want to
John
cover.
Bono.
And the best part about it is, folks, because I don't have Discord in the mix, we can actually do shit full
Bruh,
screen.
You could have done this
Hey,
before.
Crunched
What?
versions of me on the screen.
That
It
is
doesn't
so
matter.
stupid.
He
Listen,
cried that he was too. Do you know when we did that interview, he was. You see this layout we have right now? He was very upset that we were too small. He said we're too small.
Autism.
Whatever.
Touch
you know?
Phil is. Most people would listen to that in a minimized window while they're doing something else.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what? Nobody is going to be looking at Phil's weird fucking gremlin face, his weird fucking goblin face, like
Yes.
old alcoholic man for
Yeah.
hours.
I want to see
They are
Phil
listening.
bigger.
The
Yeah.
thing is, it's not like we're showing clips of WWE
Yeah, right.
either, or anything that
This
we're
is,
talking about, so that the audience can even understand if they haven't watched
This
it.
is a good
You know,
reaction
because
stream.
Phil can't figure out, he's so afraid of the copyright system, and so it's like, bro, like really, you can't. No, I can't. So then the show kind of fucking dead from Jump Street because the popular shows are able to show what they're talking about. We're never gonna.
It's called fair use. He just has to figure out how to fight any potential claims. It's a fair use appeal. I do it all the time.
I mean, WWE is really aggressive with their claims, but there's people are doing it, so there's ways.
Yeah, you mirror it, make it small in the frame.
But rather than Phil look into it and try and figure it out, he just gives up. Like with it's always the path of least resistance for Phil.
I forgot to ask you about this. I thought that when I was watching the show, like, why aren't they showing clips or at least stills from the match that they're talking? He could share a still. You're not getting a copyright claim for sharing a still image of a wrestling match.
Chris, it's interesting. He's asked PPP how he feels about Phil defending Derich more than Cat.
Oh shit!
Isn't that sad?
Yeah, this is like 2 streams ago.
For a pedophile that has playlists of pictures of little girls playing in school grounds.
Well, this PDF file was giving him money, though. I don't know.
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't.
I actually don't think that guy donated, which makes it
even
weirder. How defensive he was of that guy. I guess it was because he was just a genuine fan of Phil.
I said this like 2 weeks ago.
Maybe some behind the scenes work
stood up for a fucking weirdo more than his wife.
Me and Josh Moon are confronting it. It's like, listen, Phil, like either he's got to go or we're going to fucking go. And that was one thing I was really proud of doing, was purging that pedophile from Phil's community because he was a creepy fucking weirdo. But the fact that Phil like thought that it was more of a W to keep his pedophile in chat than to just take the L from the detractors was insane to me. It's like, well, if I give in to the detractors here, like where will it end? It's like, just banish this pedophile.
Yeah,
and
like
I
that's
won't
bad.
be surprised if
really
he brings the guy back. I really hope he doesn't. I really hope Phil learns something and that a lot of the positive changes that I managed to get Phil to enact stick, like him, counting everything towards the goal. Like that was something that people suggested for a long time.
Oh, that'll go away.
I imagine he'll be going back to tips only for the fucking
I don't think
goal.
He can, dude. I don't think he makes enough to do that.
Change with Phil's content for the better during the time when I was there. But unfortunately, the guy is probably going to backslide on all of it.
Oh, he's going to go back to even more begging, and he's going to be more cringeworthy than ever before, I think, without your influence and your advice,
But the guy put up a big stink about that. But when I talked about his wife, he never said a word to my face, which I think's crazy.
Yeah.
Even go to the new wide angle shot. As you can see, I got it already set
shots, up. No one cares.
We're gonna take a look at those.
No one cares. They want good content, not good cameras.
It doesn't do any. Listen, that accentuates when you already have good content. When you're already
this is just a detractor scream.
Don't have that
from fucking 7 years ago.
Sense to invest in all this shit. It doesn't do anything.
No.
Yeah, and I'm looking through his live.
You're watching old brand dude right now.
He's looking like he's there. Man, there's no donos. Well, there's no donos, dude. Look at
that. What's he at?
You know why? I bet you he told his guys not to donate so he can kill off this show because he had no.
He's at $100
in the end.
There's no donos, man.
Whoa.
Well, let's get some donos to dunk on Phil.
Yes. Every dollar donated to us is one tier of Darkside Phil.
You're saying he's almost at $100. Well, it's not too bad.
Yeah, well, I think we got him beat, PPP, and thank you.
Last week a second time, because now without all the bullshit extending the length of the show, I actually want to show you we did get a rare card.
Like, I love
oh boy, sweaty men, cards of sweaty men.
I love
awesome.
how it's a bad.
So gay.
I love how it's a bad thing for him to extend the show. Like you, the audience, getting more show is a bad thing.
I always do overtime, P. I always. That's my goal. It's the overtime. If we hit the goal, we do the overtime.
He's like, because he wants to get out of there. He wants to put in as little time and make as much money.
Tell me how he thinks his wife is gonna die again.
This is not really how you grow as a
creator. No, you got to love your audience, and you got to give your audience more than they deserve.
We would do these collaborations with him about review tech or whatever, and then he'd be, I have to go. It's like, but Phil, there's 4,000 people watching, or 6,000 people watching.
You go until the donos dry up, you moron.
Well, fuck those people. I gotta go sleep. What are you
Oh.
talking about? You make hay when the sun is shining, brother.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Holy
I'm
fuck.
with you. Go until the donos dry up. Let's see what else the moron says.
I know it's out of focus. I'm going to autofocus it later. We got a rare card.
Yeah, he can't
that we're
even
gonna
work
look
the
at
cameras. It's
together
all out of
tonight,
focus.
which is really neat. Now, FYI, I've already been contacted. I'm not kidding you. By not one,
Not 2, but 3 different
Not 2.
locales to replace PPP.
3 separate people today DM'd me saying they want to be the new
Derek, Jade,
Smark Guys.
Canadian Kirk.
Well, we'll see.
And if
I
I
mean,
told-
one of them's Ralph, one of them's Mersh, and I forget who the other one is. But it's like these aren't actual viable options.
These
Phil.
aren't good choices. Yeah.
And again, it requires him to then allow somebody to come in, a fox into the hen house, which he's not going to agree to do because he just had a bad experience with me checking him with reality. And the last thing he wants is for that to happen again. So I very much doubt that anybody will be going on there. And if they do, may God have mercy on their souls. Because like, I remember watching that Mike
It's
Plum
Andy
documentary
Worski.
on Boogie 2988, and he said, "This is the most depressing experience of my life. Everything that Boogie says is negative. Everything that he does is pessimistic. It's always no, I can't, or an objection, or whatever." And it's exactly the same thing with Phil. It is a soul-sucking experience. And I had plans to keep things going with Phil for probably 3 weeks, a month more. And I just couldn't do it anymore.
I know. We talked off air about it.
I just couldn't do it anymore.
Frustration. Yeah, you're expressing a lot of frustration. Occasionally I would ask P, like, how's the show going with
If
Phil?
someone can
And it was
clip
always like, oh.
PPP
like you don't want to
saying
know,
that DSP
you know?
told him his wife,
Told you
he thinks his wife is
who they
dying,
were, your jaw would
and
drop.
put it on the Discord, that'd be
all
great.
right?
No, he's going to get a big star to replace
yeah.
P.
He's
Yeah.
gonna be a king.
Now, as you
That's my new
can
favorite thing.
see,
I can't believe he
didn't
said
do
that.
anything with that yet. In fact, I didn't even know that this had happened until a couple of minutes ago as I was setting up the show. Because, outside of me streaming, I have a life. I have a wife and other stuff going on over here.
And
A
cat,
life.
I
yeah.
didn't check my DMs or anything today. So I actually went back. I opened it up. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, what the hell? So
Huh?
let me put it this way.
What?
Okay.
Here's what we're doing tonight.
Let me put it this
Tonight
way.
we are going solo. All right? It is
Yeah, I
definitely
mean,
going to be
that's
just me.
self-evident.
Yeah.
I mean, we see that from the title also, Phil. Like, we don't
200
really...
he's got 203
Solo.
viewers. And half the people are here just to hear him talk about what happened.
The guy is stalling and talking about nothing, trying to fill dead air so he can get off the air. There's no wrestling take here so far.
Yeah, and I think if he I know that he could survive this night because people.
If you're
will tune in to
wondering
see
what
the drama
DSP
and
is
what he talks
doing,
about. But after this, he's fucked. Like nobody's going to tune in. to
he's
this shit
opening
after
more
this.
cards.
Doing the commentary. It's going to be fun, I hope. It's going to be interactive.
It's
And
going to be
what do I mean
boring
by
as
that?
shit.
Tonight, as I do my commentary on SmackDown and Raw, we are actually going to have some back and forth, which, if you haven't noticed, hasn't happened on this show. It's basically
Phil,
been just me
what
and
are you talking about? Like, I engage with the chat all the time.
You did, yeah.
And like a lot of the time when Phil reads a super chat, he doesn't actually engage with it or answer the question. He just blows past it. Like, I actually would engage with the very few people that were in the chat. And that's also part of the reason there isn't that much engagement is because there's hardly anybody in his chat. Because it's like North Korea and he fucking bans everybody.
Yeah.
So by the
He's
time
got an echo chamber.
I
Yeah.
was to the point where I was reading the fucking Raw Phil chat because at least there's people in there to talk to.
Yeah. Oh, this is terrible. But no,
PPP, and every once in a while, someone will get noticed in the chat, or I do a shout out and I try
This
to
is
wedge in your comments.
delusional. Like,
But
just,
it's hard to get.
just a
I did
full-
not
it's just
expect
a
to watch this
full-on
whole thing
rewriting
and
of
barely
reality.
say anything.
Yeah.
You know, and,
he's
and-
coping
and I
hard.
said this to him last week. Like, do you even why are you saying this? Do you think people
Oh,
are going to
shit.
believe you? Do you even believe this yourself?
Do you believe
Like,
your
has
own
he-
lies?
Has he actually pignatized himself into believing his own bullshit?
Yes.
Yeah, well, that's a typical sociopath or
This is
narcissist
like
kind of
this
behavior.
scary cult leader stuff. Like, if this guy had a few more IQ points and a bit more gumption, he would be in Phil's town with them all drinking the Kool-Aid, and there would be 900 dead followers in South America.
Yeah.
Thank God this guy is just contained to his shitty little office in Renton, Washington, with a handful of like disabled
morons.
people
Yeah,
that are
morons.
unable to fucking move to his compound because they're in wheelchairs.
No content yet about anything somebody is saying in his
A
live
word in
chat.
edgewise when PPP is blabbing constantly.
Oh, you blabbed
Oh,
constantly.
come
That was the
on. He was
problem.
so
Not that he had nothing to say. He had nothing to
He
say.
had nothing to say, and he was happy that I was carrying him on the show. He's sitting there
Jeez
nodding his head,
Louise.
smiling. I'm doing the
Burn
engagement
the bridge.
chat. I'm soliciting.
I wonder if he's ever going to
donations.
apologize.
I'm giving the content. I'm giving the takes.
Under
and I
threat
prepared
of
to
DM
grill Phil. I did
reveals.
everything. Like I am the show. You know?
Yeah,
So
you
it's-
run the show every time I
Hey,
watch.
Phil, like it's just
Yeah.
delusional.
Oh, he's
So instead of that tonight, it's going to be more interactive,
Sure, Chitko.
very much like how it used to be in other content that I've done. So if you contribute
What do you
tonight,
mean
with a tip,
interact?
Oh, here comes the begging. Here comes
Guys,
the begging.
Tip. We need a
We need
a
super
super
chat.
chat, a membership, gifted membership, or a sub over on Kick. I'm going to give you a full shout out, going to get you on the leaderboard, and we're going to react
The
to
loser
what you're
board.
saying as if it was a normal show like my podcast or anything else.
What?
Okay.
I mean, like,
Yeah,
what
look at-
makes this different than
All
a
right,
normal
leak
show?
the DMs.
This is basically a glorified
ready to,
level 1 podcast.
But it's
Clock
wrestling
out?
themed,
Yeah,
Yeah.
except it's even worse. It's wrestling themed.
Oh God.
The fattest, dumbest, smelliest marks. And I
You
know
will
that
not be
as a
They're
wrestler.
doing my job.
Skipped, you will not be rushed over. You'll actually get some time and attention, unless you're a troll, in which case I'll just shit
Oh
can you
no,
off the screen and never
unless
see you ever
you're
again.
like
Half
90%
the
of the
audience
audience.
that he has is hate watching right now.
Yeah.
So
You know what else I noticed about him is he has a tremendous amount of dead air.
Oh yeah.
And I noticed that because I used to have just an audio podcast where dead air was like you couldn't have dead air. And since I put my show also on audio podcast, I try to avoid the dead air. He's got 30 seconds of dead air at times, you know?
Well, no,
That's-
it's
that's being
worse than
generous.
that.
Let's
And
see how this-
he calls the level 1 podcast a podcast. I question,
No.
has he
It's not a
ever listened
podcast.
to a podcast? Because there's no other podcast where in the middle of the podcast, somebody just gets up and takes like a 3-minute dead air break to go get a fucking pizza or take a piss or clear their throat or get
Yeah.
water or fidget with a fucking camera or fuck around with tech. It'll be
And-
dead
and
air
you know,
for 3
he
minutes
is-
at a time. It's the same thing with his gameplay. It's just constant dead air and boredom. It's like, why would I not watch somebody else play the game when you contribute nothing to it?
Yeah. And also, you mentioned him being lazy. Like, why doesn't he put his shit on Spreaker if it's a podcast?
And one of the worst aspects of laziness with Phil and just how
Uh-oh.
much he's neutered his product.
Lore?
He's so afraid of this is how you don't play.
Oh.
He's so afraid of the one thing that was actually funny and that kept him relevant over the years that now his chat handholds him through every game. He obviously looks up guides beforehand. He knows everything that's going to happen. If you're watching it, it's obvious. And it's because he doesn't want to be embarrassed or have any funny moments, but it takes any authenticity out of his content, takes any soul out of his gameplay.
Yeah,
and it's
he's
just
afraid
funny.
and he's walking on eggshells to not give the detractors content. So he's so reserved that it's boring as shit. It's just boring.
goes.
Well, you know,
All right.
somebody in chat said DSP is contacting Ralph. I hope he does. Phil,
Get
invite,
Ralph.
get
Yeah.
Ralph. Get Ralph, Phil. Get Ralph.
Yeah.
Get Ralph.
Oh,
yes.
great.
This goes well. All right. If this goes well,
If
and if we're in a
this goes well.
situation where we get good attendance, good engagement, good support,
And we're
I will continue to
begging.
do this show
That would be
every
so
week
good.
He's holding
He's
the stream
canceling the show
hostage
after
yet
tonight.
again.
He is
through
probably.
WrestleMania, guaranteed. But it all kind of hinges on tonight. If tonight all of a sudden there's
He
a
turns
major,
everything into a begging event. You guys have, if you want to see this show continue, I have to get good support tonight or it's over. You know?
drop off now, and really the only interest of the show was because PPP was on it, then I'm not going to waste time. I'm
Yeah.
going to go do other content
That
my
was the
viewers
only
wanna see.
interest of the show.
But let's see what
You had a
happens.
star,
I'm curious
you
what will happen
moron.
tonight with just me running the ship and seeing how it goes. Now,
Okay.
I'm not saying that there will not be a situation where maybe in the future I would consider bringing on a co-host. In fact, like I said, I just checked my dang DMs and saw,
His
holy
dang
shit, 3
DMs.
different people
His
want to be
dang
the next
DMs.
co-host.
All right, I think I'm over this.
The most like, I don't know how do you
There's no
call it?
leakage. This dude
Like
said
a
he was leaking
cringy,
DMs,
like,
man.
Puritan,
I'm
weird guy
upset.
that lived in like moral oral his
He
entire
comes across
life.
like one of those homeschooled people,
Yes.
right? That doesn't
Yes.
know lingo or anything, has their own like weird, shut-in lingo.
Ability. There may be a screening process. There may be a whole big rigmarole
Yeah, Nugs.
where we try out co-hosts and we see how things go. We might even have test shows going forward where we have someone as a
This is
co-host.
Yeah,
insane.
bring
Wait,
Bernie
what?
Moron
Who does he
in
think
that-
he
that wants
is?
this shit job for like $200.
What the
Why
fuck?
he's saying
He's
all
gonna
this
bring
shit
in
is
multiple
because
co-hosts.
It's really making him bitter and jealous
Yeah, of
that we
course.
immediately had a show and it's up and running and it's successful and people are watching and donating to it. It's like, well, I need to have a co-host then. And guys, there's so many celebrities that are lined up to
Lugo,
my sub
dude,
200
Jake
viewer
James
show.
Lugo.
Yeah, who'd
Yeah,
want
Should
that?
bring the Lugster.
The pocket
The
full of
Lugster.
cows. And in the clouds.
Send in the clowns. Yes.
Send in the clowns, send in Ralph the Gunt, Mersh and Cog. Send in
All right.
the clowns. Let there be
Help.
clowns. Like,
Yeah.
please, like, make my day. Like, this is like infinite content. It's amazing if he does this. It would be so good.
Well, that's why I said, like, you can get your money back. Just start covering his dumb shit like you do
Send
the other people,
Rich, send in
Help.
Kurs. Like, if he gets Review Tech USA to do the wrestling show with them, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die, please.
I don't want
Make
to.
that happen, yeah.
I don't want to be here no
I'll
more.
host as Derich and EDP. I wouldn't be surprised.
All right. Let's find out. Let's see how it goes over
That
the next
laugh
several
is,
weeks. But let's see how it
insane.
goes tonight.
Oh, there ain't
All
gonna be
right,
several
fair
weeks.
enough. Now, how's it going to work? Because it used to be so different, right? Here's how it's going to work tonight.
We're
Do I
gonna
have a
read the
goal? I
wrestling
do.
notes.
What?
Yeah, he's gonna read notes
Like,
from when
I
he
love how
watched
he
the
has to
wrestling show.
Explain how it's gonna go.
There was
How-
audience are
How
morons.
about you just do the show? Like, I didn't have to come on here and go, okay, so guys, tonight I'm going to do a show. It's going to be me and Steve. It's like,
Oh my
well,
god.
we see that you and Steve are already here.
This is a brand
Okay,
dude
What
segment.
we're going to be talking about.
This is a
we're gonna
brand
be
dude
talking
segment.
about Dark Side Phil.
No,
Now,
my
you
biggest
said
pet
you have a
peeve.
goal, and we would like to have 50 super chat contributions right now, guys. So, if there's any possible way, and like go on for like 20 minutes like that. No, people wanted to see me go, Cat's fat. She's a fat bitch. And Phil's a pussy and he's a worm and he's a scumbag and a beggar. Like, that's what people come for. They want to be entertained.
Yeah, imagine that. Yeah.
40 minutes of fucking talking in circles about nonsense, man.
Oh, it's something else. Yeah.
What's my goal? $150. Like I literally do on every single stream that I've ever done.
Oh.
All right.
Well,
Same
Phil,
exact
you
system.
know, the goal used to be 500, which split in half was 250, and most of the time we were getting to like $400. So, you've been better off with that. But
Yeah. Yeah.
We hit $150. It counts towards my goal rewards tally, and that means that we'll get towards like a bigger reward later down the line.
Yeah, like him
so
filling
it
his
all
face.
goes towards
Big
that level
reward.
of support. Now we had something
he's
else
still
going
not
with these
talking
WWE
about wrestling,
cards.
by
remember?
the way. And that's like, okay, guys, we have this gimmick. I'm gonna open cards. How many people do you think watching? First of all, even care about wrestling? It's a minority.
Yeah.
Second of all, how many of them care about wrestling cards? And even if they do then also care about wrestling cards, they then have to care about Phil opening wrestling
cards. Yeah. Oh,
it's
just,
like
it's
nobody
pathetic.
actually cares.
It's pathetic.
Remember? And the way that we were talking
And he
about
can't work his camera. Look, it's
Oh
it's
my
all
God.
bullshit shit.
this was that if we hit
Oh, there you go.
$150 of support, that I
We're
was gonna
begging
open
again?
a new pack of cards. As you can
Very-
see,
so
Oh
exciting.
my
We have
god,
four
it's so
opening-
boring. Like, it's actually just sucking the life from me.
Yeah, you ever talk
Yeah,
to
can we
somebody?
wrap
I heard
it
a
up?
comedian say, "Do you ever have a conversation with somebody and them talking to you like hurts your soul? Like you feel like they're poisoning you? That's what it's like watching him. I feel like I'm getting poisoned with shit slop content."
Why am I
Well, guess what?
toxic?
we're changing that tonight. Tonight it's going to be if I get $100 of support, I.
Oh,
Oh, what's going on?
oh, kind of a tactical bump here. I think everything's frozen.
Is Steven
Fuck.
just?
We get to the part where he scams.
Am
the
I
guy.
all right? Steve's having issues. You guys can still hear me though.
What the fuck is
Chat,
happening?
is Steve down and you can still hear? Okay, you guys can still see and hear me.
What is happening?
Okay. Listen, guys. I mean, with Phil, it's just kind of sad. All right, go ahead, Steve. You're back.
Now I'm back. I'm sorry. Once in a while, my software does some kind of thing where it like flips, it resyncs or something. I'm sorry.
It was Comcast.
We're okay.
By the way, guys, we are only 7 super chats away.
All right,
from
are we
the
done
goal.
here?
Let's get some super chats
subs.
in
Let's
here.
get some super
to hit
chats.
the
All right.
sub. Hit it.
Is this enough of Ross, Steven?
That's the goal, friends. Let's see what else the moron says.
Oh, never
As
mind.
much
They're
of a
still
draw
streaming.
as Big Mouth, but I'm still trying to make do with the content that I'm making, and I hope that you guys will still enjoy the show. All right. So
Nobody enjoyed it
for
to
a
begin
pack,
with, except for P being on
200
it.
that second pack, etc. And the overall goal of the night is 150 to get it going. All right. Now, the one thing I want to do, because even before we start with anything, okay, I want to focus more on these cards because
Why?
after we hyped them up.
Yeah, 37 minutes.
You hyped it up. It's honestly, it's a sunk cost fallacy, Phil. No one cares about you opening the cards. You care about opening the cards. How about you just open the fucking cards then and show people what you got? Like, so guys, you know, like you won't be able to see me open the cards unless you give me
Give me 150
They don't
bucks.
care.
Yeah,
The thing is, they're
it's so
gonna
lame.
The thing is, they're gonna donate anyway if they enjoy the show. You don't need to have some weird fucking goal. How about the goal is you'll go another hour? Because like, what's what me and Andy just okay? We'll do an extended. We'll do another
overtime.
hour.
Yeah.
It's
2
like
hours,
food on his lip or
And
something.
that's what the
distracting
audience
me.
wants.
Segment.
Yeah.
They want more content. They don't want okay. You're gonna eat Thin Mints. Well, everybody's eating a fucking Thin Mint. We all know what they taste like. Nobody gives a fuck about the taste of a Big Mac. We've all had a fucking Big Mac, for fuck's sake. My God,
I got my Thin Mints and I'm eating them for free. We don't have to hit a goal first. Let's see.
We kind of rushed through them because we blabbed last week too much about nonsensical drama instead of actually focusing on the content of the show, which is pro wrestling.
What people wanted, yeah.
Cards, yeah. Listen, we managed to talk about wrestling and we managed to do the drama. And so then everybody's happy. But this guy is like fucking shitting a brick if he's 30 minutes. My wife, 30 minutes. Listen, tell your wife you're fucking working. Sorry, honey, I have to pay the fucking bills.
Yeah.
By the way, like he could solve all of these problems spending time with his wife just by moving his schedule around, for fuck's sake. Holy, he is his own boss. He doesn't have to have this autistic 6 day a week, 3 fucking block.
No,
schedule.
Triple P. He
You
needs
know?
I
excuses
canceled
for
shows because of
excuses.
family engagements and things that I had to take care of, or
He always needs an excuse.
If you want to keep a happy wife, happy life, I truly believe that.
I don't think he gives a shit about his wife at all.
He thinks his wife is dying.
He just wants to get to his gin, his WWE champions, and his DoorDash, and that's it.
Yeah.
Because half the time he was supposed to be spending with his wife, he was DMing me at 4 in the fucking morning.
Yeah, why isn't he just in bed with his wife at 4 in the morning?
Leak the DMs, you bitch.
You at 4 a.m. and if you don't respond, I'm gonna be upset.
Yeah.
Okay. So
let me hear that again.
Wife at 4 in the morning.
All right, it's time to text you at 4 a.m. and if you don't respond, I'm gonna be upset.
Yeah.
Okay. So
it's like the email he sent.
As I was
better
actually
than the
looking
other
at these
sweaty
cards
men.
this week, I realized something. One of these is actually
But Phil,
a
you
real.
you told us this last week. Why are we doing this again? It's just to fill time.
He has
Because
nothing. He's
you
got
don't
nothing.
actually have anything to say, and this was the big WWE Madison Square Garden show with the CM Punk versus Seth Rollins cage match. There's a lot to talk about. Now, thank God I didn't watch it because I have better things to do than watch this shit at this point. Like, I honestly, it sucks. You know, it's shit, folks. And that's part of the reason I fucking moved on too, is it's just like, not only did I have to be drained by Phil.
You had to watch wrestling?
You know, I do the Monday casino, and then like at 4 a.m. till 7 a.m, I'm having to watch wrestling and take notes.
Oh,
And
that
it's
sucks.
like,
Yeah.
this is fucking brutal. I'm just
After a 5-hour Kino show. Yeah, that's just brutal, man. That's just brutal.
Rare card. Let me go ahead and adjust the focus because sadly this camera's autofocus isn't as great as I wish it was.
17 years as a streamer, can't work a camera.
This card right here is considered the chase card, the guaranteed chase card, I should say, of the box of WWE Topps Chrome cards that I got.
Yeah.
It is Shinsuke Nakamura.
There's like 100 people on the planet that care about this card, about these cards.
Oh my god, man!
I think it's called like I don't know if it's a chromium or a blaster card, but as you can see, it's numbered. 22
so he doesn't
out of
even know the
150.
cards. Like
Okay.
the thing is, he doesn't even know anything about the cards. So like, why even talk? If you don't know, don't speak. You know, it's pretty simple.
Yeah, I think it's this, right? I think.
Okay. So I guess what that means is this is card 22 of 150, and maybe that exists. At least that's what it should mean.
Such a mark, bro.
That this is number 20.
There's actually only 150 of the super exclusive wrestling cards. You spend thousands.
All right.
Oh my god.
I'm so over this.
It's so valuable.
It's a valuable card.
2 out of the 150 that actually.
At least they're doing my job, all right?
Incidentally,
I don't gotta say shit.
I wish I could have taken this. You know, I offered.
This is
him,
November
let me fly
branded.
you to Las Vegas, get your hotel, sir. Let's do some IRL streams in Las Vegas.
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
Can you imagine Phil would have got fleeced in Vegas? He would have got milked, the biggest mark on the fucking trip.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it would have been the best shit ever. Oh, man.
That would have been good content, positive content.
Actually, in a title match this week. So kind of cool that that's the card that I got. And it sucks that last week we were in such a huge rush because of nonsense wasting our time. We didn't actually get to look at the card. All right? So to take a look at it.
We looked at these cards that his wife is for what seemed like forever.
I think it was 20 minutes at least.
Lots of time. Like, how much more do we need to examine the Shinsuke Nakamura card, Phil?
Well, it's 22 of 150. It's a collector's item.
Oh,
it's called a blue reflector card, I'm being told by
guys,
King Crimson. Thank you, King.
So I just want to ask chat, like those of you who are here, I know you're not dented. I know you're not mentally disabled. I know you're not in wheelchairs. I know you're not pedophiles, hopefully. But are you more interested in this, watching Phil look at cards? Or are you more interested in me asking Phil about his lies and his scams, pressing him about his controversies? They're like, which would you be more interested in? And I'll just be honest, like wrestling talk also. Like for those who want wrestling talk, just because you're a wrestling fan doesn't mean you care about the top deck chromium Shinsuke card number 22.
Yeah, that's so lame. It's like you know, I don't know, man. Watching him is like watching some guy from like a Dungeons.
Can we watch the DMs
or something? You know, like it's just total.
That'd be nice.
Not even cool geek, like
but
dork.
what's crazy is the guy at the Dungeons and Dragons Club would be more excited about his hobby. Be like, "Let me show you my miniature. Look at this. I really took the time." And he would tell you all
I painted it. Yeah,
I'm holding out hope.
Details of it and what I, you know,
please.
super juiced about it. If you were listening to it and you go, "Oh my God, somebody's listening!" Like this is Phil, just so boring. He just doesn't give a shit. There's no passion for anything.
There's no passion. Yeah, it's really lame. It's lame-o.
Basically, it's just a standard card. And it's actually numbered 51 out of the set. But on the front, it looks so different being a refractor, right? It's got this cool chromium border.
Oh, look,
cool
it's
blue color to it. I'm
reflective,
assuming
and
because
it's
he's on
blue.
SmackDown. So I like the card. In fact, I even said last week, I did like the look of this card, but I didn't.
Guys, how much more of this? Are we going to do maybe 6 more minutes of this?
No, let's end it. I don't.
Oh, thank
I
you.
don't know. Let's let him go a little bit.
No,
I'll
PPP.
probably dip out at the top of the hour.
All right, when he dips out, we'll go back to the other thing.
I'm gonna have to read super chats.
I might be here for an hour, Pete. Just reading super chats.
We just touched the tip of the iceberg on
Yeah.
And I did this kind of just impromptu, jumping on, didn't really plan to be.
No, we didn't plan anything, yeah.
But next week, we're going to plan a bit better, how we're gonna felt Phil.
Oh boy.
Bring up, get our talking points in order, get our clips in order, and everything like that. Today was just kind of like a sermon of felt against Phil.
Yes.
We're
Yes.
just beginning.
Just
to
beginning.
make
Yeah.
Phil's life a living hell, which it already is a living hell.
You're gonna help.
But we need to make it even worse somehow. No matter how much abuse and punishment and suffering Phil is going through, it's not enough.
Oh, he has no idea. He pissed off the wrong guy, P.
He deserves more. He deserves more abuse. He deserves more shaming, more humiliation, more poverty, more depression, more illness. He deserves it all. And hopefully God gives us the strength to smite this filthy bum. For the Bible says, if a man does not work, neither shall he eat.
Yeah.
And now he doesn't work. He's a
Did he
bum.
DM him that?
He's a beggar.
And I just want to mention we did hit the second goal. So now I have to I'll do a Q&A session, I guess, for the third goal. See that? More overtime, right?
Well, it looks like you're doing good. Do you have any estimate? Like,
oh, it's got to be thousands of dollars. I don't know.
Actually, like thousands.
Do we have an estimate on the DMs?
It's probably the biggest Phil bag yet, P. So thank you.
Now, there goes. Both of you are petty. Oh, brother, you don't know just how petty PPP can be.
PPP is going full petty next week.
Like Ralph mode, fucking petty and savage on fucking Phil's ass. Fuck Piggy. Let Piggy fucking seethe. I hope Piggy suffers. Suffer, Piggy,
Suffer,
Phil.
Piggy, yes.
All right, guys.
Let's keep going. We're going to do a few more minutes of
I
this.
don't understand why it was so different. Well, now we know this is actually the chase card that was guaranteed.
Can we go live or something? Why the fuck
So
are we on the
chances
card
are-
still?
That's my chase card. There may actually be more.
Oh my! I can't
but I'd
believe
have to get
DSP is still
incredibly
doing this,
lucky
by the way.
For there actually to be more.
Doing a
chase
Smark
cards.
thing about
Guy?
Phil is
Okay.
he's always lucky.
Yeah.
That's the one thing he got in life was a 10 luck. And you know what's crazy? I'll tell you this, guys, and I'm kind of concerned. I'm a little bit superstitious. I woke up this morning and I went to my car and I turned it on and I couldn't shift from park into reverse. And I'm like fucking around with it for like, I'm like, did the curse of
And
Phil
Blozer, yeah, that's
like
the.
am I cursed by Phil? Like
This is the
first of all, I
DSP
kinda
strategy.
ignore, like, I kinda
New
feel
thing
like
happens,
someone
you
like,
ignore
is
it.
this the curse of Phil?
Yeah,
The
I
day
fire
is
up
the
the
night is
car,
darkest
I
before the
social
dawn.
meter,
Whatever the
I
fucking
put her-
stupid
I
mom
can't
post he
fucking
did.
shift the gear. I'm like, Phil,
Ignore
fuck
drama
my
until
friend.
you have enough
He
time
used his powers of luck
and you come up with a good enough excuse.
But then I just like
So
I
that you
slammed
can
down on the
come up
brake
with
hard,
some,
and usually it
retorts.
let me shift gear.
And
But for,
lies
like,
and
about 5
excuses and
minutes
a
there, I'm
new
like,
spin,
fuck,
the
I'm not
narrative
making it to
spin.
the grocery store today. I'm not making it to get my fucking 7 bags of daily.
He needs to
fucking
come up with
chips.
something before he can address it.
I was really concerned, and I don't know what else is gonna happen.
Maybe.
Guys.
I'll-
I
Well,
may
you
have
know,
to
but
keep
they-
you up to date on the
No,
curse
people
of
talk
Phil.
about the curse of Phil. They told me about that, but so far the only I just keep getting big fat bags of money.
What's the
Pete.
curse of
Getting
Phil? I
those
never
bags.
heard of this.
It's
Yeah,
gonna
I'm so
get-
blessed.
it'll
In
come on to
years
you
I've been
being
watching
such
him.
a
What the fuck are they
dirty
talking about?
scumbag.
You
It's like a
Yeah,
Madden
yeah.
curse?
Play the lotto, PPP. You will win the curse of Phil. We'll have to see. All right, let's do a little bit more of this.
Okay, let's go.
In
Oh,
this
I see,
box,
Raid. All right.
Usually you just get the one chase card per
My
box.
bad. I wasn't
But some
listening.
people do get lucky and get more than one. I think the
Who
autograph
cares?
cards
Oh my
Oh,
God.
are
it's so
actually
boring, man.
not considered part of the guaranteed chase. So there's always
Oh,
the chance that I
Lord,
could get an
my
autograph card in
God.
this
Yeah.
if we open a pack.
I might get a special card. I'm
like
gonna
the
get a
Sonichu
special
medallion.
card.
Okay.
But no, watch this begging pig. Oh man,
Dude, this laugh.
how well it's gonna go or if we're gonna get another one. All right, I don't even know if we're gonna
Skip
make
to live.
$100.
Skip to live. We'll
Skip
see what
to
he's doing
live.
now. Yeah, we'll see what he's doing right now.
Oldest, that's his real name, but he used to be called Magnus. Gotcha. Thank
We're
you. I gotta
talking
remember
about
his real name is
wrestling.
Nick.
He doesn't
Hey.
know
I
anything
didn't know
about wrestling.
Um,
Okay, yeah. Okay.
He's trying to explain
206 whole people
this
watching.
Are we
insane,
done?
Convoluted history
I'm
of
ready
what's
to
happened with
clock the
tag
fuck
team
out.
division.
Well, Phil
This
knows
was
it's
the
not about
best
viewers,
restream.
it's
Last,
just
like,
about
several-
money with him. He doesn't care.
He doesn't care what the live viewers
I'll stream
are.
tomorrow
Look
and
at
this
his live
weekend.
chat. Oh, there's
to make up for it.
$10.
Ooh, he's getting some donos.
400 MGN watching from Nigeria. Yeah, but very few super chats in his live chat.
Months, and it's hilarious because he's trying to explain it with like this insane flowchart, and I'm like, yeah, this is pretty much what WWE has always done with their tag team division. They make it convoluted, but then it's not. It doesn't make sense. It's not fun. It's kind of confusing, and then it kind of falls flat.
Sounds
There's never
like
really,
we
like, a
should
big
watch the
resolution
show.
at the end. It's just kind of a bunch of guys wrestling in a circle.
Sounds like
attacking
we
each
should
other.
watch wrestling. It's really good. This shit sucks, man.
This
Even
is
if you are a
terrible,
wrestling
yeah,
fan, I'll
yeah.
tell you this. Like, I'm kind of the firm belief that wrestling has always been, the majority of it has been pretty bad. Like, even when you go back to the Attitude Era shows, which I've gone back and watched, like, all of the undercard and, like, the jobbers and the mid-card suck fucking dick. But then you see, like, the main stars, Rock, Stone Cold, Undertaker, and it's good. But, like, the vast majority of those shows were not. You remember all the big iconic
Yeah,
moments.
you don't remember the undercards. They were terrible.
And that's
Yeah.
kind of the thing with wrestling still is it's mostly terrible, but there's these few and far between decent moments, but they become fewer and fewer and further between, to the point where it's like just
Oh,
not
man.
worth sifting through all of this crap.
How did he
Yeah,
sit through
it's too
hours
much.
of this
Just
with
to get to the
DSP?
nuggets,
Kind of
yeah.
like Phil's stream, where it's like mostly just dog shit, but there's like a piece
I guess he
of
was
ice
looking
cream
forward
or
to
gold in
grilling
there, and
Phil.
you're
Oh
like,
God.
can you
Yeah.
even really enjoy it after you had to go through so much shit?
Well, I would say this solo, him doing this solo show is a total failure. Total failure.
Well, I mean,
Like,
he'll
just-
claim it's a success, but we'll see this show go the way of the dodo, I'm sure. Just like everything else he's attempted. Unless out of pure spite, he keeps it going because he's so seething at me. I don't know.
This one wins, then this one wins, then this one has the title, then this one has the title, but no one really gets over. It's very rare when you see a team like the New Day
See
or the
nothing in
Usos or
particular.
whatever get like big prominence. It's usually just like this big jumbled tag team division.
Oh, this
So
is
he's-
so boring. Are we
Oh my
done?
God.
Are we done?
Can we be done?
I think we're done. I
All
mean,
right,
I'm not really
sweet.
going to analyze Phil's wrestling. The thing is, it's like, who cares?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
the thing. Nobody
yeah.
actually cares. They want to
That's-
see me, shit on Phil for being a recluse, a shut-in, a worm, a beggar, a fraud, a charlatan, a cult leader, a scam artist.
All of the above.
All of
yeah.
the above. Like the
Oh, it's
dirtiest,
terrible.
like fucking dirty slug on the fucking ground.
Do
And
you
that's
think he's
all-
going to apologize and crawl back to you? I
I
think he
hope
is.
so. I hope so.
think
I
he
hope
is.
for his sake he does, because ultimately he is just an insect. And
I thought he was
insects
gonna
are
say
very good
incel.
at surviving. They hide out in dirty, seedy, filthy places. They live off of rot and decay and dirt, and they're only concerned really with survival, much like Phil. That's why he's called the pig roach or the cockroach. But eventually, the cockroach scampers out into the light, and there's a big boot that comes down. Or eventually, when the infestation gets so disgusting and so overwhelming, they just bring in the bug man and gas that whole thing. And hopefully the dark side Phil fucking Anthill gets gassed. And we no longer have to deal with him again. We are calling for TPD. Those of you who know what TPD is. It's total fill in the blank. We are calling for TPD.
Yeah. Well, I don't blame you. Like, you really helped him to build that show, and now he just snaked you and talking all this shit. It's just amazing to me that you guys gave him
I
such
like
an
how
opportunity.
DSP snaked him.
He was dying a slow death before you quickened him for another
Here-
error.
Let me just tell you the truth, man. It was never really an opportunity because I knew that every dollar he would ever make would just be spent on WWE Champions, Gin, and DoorDash. So for those of you who are upset at me for enriching Phil, just realize that all of it went to worthless black holes.
God.
And didn't go to anything
is
that
a November
genuinely
brand, dude,
improved
yet
his
again.
life. And now his his tax bill coming in next month is going to be a lot higher. You're welcome. Okay.
Yeah. People are taking bets about how long it's going to be before he starts begging for money to pay his taxes.
Oh, soon. Very, very soon.
Yeah, this is something else. So I guess if he crawls back and apologizes, then you'll
If he apologizes, I'll bring him back. I'll be really nice to him. I'll hold him by the hand and rebuild his career because he knows he can't do it himself. He's much like the directionless losers that sign up for LolCow Live, but at least they have the sense to know that it was over for them and that they need to listen to Daddy Keemstar's wisdom. Now, maybe Phil will listen to Daddy Keemstar and he'll go and join LolCow Live and put on the clown makeup and dance and eat the bugs.
Didn't he already hint at this?
Be
yeah,
humiliated.
eat the cat food, do the humiliation rituals.
Rituals, and that's really what he deserves for his retirement plan, for his golden
bets on
years,
DSP apologizing.
slave, and I hope that he does it. And hopefully this has spurred him to realize, well, you know, maybe PPP was too mean on me. Well, you'll see the yoke and the burden that I put on you, Phil, was light. Keemstar's yoke and Keemstar's burden will be heavy, and you will be his slave, and he will own your ass, and he will dominate you and destroy you. And I hope it happens. But the one thing to note about that, the $50,000, Phil, I'm afraid, is off the table. And I don't.
Yeah, they're going to give him 10 or something. Yeah, they're going to lowball him.
He won't get he won't get any signing bonus now. And not only will he get no signing bonus, he'll get no equity because Boogie and Wings built that shit. Boogie and Wings have gone through the ringer.
They're not giving up their equity in that.
They've earned their fucking money.
How about they give up the DMs?
Keemstar is certainly not going to give it. What Phil will get is a flat rate to be a circus fucking clown.
Yeah, give him $100 or something.
$100 a show, $150, whatever your goal is, to be Keem's dancing fucking monkey bitch. Because you didn't believe in the project, you didn't invest in the project, you're a latecomer to the project, and fuck you. I offered you in at the ground floor of the Kino universe with Steve, with Andy, with me, with others. Probably nobody else will join, but still, we could have been a 4-horseman team.
Oh, I think that would have been fun. And we would have been like, I think we would have been fair with him and busted his balls, but still been like his friend while busting his balls. You know,
and I think it would have led to him having a better life, but he believes his way is the highway. He knows best. Well, it's got him to where he's at so far, which isn't really a great place to be.
No, it's not.
And I have a feeling it will progressively get worse and worse and worse over time as he slowly circles the drain on his never-ending, always sinking ship that is Darkside Phil.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm gonna let you bounce out of here, and I'll take a quick break and then read all these super chats.
See you guys next week, guys.
All right.
I gotta add. Listen, I'm gonna have to add.
Sound
all this
good?
shit up. And do you want me to send you a PayPal, or what do you want me to do for tonight?
No, we'll just see.
Oh, good. This is ammo for DSP.
Yeah, I gotta get my account.
All right. I'm looking forward to the DSP response
we must have
of people talk shit about me for profits. All right, I'm out of here. See you later. This is I do want to cover this
or meaningful about. And listen,
I guess we have more context for this now.
Do feel good about that
because DSP still pussyfoots his way around PPP.
But I'm wired different than them, and it's okay for people who are in different walks of life, of different age ranges, of different experiences, to have different opinions. That's the variety. That's the spice of life. Is that there's different.
87% of the chat thinks that DSP will not apologize to Triple P. Yeah, I don't think so. We get those DMs, hopefully. And speaking of chat, holy shit.
Gifted member bomb.
A gifted member bomb from Kenneth Douglas. Brother, thank you. What is happening? There we go. Holy shit, 20.
Have these different takes.
Thank you.
If everyone was of the same mind, life would be boring. You can have someone over here that's all about drama. You can have someone over here that's not.
Oh,
that's
buddy.
Okay. But it just seems to me like on the internet, you've either got to be black or white. You're either all the way or you're not. And I don't get that. I just don't.
Hey, guys, I can talk now.
Because
you're either Tevin or you're a meerkat. Let me hear that again.
But it just seems to me like on the internet, You've either got to be black or white. You're either
Oh,
all the way or
shit.
you're not.
You're either Tevin or you're a
I just
fucking
don't. It
meerkat.
actually is pretty much annoying me because I would like every once in a while if something stupid's going on, like if Review Tech is being an asshole to me again and I'm just kind of bored there, I need to vent, that I could just open up his stream and laugh at him for a podcast, and then we could just go back to normalcy. But the internet doesn't seem to think that. They think, oh, you're either all in or you're not. Man, you said you weren't going to do this content anymore, so how dare you go back and never do it? That's dumb as fuck. No, really, that's just so ignorant of a mindset that you have to be.
Yeah, this
all
is
in.
great.
You don't
This is
have-
actually pretty good with the context, because even PPP fucking, he basically said he made you his bitch. He made you go against everything you kind of stand for, all for the sake of money. And this is one thing. And I love DSP sitting here just trying to defend it and saying you're stupid for thinking that him doing drama is a bad
Dare
thing.
you go back and never do it? That's dumb as fuck.
That's dumb as fuck.
No, really, that's just it's so ignorant.
So
Of
ignorant.
a mindset that you have to be all in. You don't have to be. You could do different things, you know? And that's kind of what I would like to do. I
Hey,
really
Remy.
like making gameplay, chilling with you guys and doing variety content. Like the Lego stream last night is great. I like the wrestling commentary
Year
on
of the
Smark Guys.
Snake.
I love doing this podcast and I like gaming. These are all things I like. Will any of those things particularly ever blow up huge and become giant and get me thousands of viewers and make me bajillions of dollars? Probably not. But
Probably
because I
not.
work hard and the work ethic that I have has maintained for as long as it has, I have the viewer base I have,
Yeah,
the
this is
supporters
good.
I have, and that's why I'm still
Maybe
here.
we should do a
and I'm
part 2 to this. Uninterrupted.
If I were a schlub,
Iviga
and I
stream,
slacked
Iviga
off and
stream,
I wasn't
Iviga
busting my
stream.
ass, then I'd be gone. But that's why I have
Let me
succeeded.
redirect.
While
We've
everyone
got
else has had to go,
400
I'm the
people.
sellout. I'm the drama guy. I haven't had to do that. Did you notice? It's a little different, I know, and people can't handle it. But it's true. I'm still here. I don't have to be all in on that shit. You understand? And this year, it really felt like I was getting a lot of pressure from PPP to go all in on drama. And I just didn't want to do it. I said, I'll do this to this extent. I'll do this to some extent. I don't think this is going to work because I think that this is going to leave me in a bad position. It's going to leave me holding the bag of trying to maintain stuff. And I don't know how I'm going to do it because I don't want to make drama content 24/7.
Great.
Okay?
Okay.
And so I think what's
Sound
happened is
good?
over the last several months, since basically none of the ideas that PPP came up with, I would really roll with.
Holy
Alright.
shit. I love that. Dude, I forgot that he said this. He offered a free trip for DSP to go on a honeymoon with his wife. Fully paid for.
He soured again.
DSP said no because of his cat. So I guess that level 1 about his fucking cat and how he can't go on vacation anywhere to Las Vegas and shit.
Soured. And he's very frustrated. He's
That was
upset.
the excuse he gave
Now
Triple
he feels
P.
really the only way to move forward is to try to do something drastic. Because if you notice, the rhetoric against me picked up big. All of a sudden, he's still bringing up my wife every stream. It's like, why would he do that all of a sudden out of nowhere? Because he
Every
feels like
stream.
he's going to force the hand. He's going to push he's
Every
gonna push
stream.
that envelope. He's going to make Phil play his hand of cards, right? He wanted me to come out today and just explode. But I'm not doing that. I'm just very calmly and matter-of-factly explaining to you what's happened, okay? Now, it sucks because here's the thing. I feel like we work together well, and I feel like Smark Guys is a great show. I do. But at one point, you've got to put your foot down, and you've got to have some kind of self-respect. And I'm not going to allow the guy to just say and do whatever he wants and think that he has free reign to disrespect my family just because I want to have him as part of Smark Guys. So that's why I made the decision, all right? And it's that simple. Doesn't matter what he says or does.
Wait, let me hear that
Free
again?
reign to disrespect my family
Disrespect my
just
family?
because I want to have him as part of Smark Guys. So that's why I made the decision. All right?
Wait,
And
you
it's that
made the
simple. Doesn't
decision?
matter what he says or does. It really doesn't. It doesn't matter what how he
Isn't that fucking interesting? I made the decision, but you didn't make the decision. Not really, until people bothered you enough about it. Because you didn't do anything about it until you got offered $40 to do something about it.
tries to cope because that's what he's doing. He's coping all over Twitter today.
Okay.
Posting up 1 million cope tweets.
That's
I don't care.
insane.
All right?
That's like a new thing DSP's been doing, saying the word cope for what other people are doing as he sits there and copes for over an hour about whatever the fuck he's talking about.
I really don't. It's sad because I really feel like that he is a guy who can be really fun to work with, and he's funny as well, and he brings that hype and he
Look at
brings
this
that
dude.
energy. He's
Look
the
at him hype
ultimate
him
pitch
up.
guy. He's
Fuck
the Paul
yeah.
Heyman of drama content. on
Paul
the internet,
Heyman.
right?
Think
That's
Paul
how I feel.
Heyman? Think Paul Heyman.
But at what expense? Because I'm not going to become full-time.
This is great.
Kino
Right
Casino.
after hearing fucking Triple P talking shit about him.
Casino.
He's still sucking his fucking
Full-time drama
thing.
I'm just not going to do that. I don't want
Yeah.
to. All right. And just to make this perfectly clear again, I know that nothing that I say and do will ever change how he acts or what he says. He very well might go on the casino tomorrow.
Hey, Franny.
And the entire show is just going over this podcast and felting me. And if that's it, so be it.
Yeah, Trayvon.
You know, who cares?
Make
I can't
that
stop
make
that. I've only
sense.
been going through that for, I don't know, like 13 straight years anyway. So it's not like it's a big deal to me.
Wait.
Perfectly clear again. I know that nothing that I say and do will ever change how he acts or what he says. He
Wait, why not though?
very well might go on the casino tomorrow. And the entire show is just going.
Wait, that's not even necessarily true because we heard from Triple P himself that he was genuinely trying to help you. He set out with a goal and he's a salesman and he stuck with it. But you just kept denying it and wasting his time. So that right there is a weird
over this
cope.
podcast and felting me.
If
and
he
if
took
that's it,
some of
so
his
be it.
advice and
You
his
know, who cares? I
offers,
can't
maybe
stop
he
that. I've
wouldn't
only been
have
going
done
through that
this.
for, I don't know, like 13 straight years
13
anyway.
straight years.
So it's
I'm a
not
victim.
like it's a big deal to me. But I don't have to put up with that behavior and
Yeah,
still have
Franny.
him as a part of my content. I have control
That was
over the
wild,
content I
dude.
put out on the internet. So
Oh
therefore,
my god.
Smart Guys will be
DSP's turning to religion and so is his wife.
slow moving forward.
Because
And by the
he
way,
thinks
we'll talk
she's
about this
dying.
tonight. I'm curious how the
He
show will
thinks
do
she's
as
dying.
a solo show.
Oh my lord.
And I'm also
Literally.
curious if ever I should seek out
Praise the Lord.
another co-host.
Co-host.
I don't know if that would work.
Jade.
If I could find someone who's
It should be
passionate
Jade.
about wrestling, who'll watch the shows, who'll show
All right,
up,
what's he
and
doing?
be a part.
Real quick, let's check out how the show is going. Oh my
As you can
fucking
see,
god.
the
If I see
autofocus
another
is
card
atrocious on this camera.
and we get
Like, you have
autofocus
to, like,
complaints.
really move slow
Oh,
to try to get it to focus
brother.
as you get closer.
Look at his thumb.
So who is this? This is.
I don't know why I'm staring at his thumb.
Who? What does it say?
Oh my fucking god, you are
Lonnie
so
Jordan?
dented. Dude, he's
Who the fuck
holding
is
a
Lonnie
card. He's
Jordan?
holding a card, right? He's holding a card. He's holding a card. And he's reading it through the camera. Instead of looking at the card when he took it out of the
Autograph.
box.
I think we're gonna get an autograph.
Why didn't you just look at the fucking card, you weirdo?
I guess she's an. Oh, come on, you stupid camera!
In
I'm gonna
real
have to
life,
take a
you
look
either
at
gotta
this
be
so
black
you
or
can see.
white.
This does not want to.
What
it
color
just
is
does not
DSP, I
focus at
wonder?
all. This
In
camera
the
is
real
not.
world.
All right, I'm just gonna manual focus it.
What color am I?
We'll get it down, guys. This is
In
our-
the
Here we go.
I gotta clip that.
Lonnie Jordan. I have.
In the real world, you either gotta be black or white.
I guess she's a female wrestler. In
Uh,
NXT.
All right.
Just a standard card. Okay.
All right, it's just a card.
For the
Sweet.
show, because I do
Go
think that
fuck
Smart Guys
yourself.
works better as a co-show with another person. I don't think that it will be as good just as a solo show. Although, admittedly,
Yeah,
if the
female
show is me
detected. I had to
talking
click
with
off.
all of you. That's a different dynamic entirely,
Oh,
which we
brother.
haven't had yet. We haven't had that dynamic of, hey, big interaction during Smark Guys. It's been me and PPP, and every once in a while we read something from the chat, right? So there you go. All right. Now, here's the thing. That's it. That's really all I have to say about it. To be frank, I'm not going to sit here and insult PPP. I'm not going to go crazy. And by the way, again, for the record,
Nice.
I've
This,
never had
aged
a
well.
negative interaction
This
with
aged
Andy
well.
at all. I don't have a negative
I don't care about Andy.
about it. Hurriedly and scaredly before Phil.
Oh, this is pretty good.
Last night, I tried to get an answer out of PPP, and he refused to answer me. But all of a sudden today, he's tweeting.
He's not allowed
Don't talk to
tweeting.
the guy who directly is confronting you for an answer. Instead, go tweet about it.
Look at the ego. Look at the ego on this dude. You're not allowed tweeting if he messaged you. If he messaged you, you can't post anything publicly. You must
Speak with
respond
these guys
to
again
him.
or not. Last night I
Look
tried
at
to
this
get an
dude.
answer out of PPP, and he refused to answer me. But all of a sudden today, he's tweeting.
You're not allowed.
Don't talk to the guy who directly is confronting you for an answer. Instead, go tweet about it hurriedly and scaredly before
fucking
Phil
bitch,
goes
man.
online with his podcast.
Got way
Okay.
too much attention as a
If
kid.
that's
you
how you-
fucking
Here's the
stupid
sad
bitch.
part about all of this. Excuse me, because now
Take a
about
fucking
all of
sip.
this. We had good plans.
We had
We
good
had
plans.
I'm not
Yeah,
even
all the
kidding you,
plans
for
he
at least
rejected.
Two other projects.
Two other
that I
projects.
feel-
I like him saying at least two other projects because PPP named like 6.
At least one of them
And he
would have
turned them
actually-
all down.
Not full drama, maybe some drama, but
He
projects where
turned
I could be
them all
involved from time to
down.
time, where things would go well, and it would be cool because you get to see a different side, of it,
man.
right? As opposed
Different
to just
side
me
of
just sitting
me.
here playing games, right? You want to see that? That's different, it's fun.
I
But
think
now
it's
those
busy,
projects are
Nugs,
dead
unfortunately.
simply because this guy
but
wants to just push the envelope.
we should do a co-op
For
stream.
what?
Dude.
For what reason? I mean,
If you
in
could
my
invite me
opinion,
on
that's
your
just bad
channel again,
business.
please.
Not even saying if you like me
I
or you
miss
don't,
my
or I like
little
them or I don't.
mage.
We were actually doing stuff together that was working. That was getting attention. Even Smark Guys, to the extent that it was working, was still working. It wasn't blowing up and making thousands of dollars a show, but we were getting good views. We were getting some money. So why burn that bridge? I don't understand it. That doesn't make sense to me because I'm not burning any bridges here. PPP is the one burning the bridges. He's the one.
I guess he was.
Stuff. He's the one.
Things that aged well.
Getting some money. So why burn that bridge? I don't understand it. That doesn't make sense to me because I'm not burning any bridges here.
Wait. DSP literally just said, literally. He said like 2 minutes before this, I am making the decision. I don't want to work with him. He crossed the line, making fun of my wife. 2 minutes later, he's saying, I didn't burn the bridge. We're making money, dude. Why are you burning the bridge? We're making money.
Making thousands of dollars a show, but we were getting good views. We were getting some money. So why burn that bridge? I don't understand it. That doesn't make sense to me because I'm not burning any bridges here. PPP
I thought it was your
is the one burning
decision.
bridges.
Oh,
He's
it's
the
out of
one
your control.
saying the toxic stuff.
Oh, okay.
He's the one bringing up my wife, which he
I thought you said it was your decision.
apologizes for, says he knows it's wrong, and it does it again anyway.
Yeah, he's
the one ending it, not me.
I still
It's
can't
through
believe
his
he doesn't
action
see that.
That this is all
Like, that's what's craziest about this whole thing, too. For months now, we were saying how they were kind of fucking with him. The things they were saying, the things they were making him do. Like, it was pretty fucking obvious that they were at least a little bit fucking with you. You just happened to be making money. And you were the only one that didn't see it. All of those pre-streams where people were saying, Phil, they're like fucking with you, Phil.
all coming to fruition. Not mine.
Yeah, all right, man. I would
So,
love to go back and
I don't
watch
get
this.
it. I don't. It makes me scratch my head. But then again, the older I get, I realize that not
Like, dude, DSP showed his underwear on stream because Triple P told him to and goaded him to do it and made him show his feet and his fridge
everyone
and photos of his
not everyone
fucking
sees
house.
things the way I see. Not everyone
or
has the same
something.
perspective as me, and that's okay. Everyone's from a different
It
walk
was
of life.
so
like I said,
strange.
different places, different age ranges. It's all different, correct? So be it. If
Yeah,
that's how he
Franny,
wants
exactly.
it, he can have his way. But I'm just not going to waste my time on it. I've got better things to do than to get into an internet blood
This is
sport
a
with PPP over nonsense.
2 hour long
bullshit anyway.
segment.
It's fabrication. It's not real. It's nonsense. I'm not going to do it. You know? A few people say he wants to come on Smark Guys tonight to hash it out. No,
No.
we're not going to do that. That's what he wants. He wants to create drama content, and he felt like this was his way to force the hand. You don't get it, and this is what no one gets.
You don't
I
get
think
it.
Finally, you want to know who I think actually gets it? Keemstar. I don't know why I'm becoming.
So he's still trying to say that Triple P doesn't actually mean it. He's just trying to fabricate drama for YouTube or for streams. Like, I think that's what he's trying to say, because again, this is before the Triple P stream that we just saw where he basically burnt the bridge completely into fucking dust. DSP was still kind of holding out hope that he can eventually maybe hash things out and go back to Triple P, because he refused to talk shit about him. So I think he's insinuating here that Triple P
More of a respectful person towards him, but the
is
older I'm
just
getting and the more I'm
doing
seeing
it
the long game of this,
as a meme.
Keemstar gets it.
I'm calling your
Like,
wife fat as a
after that
meme,
interview
Phil.
I think he understands. me now
bullying
as a
you and
person.
your
He's
wife
like,
as a
nothing I do
meme.
is going to make Phil do shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, literally, nothing I do, no amount of twisting,
He loves
no amount of
Keemstar.
fucking with him, no amount of talking shit about him. He's just not that guy that's going to get riled up and then do stuff that I want him to do just because I pissed him off. So he left me alone. And now I'm cool with him. I have no problems with Keemstar right
cool
now at
with
all.
him.
Zero. And I think that PPP thinks, no, I'll do it. If I can't get it this way, I'll do it this way. Then I'll do it this way. No, let's try this way. And then finally, when all those ways didn't work, let's do it this way. Finally, just talk enough shit about Phil, he'll explode, and then we'll get the content that way. You're still not going to get the content. I don't want to do the drama content.
All right.
I don't want to do the drama content. Okay? I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. Are you ready?
Countdown until Phil appears on Locale
Gee,
Live.
do you think I want to do drama content? No. I don't want to do the drama content. That's not me anymore.
I like how
alright?
it's
If
too
someone
high.
reached out to me
It's framed too high.
10 years ago
That's pretty good.
and said, Phil, we want to
Maybe within the year.
invite
The start of 2020. What year are we? 2026.
in the
He'll
drama
hype up
content,
an exciting new year.
I might have said yes. But instead, for 10 years, the internet beat me up. And then I said, I don't
When
care
he
about
lays
this shit
out his
anymore. I've moved on. I've
plans for
evolved.
2026 in January streams, maybe Lolcow Live will be on it.
I don't do the kind of commentary anymore that everyone says they want me to go back to. But when I did it back then, everyone said it was wrong. I have to change. All right? I'm married. I'm happy. I'm chill now. I don't get upset about every little thing. I do get upset. And when I do, I lose my cool and everyone laughs at things.
This is good. I love when he does this.
I'm married. I'm happy. I'm chill now. I don't get upset about every little thing. I do get upset. And
I don't get upset. I do get upset.
He's like really, really, really dumb, y'all.
when I do, I lose my cool and everyone laughs and thinks it's entertaining, right? Phil's unhinged again. And I get that. That's why I kind of ham it up half the time. But I'm just not that person anymore. I'm not. I'm not the king of hate. I've changed. I feel for the better. Others say for the worse. I guarantee you PPP would say, man, you changed for the worse. You're a pussy willow now, right? You're a sissy. You don't do anything. I work 6 days a week.
He called it.
Bust my ass. And for the content that I put out for as little views as it gets, I still make a living. So I would say that's pretty successful, although it's definitely a different kind of grind that a lot of other people don't understand. Okay?
Steve guy. Yeah, I don't know. I love the three-pronged plan of work a bit harder, work
there you
even
go.
harder than a little bit, and then do nothing and beg.
And that's it. I don't really have much
And
else
of course, he chooses the do nothing and beg more
to say
plan.
at all.
That's his plan.
That's kind of
When are you going to
where
pay your
I'm
mom back?
going to leave it.
Remember when he
I have
borrowed
nothing
like
else to say.
16K from
The
his
only
mom
way,
and promised
all
her
right.
he'd get a job?
the only way,
How much money have you made in the past fucking Kino Casino bump days? You could have paid your mom back with that money, dude.
that
Could have went on a honeymoon.
I would ever move forward
All right.
and do work again with PPP.
Did he really
is
do
if
that?
he
Yeah.
apologizes for insult.
You had a dumb idea. What'd you send me?
We had a good thing going, you stupid son of a bitch. We had Smark Guys. We had tips. We had everything that we ever needed, and it all ran like clockwork. You could have just kept your mouth shut, me calling your wife fat, and you would have made as much money as possible to fix your stupid setup. It was all perfect. But no, you just had to go play victim. You and your pride and your ego. You just had to be the victim. If you would just sat there and let me call your wife fat and known your place, we would have been fine by now.
I'm going to ask for contributions. I'm going to eBay.
Thank you, Iviga. That was beautiful. Playing Vig Ehrmangout.
Ting my wife.
I loved
and
it.
says he
That
will
was
never do it.
amazing.
Okay? That's it. That's the only circumstance. Because that's the only problem I ever had with him anyway. I told him
Oh,
you can say
man, I
whatever you
love
want
you.
about me. It doesn't bother me. But the moment you
Love
bring
you,
in my
brother.
family, right? So let's see.
Mike
Let's see what happens.
Ehrmangout.
But he's been doubling down, tripling down, on this rhetoric. So
Walter.
I don't foresee it happening at all. He already literally apologized for the behavior for what he did on Monday's show, and then last night he just did it again anyway. So,
Oh, boy.
it doesn't really mean anything. No.
Guys, he
It's
apologized
more
for
about not what
calling
you
my
say,
wife
but what you do,
fat.
right? Actions speak louder than words. And right now,
DSP.
his actions.
That's good. This is good because he's getting hit with the DSP tactic. You do something and then you just say you're sorry and then you kind of just don't give a fuck and do it again. Of course, when it happens to him, he gets super upset by it and he becomes this way and rants for 2 hours, literally almost 2 hours. A rant segment.
Are denoting the fact that basically he doesn't want to work with me. If he did, he would respect my wishes, all right, to not go there. Because, to be honest, I don't think it benefits him at all anyway. He's not getting anything out of doing it.
How's that gout,
I don't know
Phil?
if he's trying to look like an internet tough guy. I don't think so.
Why you always eating fast
So-
food, yo? I love when DSP said yo.
Whatever. I'm just
DSP
so-
added the yos in there. What, Darziak is still around? Oh my
At this
God.
point, really. I'm just so past it, and I don't care. I'm too old for this shit. Like the classic line, right, from Lethal Weapon. I'm just too old for this
All
shit.
right, let's quote a movie.
I don't want to sit around with drama every day. I don't. I can't go full on and become the king of hate again. And as much as people want me to, and they say that will work, and you're probably right, I just couldn't live with myself, and I would just be so tired and bored. And there goes my camera again. I would just be so tired and bored. Okay,
Like your
of
wife?
doing it. I just
Oh. What?
I can't go there
This is insane.
because
I can't
I'm
even
not
look
that
at him
guy
the same
anymore.
way
You
anymore.
understand? I changed
Speaking of him not being the same guy
There.
anymore.
because I'm not that guy anymore. You understand? I
Right.
changed.
He's the guy who thinks his
over the
wife
years.
is gonna
I
die.
changed. The internet literally 100%
He's turning to Jesus to fix his wife.
told me to change. Back in the day, they said, dude, you can't
Oh my
keep
God.
doing
I need to
this
hear it again.
commentary.
I really need to hear that again. I really do. To pay my bills. Let me see. I posted it.
Yeah.
He's concerned that his wife is going to die and she's becoming more religious. And so Phil feels like he needs to be more religious and so he can't be a heel. And I just feel like
come on.
I feel like that's
Jeez.
You can't keep doing this
He's
content.
turning to
This is
Jesus to
ridiculous.
fix his wife.
You know,
How about
have
you
to at
stop
some point
feeding her,
mature and
dude?
make better content.
How about you stop
So I
buying door?
literally-
I guess that's what he meant. Literally last time. Literally, I gotta stop saying that. But when he said it's hard for him to sit down with his wife the other day, it was like yesterday or 2 days ago, to order a meal. They can't sit down and order food because it's hard because of shit going on behind the scenes. Actually, factually, it's because she's gonna die. At least he thinks so. The paranoia. You're gonna die, honey. We can't order food. But then he does it anyways. No fucking way. His stream is enabling him to fucking kill his wife. What the fuck? Oh my God. This gets dark, dude. I can't even believe it. I can't look at him the same way. I really can't.
Over the course of a decade, changed everything I did, from the style of video, the delivery of the video, the commentary on the video, the person who I was.
He begs
inside
his
and out.
chat to
What I
kill his
portrayed on the
wife,
outside,
dude.
who I
Are
was
you
on the inside.
joking?
I evolved and changed and became better. And now you want to tell me in 2025, oh, that was a mistake.
He truly is Dark
Can
Spadil.
you just erase 13 years of evolution you've had? Can you please go back to who you were? Because that's what the internet wants now. That's not how it works. It's not. It's not how it works at all.
Yeah. He has blood on his hands.
Change. If I go to full drama, it's full drama. If I go to full shill, it's full shill. I don't want to go there.
I don't get what this means either, DSP. Man, you're trying to run a podcast. How the fuck can you call it a podcast and you desperately always want to call it that and you have banners for it, but you're not willing to expand your topics? Why would you have to go all in? Like, you already do it. He keeps saying, I have to go 100% into it. What does that even mean? I don't know.
I am who I...
Like, he has to talk about it every day? I don't just talk about it when something comes up. I don't know. You're
that
so
I very
weird.
much want to keep. But
like, he does gaming news. Just because he does gaming news, DSP, are you talking about it every day? Are you 100% into gaming news? He barely talks about it anymore. Why do you have to jump in 100%? What does this mean?
Some vindictive jerk who loses everything just because I wanted to make drama on the internet because it made a buck. A lot of people don't get that. They just don't understand it. You know what I mean?
Call him
All
a
right.
murderer.
I gotta get my camera working again. It literally just worked for...
All right, camera talk. Dead air, dead
You know,
air.
they're giving him the rub. They're glazing him. So now I gotta glaze him. You know, they even say this like, oh, let's get our pay pigs to go over there and throw him some money. To call your viewers pay pigs?
What?
I don't know, man. I don't think of it that way. I never have. Some people do, but I don't think of you guys like
There's
that.
no way. He's got to be
But
trolling.
I do appreciate those of you who gave
He's got to
me
be
a
trolling.
chance, watched the content, have supported it. Obviously, I would hope this doesn't mean that now we're going to see an exodus of people. I have a viewership that I've been building up on Kick since October, and we're getting more consistent viewership over there. You know, I started off with only like 30, 40 viewers. Now we're up to like 60, 70 a stream, and we're still slowly building. I feel like once new releases start coming out and I keep doing content, we'll get consistency over there, right? And I would hope that it's not, oh, well, now Phil is done with the casino, which, again, I didn't make that decision, okay? But
Again, I almost missed it because I was half paying attention. Again with this fucking weird lie. Why are you lying? What's going on?
with the casino, which, again, I didn't make that decision.
I didn't make that decision to stop with the casino. Fuck you mean you didn't make the decision? You said you made the decision like fucking 10 minutes ago.
And we're still slowly building. I
You
feel like once
lying
new
piece of
releases
shit.
start coming out and I keep doing content, we'll get consistency
I
over
want to
there,
hear the full context.
right? And I would hope that it's not, oh, well, now Phil is done with the casino, which, again, I didn't make that decision.
I didn't make
Okay,
that decision.
but-
He's basically trying to say it's out of my hands. They forced my hand. But dude,
Because
you
this
are
is the
making
case
the
now.
decision.
Now people are just going to leave in droves. But, you know,
Like, this is him. It's like I mentioned when we started. He's overcompensating now. It's like they forced my hand because they talked shit about my wife. But dude, you obviously didn't give a shit. You didn't give a shit until people bothered you enough to give a shit. Until people made fun of you for not giving a shit, then you gave a shit. Apparently. and you're still trying to say you didn't do it. You're not cutting ties. They forced your hand, but it's your decision.
You know what? If you do,
you didn't care before.
There's nothing I can really do about it.
There's nothing I can do.
I said this since day one that if I got snaked,
he loves his wife. Loves his wife so much that he turns down a free paid for vacation to the Super Bowl and in Florida. Like you could have just went to Florida and not went to the Super Bowl or whatever the fuck. Where was it? I don't know. Florida,
kind of be like, fuck it. It's not worth it. I probably won't bother with it ever again.
I can't believe he said no because of his stupid cat. Oh my lord.
But here's the thing. I also don't want to sit here.
It sucks, man. Did he tell Cat about that? Did he tell Cat? Did he ask Cat or did he just say no? I wonder.
Say,
did he just say no?
Ever.
And kept her there? And kept feeding her?
Someone else ever again. I think that's probably a real ignorant thing to say and do.
Yeah, that's a great point, Japanator. He's worried his wife's gonna die, and he still doesn't take her on vacation. He can't even give her a good time, dude. What's going on? This is weird. I don't like this this lore reveal. This shit's gonna fucking stick in my head forever.
I don't want to be the guy who
he's turning to religion because his wife is dying. What the fuck?
Inside and you know what I mean? I very well could do that because I've done it and I've been successful doing it. But at the same time, I don't want to feel like, oh, let's squander all opportunities that ever come to me just because this is
already squandered it.
Everyone literally told me the entire time that I was working.
Thank you, Iggy.
Does he not have health insurance?
Yeah, I remember when she first moved in, he made a big hubble-a-blue of, that's not the way to say it, but about insurance. Driver's license, car insurance, and like health insurance. I would have to go back and watch and hear what he said about it. I think they do. I'm pretty sure because I remember multiple segments about that. Thank you, Plush the Duelist for the 6 months and Iggy for the 2.
Kino Casino that eventually this would happen.
Thank you.
Right?
Right?
It's kind of like the writing was always
I'm trying
on
to
the
talk
wall, and I kind of
because I barely spoke for like
anyway,
2 hours.
PPP repeatedly would say, we can't snake
PPP.
Phil because if we snake Phil, everyone will be upset with us. Right?
Uh-oh.
But now what's happened is I've done so little work with them.
Photos
that
before
now
unfortunate
snaking me
events.
is probably entertaining to the audience because I haven't been in their content positively, right? So it kind of makes sense to do it now. I don't think that's going to be a big deal anymore, right?
Hullabaloo. That was it. Hullabaloo.
So
it's a hullabaloo
if any of
now.
you were here on behalf of Kino Casino, you're still welcome.
You're still welcome.
But I'm not going to obviously be upset or not understanding if you leave.
I'm not going to be upset at
Okay?
you. Oh, thank you, Phil. I'm glad I can click off your stream and I have your permission.
All right.
What the I hate
Done.
the way he says shit sometimes.
Let's go ahead
I'm
and do
not going to
shout-outs,
be upset with you.
and we'll go from there.
He talks
All right?
like a fucking
Sadly, I'm going to probably have to
teacher. He talks like a fucking kindergarten teacher.
do currency conversion here. Jeez. People doing...
Who do you think you are?
doing
I'm
these
not going to
super
be
chats that are, like,
upset with
different
you if you
currencies, and I
click
gotta figure
off
out
my
what they
stream.
are.
What the fuck? I don't care. Bruh.
Bro.
You're allowed to give me money. What's happening? Brunel?
Okay.
Hello, Brunel.
Hello.
Mr. Brunel,
So-
you there?
Where'd he go?
Let's go ahead. Where do we start? Do we start with tips or super chats? Because it's all over the place. Let's start.
Okay. The
with
title
tips.
of the stream
There's
is
a lot of
coming
tips
up.
to shout out, and then we'll scoot over the super chat.
Okay, this
Hold
is
on.
a lot of skip. This is a lot of
I had a
skip.
feeling that triple. I'm not gonna. Here's the thing, guys. I'm not gonna insult him.
Here it
so
is.
if you guys say insults in your contributions, I'm just gonna skip over it.
See, he was still holding out. He was still holding on to hope that he can make things okay. All PPP. I'm assuming at this point he still thought if Triple P apologized to him personally, then it would have been okay. He would have been okay to make money off of a guy who made fun of your wife multiple times and then kept doing it.
All right.
So that's why he didn't want to
I'm
say
gonna be a
anything.
bigger man here. I'm not gonna sit here
And
go
this
insult
hits
people.
even harder knowing the
Because
stream
I
we
had a
just
feeling
saw.
Triple P, I edited that, was a
did
scumbag.
not
And he
give a
kept
fuck.
underhand attacking you and trying to make it seem like it's all fun. Who needs enemies with friends like that? Good riddance. Again, the difference here is
Oh, thank you, Japan.
I 100% said it was
Appreciate
okay to do it to me because, listen, they get a rise out of their audience, right,
Condescending.
for it, so they benefit. While they've already given me so much attention and time, and it's benefited me directly, go for it. Get some of that back. I don't care. I've got thick skin. I don't give a shit what you say about me.
Nice.
There's zero reason to bring up my wife. Like, literally, it doesn't benefit you. It hurts me. It does nothing. You're just doing it for some kind of bizarre internet.
Wait,
flex.
what? You can't hold up. I like that he Oh, dude, whoa. Okay, this is how his brain works. I might be thinking too much about
There's
this, but I don't think I am.
zero reason to bring up my wife. Like, literally, it doesn't benefit you.
There's the first thing he says, like, to not talk about his wife is that it doesn't benefit you. Not that it bothers me, not that she's innocent, not that, like, I'll beat the shit out of you or I'll play internet tough guy on you. Just that it doesn't benefit you.
It hurts me.
It hurts me. It hurts me. It hurts me? What about your wife?
It does nothing.
It does
You're
nothing.
just doing it for some kind of bizarre
money and then selfish reasons.
internet.
That's weird,
flex.
man.
Likely because you want to burn the bridge to create the drama content that I won't participate in otherwise. Oh, let's see here. I received a $5 tip.
That was strange. That was super strange.
I had to do it to them snipe.
Thank you for the snipe plush, the duelist, dude.
PPP made more money by being a guest tonight on Truth Seekers.
Oh yeah, you missed the whole stream. We watched the whole thing. I barely spoke. That was fun.
Hottest woman in college.
I was on BRB.
Right. Right.
I'll just make up an excuse.
Let's
I
see what
wasn't
they
at
have
my
to say.
keyboard.
Oh, by the way, I'm not typing that out. I'm gonna put the hottest.
They were
woman
running
in
the stream for
college.
me. Yeah, it was great. They made a shit ton of money.
Jasper.
They didn't leak
Jasper
the DMs
Kitty.
though, like they
Get
said
out
they
from
were.
behind that PC right now.
Shut the fuck up, dude. But yeah.
Let's see. There's
they
$2 tip
fully exploded.
from
They
Flatman B.
busted.
I want to keep it positive. Much love. Let's try to have a nice day. God
I think
bless.
the
and
bridge
peace.
is burnt now.
Thank you.
DSP, of course, saying ignore the drama. Speaking of DSP, what's he doing? Let's see.
I know it would be epic. Let's see if we can get that support.
We go right into a bag.
All right.
What the
All
heck is
right.
happening? J-Dub, you missed
Let's
everything.
get to Monday Night Raw because we got to cover all of Raw. We got about an hour
It
left.
is now Smark Guy. Triple P is now gone. Bridge burnt. Rewind the stream. It'll be timestamped later. Like right after I finish.
I received a $2 tip. Oh,
You did
by the
like
way, one final
25
thing
minutes.
too, because we are doing shout outs now. PPP also is under the impression that when I get involved in this drama that I make bank. That doesn't happen.
What?
It doesn't. My viewers don't care about drama. They've told me time and time again, we want less drama. We want more just chilling with you. And he just seems to be of the impression that it's going to benefit. And every time that it happens, it doesn't benefit me. The last couple of times I was on Casino, I actually got zero boost in my content, zero, like no extra views or any kind of contributions based on it. You know, the drama stuff works for them. You know, it absolutely does because that's what they do. It's not what I do. So me,
Yeah, I don't. This is so stupid because he just finished telling us earlier, I don't know, an hour ago or whatever, that when he was recapping everything, recapping the entire history, he was saying the drama stuff did work. Him talking to people, him interviewing with Josh Moon, whatever, and fucking the other people, and having Keemstar on, it was very successful. All this stuff is basically drama stuff. It wasn't the typical gameplay, stay in my lane, I stay in my own corner of the internet. It wasn't any of that. It was basically the drama stuff that you're complaining about. And then now, he's saying the drama never benefited him. How did it not benefit you, but you saw a big boost in income? How does that work when you were doing drama stuff? That doesn't make any sense.
doing that, making
Like
that
you're saying
content
both things
doesn't
are true.
benefit me or my business. Like today, there's a bunch of contributions. By the end of this
That's
stream,
good,
I will
too.
likely
Everything he ever does needs to benefit him directly, immediately, right away. He can't think long term, like how can I grow my channel? How can I gain interest over longer term? How can I get more audience so that maybe instead of 2 guys giving me money, there can be like 7 and then 10 and then 15 and then 27. He doesn't think that way. Everything he does needs to be immediate. It happens right away or else it doesn't work. It's like when he spent a day not begging and then it didn't work right away and he just says it doesn't work.
probably hit my goal, which I would have done anyway. But instead of having a meaningful podcast where we could have talked about the Ubisoft story I've been trying to talk about for 2 days and we didn't get to,
Zoop.
instead of working towards what's our next DSP tries it goal, what's going to be the next cool Lego set we're going to build together and all
Nice.
of that.
All these stupid gimmicks.
Instead, we got to do this.
It's like a
This
12-year-old
crap
stream.
show. I think this is crap.
It's
really
like
do.
a 12-year-old. I just fucking realized that. He runs his stream like a child would, like a fucking high schooler would.
I just want to have fun with you guys.
I just want to get on stream and build a Lego and play Call of Duty.
Okay.
Buy the battle pass.
I received a $2 tip.
And if we hit the goal, I'll go to the zoo with my mom.
Less about PPP making fun of your
The
wife.
fuck?
You're only mad because of the detractors making it a big deal. What's your take? Originally, when PPP started bringing up my wife on the casino, people would show me clips.
Yeah, I
and the
did,
clips were
Roachgate.
he
I'm
was
sorry.
just
You're
literally
right.
regurgitating the detractors.
I apologize. Okay, let's see.
I'm just
This
making a
is a
big
pretty
deal
good
what-
quote. This is a good quote.
You couldn't care less about PPP making fun of your wife. You're only mad because of the detractors making it a big deal. What's your take? Originally, when PPP started bringing up my wife on the casino, people would show me clips, and the clips were like he was just literally regurgitating the detractor memes.
How does he know that? That's an insane quote. That is like Omega level delusion. That's next gen PlayStation 6 fucking delusion. What is happening?
And
how do you know that? Did he just tell you that? Like when you started contacting him? Because you got to remember, DSP contacted him first to do stuff together. Did he just say like, oh yeah, I was just kind of messing with you?
So it seemed like that's what he was trying to do.
How do
Repeat
you
the
know
detractor
that?
meme, and then people get a laugh out of it or whatever. But then, as time moved on, he kept doing.
Also, how come if he repeats the detractor meme, you're okay with it at first? Like, what the fuck does that mean? How come that 2 mil sub channel, August the Duck or whatever, who made a video, he called it a documentary. He just made like a 12 or 20 minute video or something. What if he was just regurgitating detractor memes as a meme? Like as a joke? How do you know that he didn't do that? What if he was just doing that? I don't know.
I directly said to him, behind the scenes, hey, I'm not cool with you keep bringing her up. It's one thing if you bring me up. It's another if you're bringing her up. Please stop with her. And he outright would apologize for it. But then he keeps doing it. And this week is really the straw that...
Yeah, this is not even the own that he is trying to make it seem like. This is him trying to bolster his own character or like bolster himself up. But it doesn't really work because you had to contact him privately after multiple instances of him still making fun of your wife after you told him you didn't like it. And then because he apologized, you just kept trying to make money with him. Like that doesn't make any sense. Like if it truly bothered you, why did you keep streaming with him? And you acted like nothing was happening in public, even though you're the realest motherfucker on the internet. Why were you okay with doing that?
Breaks the camel's back. I'm already going...
This is why he doesn't actually care. And Triple P was right.
Through shit this week. Everyone...
No natural instinct to defend his fucking wife. He just doesn't give a shit. He doesn't actually give a shit.
If you remember Bob.
Speaking of giving a shit, holy shit. Plush the Duelist.
I'm him.
Thank you for the 5 memberships, dude. Thank you. Appreciate it. Enjoy 5 of you. Thank you.
Already knows.
Plush.
Outside of all this bullshit today, I was already going through stuff.
He
I already have
denounced Keemstar for years for less. That's a great point, Tuck, in the chat.
Shit going on that really affected me.
He yelled
right?
so much
and
about
then he like
Keemstar.
purposefully went out of his way to twist the knife this week because he knew I was on edge already. I just don't get it. I don't
get it.
Okay.
And this entire defense is like under the assumption that they're still friends. I don't get why he's
Did I add
making
that?
fun
I
of
think
me
I think
and
I
my
added that,
wife.
right? Okay.
I just don't get it. Maybe he fucking doesn't like you. Maybe he gives up. I don't know.
Someone to the book says, I don't think people...
I don't get it.
If you remember Bob.
Speaking of not getting it, the 10 of you that didn't get those gifted fucking member bomb. Let's fucking go. Argentina? I don't care. I love Argentina. Thank you, Virgil. 16 for the 10, dude. You get a
that makes me cringe. Ugh.
I gotta get new ones.
Say,
I gotta get
thank
like a
you, I'm sorry,
massive
and please enough.
sound
Do you think
pack.
Christians behave better than the average Joe?
What? Oh, this is pretty good because we know he's turning to religion now.
Thank you, I'm sorry, and please enough. Do you think Christians behave better than the average Joe? I don't think Christianity has anything to do with it. I've known Christians that were some of the nicest people I've ever known in my life, and I've...
Did Triple P leak stuff to people? Did he tell some people what DSP was telling him beforehand? Because we got that Las Vegas question, and the answer he gave his stream was the same answer he gave to Triple P. And then in this stream, we get this weird religious question. And then today it's revealed DSP's turning to religion more than usual. What the, there's got to be other examples of that, right? Thank you, Virgil16. Thank you.
Also known Christians that were some of the meanest, most vindictive scumbags I've ever known in my life. It's the individual and what they take to heart from the teachings that they learn. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was raised Roman Catholic, and even though I'm certainly no saint,
I know, fine crisis.
I definitely have some
We gotta
morals and
find that
values
crisis,
that were
dude.
instilled in me that I can't...
Okay, wait, I gotta listen.
In my life.
He's like
It's the
Daredevil, dude.
individual and what they take to heart from the teachings that they learn. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was raised Roman Catholic, and even though I'm certainly no saint, I definitely have some morals and values that were instilled in me that I can't betray because they've become a part of me. They are literally a part of who I am as a person, and I can't just give that stuff up for personal gain. I would lose who I am.
That's good.
And I think that's something that a lot of people just don't understand.
This has got to be like a leaked. This is like a Fed question. This is there's feds in the fucking crowd, dude. I'm telling you, this is so weird.
Right? People who don't have that.
I'm just
and
like,
that's okay because again, everyone's different. Everyone comes from a different situation.
How come these morals and values and things that are instilled into you because of your fucking birthing and your raising, how come they never come when you're begging for money? Is that part of your morals? You'd rather beg strangers online for money rather than do slightly more work?
A different walk of life. All right? And I get that. But you also have to respect people who aren't like you.
Ask and thou shalt receive.
You know?
That's the best moral value.
I received a $2 tip. Phil, I'm sorry this happened. Will you check out WWE 2K25? I don't know, and honestly, I don't really care about that right now. That's the last thing on my mind. Ask me another day when we're actually talking about games.
Trayvon, exactly.
I really don't give a shit right now about that topic. Thank you.
He doesn't care about WWE 2K.
Kind of not what we're discussing right now.
All right, get fucked.
With a $2 super chat, are you still on good terms with Warski? Could he fill in? Now, this was at the very beginning of the show where I said that Smark Guys will be a solo show. So, number one, like I already said, I've talked to Andy, you know, directly a few times, okay? And we've had good conversations, and I've had nothing but positivity and, you know, good experiences with him. And I think that we are like-minded and that we're gamers. And
AKA get a job.
Yeah, he should catch a joblet in the new Pokemon. Thank you, Plush the Duelist, for the 2. Can never get a job.
we like games a lot and stuff, but it never really amounted to anything. Like,
You would rather beg
about,
online.
hey, let's do some gameplay together or whatever.
That's part of his
And
morals.
then we talk, and then we just kind of fizzles out. We never go anywhere.
Moral instilled
All right?
values.
But outside of that, that's it. He doesn't like wrestling. Like, that's the first thing I found out when I started Smark Guys with PPP is that Andy does not like pro wrestling, at least the modern wrestling. Like maybe classic wrestling from back in the day, but he just does not like, you know, modern wrestling at all. And I think it would be pretty silly
Walmart
if I'm not going to do the show
Arc.
with his co-host of his show to then do the show with the co-host of the show with the guy that I'm not going to do the show with. Right? Like I said, I
can't wait for a response to the PPP stream.
If maybe long-term it works solo.
2 years from now.
Maybe bringing in a different host. Okay.
Maybe like 6 months from now when he thinks of a
we'll
response.
See. Okay. Jalen did a $2 super chat. And he says PPP is, and then he insulted it. I'm not going to read that. But thank you for the $2 super chat. I'm not going to be shooting personal insults towards him today. Bloom Kid with another $2 super chat here.
If only he knew.
PPP says to bring him on tonight and hash it out.
No. Clown mode.
No. Smark Guys is a wrestling commentary show, and it will be wrestling commentary tonight. It will not be drama. There you go. Fall Gout.
Young out.
Detractors are sad with a $2 super chat. Do it on your own terms. Those guys are backstabbers. Again, you know, you never know because you really don't know.
Yeah, that's insane too, Ivy. I was half paying attention. He's not going to personally insult him. Dude, you're so upset. This entire rant is about him insulting your wife, but you don't want to say anything back to him. What the fuck is wrong with you? Do you care about your wife or not? This is so strange.
Talking directly about, hey, let's do this, let's do that.
Strange
and then
guy.
you hear, well, guess what? Tonight, those guys, they really snaked you. Did you hear what they said on the show and do this and that? And it's like, I don't really care. I just want to do my thing, and then I want to do Smark Guys. I don't want to hear about all this drama and bullshit. But it just gets to the point where it's like, I've had enough. You know, I just had enough of this shit. I don't need this every day. Okay? And then we have Cesar, who used a VPN to do a 50, whatever our currency is, super chat, and thinks that I'm going to answer his insanely stupid question. Well, your super chat's worth $2.
Oh, no.
Okay? So much like I felted the Nigerian super chat for the guy using a VPN to try to get my attention, I'm not answering your question. You can go fuck yourself. So I hope someone clips that and makes a whole documentary about it. Okay, whatever the R currency is.
Documentary?
That's worth $2 instead of the 50 that you tried to super chat to get me to answer a risque question. You can shove it up your ass. Okay, Kev92 did a €5 super chat. He says, I hope this isn't the end of Smark Guys. Stick it out and make some money to show the picture of you and CM Punk from the old house tour you did. I don't know.
Oh yeah, this part's super dented.
I've never had.
He pretends to be confused about a photo with CM Punk.
Though, so that doesn't
He
count.
knows what he's talking about. A signed CM Punk
Average
photo.
hyena
But
enjoy
he's
it.
acting
Whatever
really
you're
stupid about it.
With a $5 Canadian super chat, that's like
all right,
probably not. Okay.
Next.
I got
There's a
question
point.
for
There's a
God
point I want to
why.
end at.
What a crazy name. Did a $20 super chat. Let's get them on the leaderboard. That's the biggest contribution of the day, by the way.
Is anyone streaming?
What a name. Abbreviate
I hope
that.
so. I hope so.
Shame about this breakup. Well, the show, I guess, is broken up. I wasn't dating PPP. I love the show. PPP has made fun of Andy's girlfriend and has been jokingly calling Andy a pedophile with zero clapback. Ironically, PPP's old wrestling show ended when PPP's co-host exposed his girl. So PPP's co-host showed off PPP's girl.
Okay, I don't care. Shut up.
Right? I don't care. I don't care. I don't need to get to clap
I'm not going to
back.
make fun of the guy who made fun of my wife.
I don't.
All
these people take pot shots at me because people seem to get like enjoyment out of it and they make money on it. I don't. I get no enjoyment out of it and I make no money on it when I do it. I would just rather be me and have a good relaxing show talking about games, hanging out, right? Anyway, Bloomkit, $5 super chat. Kino was a huge part of your resurgence. Do you think you owe it to PPP to hash it out tonight? I think that's fair. No.
No.
I literally said
I love
he will
that
not
no.
be in my content. Period.
Period.
Unless he stops bringing up my wife. He then brought up my wife again, doubled down, tripled down, defended himself on Twitter. He tweeted apparently this whole podcast. He's not coming back.
You know what? I want to see real quick. What's he
Left.
doing?
Now the crowd is torn and doesn't know.
All right, he's talking about wrestling. I want to see real quick, little field trip, but it's related to what we're looking at. The time he mentioned his wife and said sorry. When Triple P first said sorry to his wife. Holy fuck. I'm going to have to find it. It's one of these. I think it's before the lesbian thing. Okay, I'll look for it.
Look at my content.
Here on this other screen.
Provided the parameters by which we could proceed. He immediately broke the parameters to get a rise, to get attention, to whatever it is. We're done. There's no other interaction needed. It was cause and effect. Action created another action in response. It's over. Get it? Okay. The crunchiest onion with a 10-pound super chat. To be honest, I think it became obvious what was going on once the Truth Seekers ambush interview happened and PPP's response to the guy about the setup was, well, we'll see you next Tuesday, and then they laughed. You can take it for however you want.
Okay. Found it. Because there's a part here where he apologizes. He refuses to apologize, but then he kind of notices that DSP doesn't like the answer.
It opens it up to criticism and mockery and stuff.
I gotta find it. It's because it's fucking directly relevant. I'm gonna look up apologize. Pretty good. It's right here.
Heard any of this because all I hear is stuff secondhand, third hand. You don't know what to believe, right? And so people have been grilling me for weeks saying, you know, every week there's a Grill Phil segment. You know, what about that? That's one thing that happened, you know, bring it up. So now let's ask the public, okay? We have hundreds of people here watching here tonight. Should I accept this? Should I say this is a good answer? Or should I be upset?
I don't know, man. It's honestly, it's
Oh, that's fucking good. I remember talking about this. He's like, the chat needs to tell me, should I forgive him or should I not forgive him?
He's found it really fucking boring. I was
Anyways,
like,
I gotta
okay,
find what he says.
Same shit. He asks for money, and sometimes he loses in Street Fighter, but you're picking the clips where he's fucking doing bad, but sometimes he does good, whatever the fuck. So we covered the clip where you introduce Kat, reintroduce Kat, and she had gained a bunch of weight.
Because this was the start of it. This is when the fat cat discussion began.
And so we're like, whoa, buddy, his wife's fucking fat. She's this, she's that. But you got to understand, we do that to everybody. Everybody that we cover on the show, we shit on ruthlessly. We dog on them. We say this, we say that. My personal opinion would have been, and my personal advice would be, and I think you agree with this, is to keep your personal life as private as possible. And the problem when you introduce your wife, you should be able to show your wife on stream. It should be able, to show that dynamic. But every single person who's ever showed their wife or girlfriend online in drama communities, locale communities, it never goes well.
Okay, so that's basically the answer. He doesn't say sorry, and then that's where we get to this embarrassing segment.
One thing that happened, bring it up. So now let's ask the
should I forgive him?
We have hundreds of people here watching here tonight. Should I accept this? Should I say this is a good answer?
What the fuck is wrong with you,
should I be
dude?
upset?
I don't know, man.
How stupid is that? How insanely pathetic and weird is that?
It's honestly, it's
because he's not even joking. He genuinely doesn't know what to think because he doesn't give a fuck.
You know what I mean?
Do you care about your wife being insulted or not? Why are you asking your chat, you weirdo?
I don't know what to say, man. You talk. The thing is, you talk so much shit as a drama YouTuber or whatever. A lot of the time, you never expect the person to actually hear what you said.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
You know what? Someone actually just made a good point. They said nowhere in what you just said did you actually apologize. You actually just kind of explained.
Well, I just justified my behavior. You know what I mean? I justified my behavior.
Or let me ask you this: now that you know me as a person, are you sorry that you kind of said that stuff?
Look
or
at this.
Are you
He
standing on your
desperately
laurels?
wants
No,
that.
It's okay to do that because he put his
Desperately
life on
wants
What's your
it.
take on it?
I think now that we know the long con game, I think PPP realized this answer's not good enough. No, you raided me. I was gonna raid you.
Well, I stand by my statements, but at the same
Thank you to Tractor Beam for the raid.
time, I do feel bad about them.
You finished
So,
slightly before me. Big
I
ups.
do think that it is
Time
what
to
you
keep
put
going.
online is fair game for criticism.
Anyways, yeah, so he didn't really apologize.
All right, you really can't.
Anyways, I don't even remember what I was saying. What's he doing? Let's see, guys. What is he doing live? Thank you for the raid.
She's coming out. Like, wow, it's really cool.
Okay, we got to hear that.
Oh, like a god of wrestling is coming to the ring with how epic this song is. It's not crappy hip hop. It's not. It's like she's coming out. Like, wow, it's really cool. The only problem is, I wish that with the amount of time she's been in WWE over a decade now.
Thank you, Phil. That's not. That's
People have
not
been
it,
saying,
man.
this has been the sign. This has been the sign. This has been the sign. No, this was the sign. No, this has been the sign. And
Big
the
ups
sticking and the
injured.
sticking and
Thank
the
you,
sign and the
ALT.
sign. And making a big to-do and song and dance about this ever since the moment that we
We're almost
first had
done
an
here.
interaction in
You
August,
beat me to the
right?
punch.
So I think in reality,
what's the
if you want to know
reality?
the truth,
What's the
what
truth?
fuck? What is wrong with my?
All right.
I think that.
What? Brunel?
Here we go. I think that if certain things had aligned, okay, if that momentum that we had in August, okay,
right,
if that momentum we had in August had continued. No, PPP is not posting. I'm trying to get a USD converter.
Okay, can we finish the thought? Is he going to say if we make more money?
Yeah. So
it wouldn't
if
matter?
what was going on in August had continued, if they hadn't gone on a vacation in September, all right, I think that momentum would have continued. But that's not their fault. That's just bad timing. They already were going on a vacation, and there's nothing you can really do about that. No one knew all this was going to come together out of nowhere and was going to happen.
What does this
If
have to do with
that
your
idea
wife?
that we had, that Kino Casino would be the neutral ground for me to go up against my opposition like I did with Josh Moon, okay? If that had happened, right? And we had just shows with other people. Just think about it. Mudahar, Medicare. Who else could we have gotten on there? Right? These people who've been my critics for the biggest time. I'm sure you guys will come up with some names right now. If we could have had those shows, I think that it would have been great. But it didn't happen. And there's nothing we could do. The offers were
I don't
made,
understand.
the branches were extended, and it didn't happen.
This is so strange.
So you get to a point where it's
what
like,
does this have to do with talking shit about your wife? So you're saying if you guys would have done that, you would have been okay with him talking shit about your wife?
What else can we do? We've done this, we've done that. We'll try some other stuff, and then it all just kind of dies
It's
out.
all about the
So
money,
I
I
think
guess.
eventually it was gonna peter out. All right. I mean, what else are you gonna do? It's just the way that things go, you know. Well, here we go. Here come the Kino Casino trolls.
Okay.
Apparently now the Kino Casino trolls are now going to become my best friends. Bizarrely, how this works. Kino Negotiate has done a $5 super chat and says the following: PPP has a secret girlfriend. He really gets super sensitive when anyone brings her up, but he wants to use everyone else's family for content. So
I don't care.
You guys are something else, man.
Okay.
You guys are absolutely something
We're
else.
almost at the end. This is the title of the stream.
Yes, totally. I totally believe you, and I
Yes.
totally care. Like, this is just, totally a big topic to talk about. That's important.
I just think it's
that we all
great
must
too
discuss in great detail moving forward. I really
that this all happened because someone baited a $40 tip for him to call out Triple P for making fun of his wife.
I'm going to do several shows about it now.
All it took was a week and $40.
Anyway,
a $40 incentive in a week.
Average Hyena Enjoyer did a
There we go.
$35 Canadian super chat, which is why I had to pull out this converter. That's the equivalent of $24.26 USD, which is the biggest super chat of the day. So,
Okay, type it in.
For your blue Kool-Aid slurp juice fund. Great.
We're nearing the end,
Okay.
folks. Okay.
One more tip came in. It was $4.20.
Here we go.
DSP defends his wife and refuses to work with the person insulting his wife. Here's the detractor videos that will undoubtedly come right after. DSP burns bridge with casino for no reason. PPP, the new John Rambo.
No.
I am that you're a gay boy. Real ones know what's up. Godspeed, brother. I'm rooting for you.
That's the title
there
of
you
the
go.
stream. I'm fabricating drama content for the sake of profits. Get fucked, man. What's happening? Why is there so much dead air? Anyways, I feel like that's an appropriate time to end the stream. I don't know if there's more. There's like 20 more minutes. I don't care enough to watch it though. I gotta go. Okay, what's he doing? Hold up. Before we go.
You kind of win it because of luck.
He's still
or
talking about
distract.
wrestling.
Well, there you have it.
What
I'm seeing.
I'm so confused. There's two of them talking.
Tiffany, we're probably gonna have another week or two of this, but they're probably gonna turn EO heel. That's my guess.
All right, don't care. Thank you guys for stopping by. That was a crazy one. Triple P burning the bridge, exploding it, crushing it into dust, stepping on it so it fell. But yeah, sorry for barely speaking there, but it was like a hard to speak. I don't know. Couldn't get a word in edgewise. Thank you guys for chatting. The super chats. Look forward to the response from DSP. Maybe like 6 months from now. I don't think he'll answer it right away. He'll ignore it. He's doing the thing like he did with the bankruptcy. Ignore the drama. Don't talk about it. And the bank leaks. Don't talk about it. When it's like a real big major thing that bothers him, don't talk about it. So we'll see. And this is happening after he finished saying, I don't want to do drama. I don't want to be involved in drama. That's partially why I'm cutting ties. But yeah, I don't know. Look forward to the response in 6 months. Thank you, Chody Taint, Nibbity, Roach Bait, FNV, Plush the Duelist, El Famoso Demon D. I won for the books, man. Roach Bait, Bro Cyrus, Dune Messiah. Let's fucking go, bud.
Swag Messiah.
Bob Hoskins, Leslie Douglas. Thank you for chatting. Super chats, likes if you liked it. Membership, bombs, everything. Your re-ups. Iviga. Yeah. See you guys. Let's see him dance, I guess. I'll play you off and see him dance. Dance Central? No, where's the dancing video? Shit, it's my first stream. Hold up. There it is. Okay, guys, big ups, man. Gotta go. See ya.